Was a loud bang, and the explosive force and speed were too fast. A soldier, who underestimated the enemy, was knocked away before he could react. I just felt my internal organs churning. Puff. He spat out a large mouthful of blood and felt extremely uncomfortable. Duan Yingjun pursued the victory. The soldier was extremely unwilling to see the enemy coming again, so he burst out with all his strength to try to defend himself. It's a pity that he was seriously injured and in the air, so he couldn't concentrate on his attack. Bang, bang, bang. Amid a series of bombardments, the soldier was knocked to the ground and had already passed out. Duan Yingjun glanced at the entire audience with a sharp gaze, then retreated behind Hu Xin and the others. Everyone was stunned. They didn't expect that the military would lose so badly in the first battle. After reacting, a general shouted angrily, "Traitor! Definitely a traitor, otherwise he would never be so ruthless in a sparring match against his own people. Yes, I also think they are traitors and should be captured and executed on the spot." More people started to make a noise. Seeing that Hu Xin did not say anything to fight back, Duan Yingjun could not help but angrily shouted, "If I were a traitor, he would have died with the first blow just now. Besides, a soldier is destined to go to the battlefield. Underestimating me is a taboo in the army. He violated military regulations and despised the enemy, which is why he ended up like this. He really deserves it. What a traitor! Not only is he cruel, but he is also very sharp-tongued." Before the general could finish, the highest commander interrupted. "Shut up, a defeat is a defeat. Besides, what he said is also true. Underestimating the is a taboo in the army. The enemy will not give you a chance to survive on the battlefield." After saying the last sentence, his tone suddenly became sharp. "Drag him away and expel him from the military." Chapter 306. Crushing. The soldiers present were extremely shocked, but also a little chilled. It was bad enough that they were beaten to a pulp, but they were actually expelled from the army. How miserable. Hu Xin looked at the audience and said calmly, "Aren't you going to teach us a lesson? Who's next?" The soldiers looked at each other, and no one dared to stand up for a moment. Seeing this, the old man became even more angry. "Why? Are all the soldiers in my army cowards?" When the soldiers heard this, they felt bitter and thought that if you were not so cruel to your own people, we would not be afraid. A general glanced at the adjutant beside him. The adjutant had no choice but to go out. When he came to the center, he looked at Hu Xin and the others and said, "Who will come out and fight me?" His tone no longer had the arrogance he had before. "Let me do it." Agnes walked out. Hu Xin shouted, "Wife, please be gentle when bullying me." Agnes smiled sweetly and said, "Don't worry, my husband. This guy is quite polite. I will show mercy." Hearing this, the military officers and soldiers at the scene were so angry that they vomited blood. It is really despicable that a young woman could say such arrogant words, especially when they saw her and Hu Xin, the husband coming over and the wife going over. They were really showing off. The adjutant's expression was even uglier. A battle begins. The captain standing by also wanted his adjutant to teach the other party a lesson, so he couldn't wait to announce the start. "I won't show mercy just because you're a woman," the adjutant said loudly and rushed towards Agnes. "Oh, I hope you're not too weak." Agnes' words made everyone angry. What's even more infuriating is that when faced with the adjutant's charge, the woman just stood there motionless, as if she had forgotten that she was fighting someone. "Adjutant Chen, teach her a lesson hard. She is too arrogant," an impatient soldier shouted. 4 people followed and shouted, "Teach her a lesson. Teach her a lesson." They all wanted to see Agnes get severely punished to vent their anger. The lieutenant approaches Agnes and punches her. Agnes smiled, swayed slightly and dodged. He raised his foot and kicked the adjutant in the back. Bang! The kick, which seemed to be powerless, actually sent the adjutant flying and landing on the ground. The strong ones look at the experts, and were really shocked by Agnes's strength. Those who are weaker in strength were already stunned. The lieutenant was not seriously hurt, but the insult was extremely strong. "I'll fight you." Roaring, Agnes once again. But the gap is too big. Agnes has the pseudo-god gene at the peak level of 60. And her adjutant is only at the extraordinary gene level of 35. How can they defeat her? Bang! There was another muffled sound. And the adjutant was kicked out again. Who an outsider. It looked more like the adjutant was letting the team off the hook. After all, Agnes kicked him away with just one soft kick. The experts were shocked to the extreme. It would be impossible to achieve this without an absolutely overwhelming gap. Looking at the calm Agnes, and then at the calm Hu Xin and others, the top military officials were shocked. Agnes shook her head and said, "You can't." Looking in the direction of the military officers, he said, "Why don't you all come together?" What? The entire military was dumbfounded. The generals were very angry. They were high-ranking military officials, and yet they were looked down upon like this and asked to fight along with the soldiers? That's too much. The burly general rushed out and said, I'll meet you. He couldn't wait to teach Agnes a lesson and let her know that there are always people better than her. So he started right away without waiting for the captain to announce the start. Everyone in the military was watching intently. Many soldiers were praying in their hearts. They must win, they must win. It was because this burly general was also very famous in the military. Although he was not the strongest, he could be ranked in the top 10. If he lost everything, and lost to a woman, then the military would lose face. What made the soldiers feel insecure was that facing their general who was charging at them with such great force, the woman remained calm and confident. How could one dare to do such a scene without strong power to back him up? Is it possible that even the general is no match for her? Bang! With a loud bang, a figure was thrown out. This time, Agnes did not dodge, but attacked directly, leapt over and kicked the general out. The next moment, he disappeared from the spot in an instant. Bang! When he appeared again, he stepped heavily on the chest of the general, who was lying on the ground and was about to stand up. The huge force caused the ground to tremble, and the high-precision alloy armor on the general collapsed directly. A huge force spread throughout the general's bones and meridians. The general was extremely shocked. He had an illusion that if he dared to resist, his bones and meridians would be broken in the next moment. So shocking. A young girl actually possesses such terrifying strength that can crush me. More importantly, she is from the underworld. Defeated? The general doesn't look like he has no power to fight back. Why doesn't he fight back? Those who have not experienced this scene are full of confusion. Agnes retracted her feet, looked at the others and asked, who else? The general breathed a sigh of relief, but cold sweat was still dripping from his forehead. Those who are experts saw the speculation and were very shocked by Agnes's fighting ability. Have we really lost? A soldier muttered in disbelief. It seems like I really lost. Did you notice that the general was sweating profusely? As if he had experienced something terrible? That's true. In response to Agnes' question, everyone looked at each other. And then their eyes fell on the highest officer, the old man. The old man stared at Agnes, trying to see through her. But in the end he got nothing. After a long time, he looked at Huaxian and said, bring your people and follow me. He remembered something, stopped and said to the adjutant, go and prepare our military uniforms for them. The uniforms of Special Forces soldiers. Yes. The old man took the lead. And Huaxian led everyone to follow. No one spoke on the way. Finally, we came to a huge room looking at the testing instruments. I immediately understood the old man's purpose. Coming in front of a red one, the old man introduced, this is a high-precision Allen combat power testing instrument that was just transported from the upper realm. It has not been used yet. Who among you wants to try it? I'll go, otherwise I'm afraid you can't wait, Huaxian said and walked towards them. At this moment, a clear and pleasant voice came, Grandpa. I heard that a group of ignorant guys came from the lower world of genes. Where are they? I want to teach them a lesson myself and teach them how to behave. The person who came from Xin Hong world last time was also extremely arrogant. But I beat him up now. He is very honest and respectfully calls me Sister Hanyu whenever he sees me. Chapter 307, I can't bear it anymore. Following the voice, a tall, beautiful, perfectly built figure walked in. Seeing a group of beautiful women standing here, this beautiful woman was also stunned. Then he saw the old man, strode over and asked, Grandpa, are they the people from the genetic world? Why are there so many of them? Huaxian looked at this beauty and thought, this is a good choice to include her in his harem. What are you looking at? Haven't you seen a beauty as beautiful as me? Noticing Huaxian's eyes, the beautiful woman shouted angrily. Huaxian smiled and said, I've seen a lot of beautiful women, and there are a lot of them around me. But this is the first time I've seen someone as hot as you. You are really arrogant, watch out. After saying that, he actually started to take action, thinking to himself, I'll teach you a lesson, you little pervert. Approached Huaxian and tried to choke him. Huaxian dodged the attack by moving sideways, and at the same time stretched out a foot to trip her. When the beauty fell, she grabbed at him instinctively. And the result was, Huaxian was stunned. Huang Xingyu and the others saw it. The old man blushed and shouted angrily, Tang Hongyu, what are you doing? Hearing her grandfather's roar, Tang Hongyu subconsciously looked at the thing in her left hand, and then was stunned. Beauty, you have to be responsible for me, Huaxian said with a smile. Ah, you rascal, you bastard. I'll kill you. A sharp sword was taken out from the nanospace device and slashed towards Huaxian fiercely. The head with one sword. Huaxian stretched out the fingers and easily clamped the sword. Tang Hongyu was stunned and even more angry. He kicked Huaxian, thinking about destroying him. Huaxian also stretched out a foot and hooked Tang Hongyu's foot. And with a strong force, Tang Hongyu lost her balance. Throw down. Huaxian took 2 steps back. Tang Hon, you did a split on the spot. Huaxian ignored her and walked into the most advanced testing equipment. Ding ding, high precision Allen combat power testing equipment is activated. System block all power attributes except Thunder Attribute. Huaxian decided to reveal his talent in Thunder Attribute. Mainly because he was good at using Thunder Attribute. Suddenly, the Thunder Attribute talent in the high precision instrument increased steadily. Tang Hongyu, who was about to get angry, was shocked when she saw the rapid changes in the instrument. Because only when the talent is better, the instrument's response will be faster and stronger. After a while, the instrument sounded an alarm. At this time, his realm had soared to the pseudo-god realm. Looking at this realm, the old man and Tang Hongyu were stunned. It is extremely shocking. A person with the Thunder Attribute gene has actually reached the pseudo-god realm. Is he really a genius from the lower world? No, his talent test is not over yet. In just a moment of distraction, Huaxian's Thunder Attribute gene realm had been upgraded to level 50. Both the grandfather and grandson opened their mouths in shock. Looking at the talent test that has not yet ended, I gradually feel numb. At this moment, Tang Hongyu realized how childish her attack just now was. Finally, the lightning gene realm stopped at the peak of pseudo-god level 60. The combat power value continues to soar. Apart from shock, there are no words to describe the feelings of the grandfather and grandson. Even the dragon Yilan, who was following Huaxian, was stunned after seeing Huaxian's realm and combat power. I thought no wonder he crushed fifth brother so easily. When their combat power broke through the level of a true god, both grandfather and grandson came back to their senses from their numbness. Monster, a real monster, the old man muttered in a shocked tone. Tang Hongyu's eyes were full of brilliance. Isn't this the man she has always dreamed of? Only such an outstanding man is worthy of her, Tang Hongyu. She must win him down. Ding, alarm, alarm, the combat capability test has reached the limit of this station's close testing. For safety reasons, the terminal is automatically tested. As the alarm sounded, the warehouse door opened and Huaxian walked out. The grandfather and grandson were shocked again. The lightning gene realm was at the peak of level 60 pseudo-god. And its combat power was far beyond the testing range of the precision testing equipment. You know, this precision testing instrument from the upper realm can test the combat capability of a second-level true god at most. But now it is unable to complete the test of Huaxian's combat capability, proving that he is at least at the third-level true god. Wrong. The grandfather and grandson's eyes fell on the H position on the instrument at the same time. A precise age of 21 years, 9 months, 18 days and 21 hours made them stunned. The pseudo-god gene of a man who is less than 22 years old and has reached the peak of level 60. With lightning attributes, and his combat power far exceeds that of a true god of level 2. This is too terrifying. I even began to suspect that there was something wrong with this high-precision testing equipment. Thinking of this, Tang Hongyu rushed in. Bing ding. High-precision talent combat power test starts together. After a few minutes, the test was over. Tang Hongyu rushed out excitedly, looked at the test data, and was shocked after checking it. They all match, proving there is no problem at all. Then this Huaxian is a true pseudo-god with lightning genes who is under 22 years old and has reached the peak of level 60. And his combat power far exceeds that of a true god at level 2. You have to know that he is the true god. There is an extremely huge gap between him and the false god, which is simply insurmountable. Now, not only has someone exceeded it, but they have exceeded it for 2 or 3 episodes. It's terrifying. After a while, the old man looked at Huaxian seriously and asked, "Are you the reincarnation of some super powerful person using secret genes?" Yes, he must be a super powerful person who used the secret genetic method to reincarnate and cultivate again. Tang Hongyu shouted excitedly. Only in this way can we explain why he is so evil. Huaxian shook his head and said, "It's not reincarnation. If it is reincarnation, then wouldn't my wives be reincarnations of super god level strongmen like me?" Wang Xingyu has already walked into the high precision testing equipment, curious about her current combat power. Others are also looking forward to their own fighting power. As the test began, the high-precision testing equipment responded just as quickly. When they saw that Huang Xingyu's realm had also entered the pseudo-god gene realm, the grandfather and grandson were stunned again. Seeing that the test had not stopped yet, Tang Hongyu muttered in shock, "Isn't she also at the 60th level of the pseudo-god gene? And it's of the fire attribute." The old man looked at the age and was stunned. 23 years old, another super monster, a 23-year-old with pseudo-god genes. Even if he is not at his peak, it is still extremely amazing. When the final test results came out, both the grandfather and grandson took a deep breath. Wang Xingyu, 23 years old, has a fire attribute pseudo-god gene at level 60, and combat power is at the level of a true god. He murmured bitterly in his heart. As expected, these evil geniuses all have the terrifying ability to fight above their own level. There is no such thing as an insurmountable gap, it's just that you are not evil enough. The third tester, Mu Rong Fer. The grandfather and grandson watched her walk into the testing equipment and prayed in their hearts, "Oh God, please be a little more normal. Don't hurt my young heart anymore. I can't bear it anymore." Chapter 308, Stay in the Military. Prayers are ineffective. Mu Rong Fer's test results made the grandfather and grandson completely despair. He is 22 years old, with a fire attribute pseudo-god gene level of 60 and a combat power of a true god level 1. The fourth time Xi tested it, the result was exactly the same. The fifth Thalia test yielded the same result. The sixth, the 10th, the 30th, the result is still the same. The feelings in the grandfather and grandson's hearts were numb, shocked, and indescribable. In the final test, only the heroine of the weird totem, Shaolin Lin, and Wan Pio Xian came close. Although Zhaoyilong Yilan's realm was the 50th level of pseudo-god genes, her combat power had reached the level of a half-step true god, which shocked Hu Xin. You know, they are all at the peak level of pseudo-god 60, and they all have attributes, which is why they have such outstanding combat power. But Zhaoyilong Yilan was able to reach the combat power of a half-step true god at the 50th level of the pseudo-god gene. Her talent far exceeded that of everyone except Hu Xin. And the test results of the three subordinates, Qian Tao, Duan Yingzhen and Cao Ying were acceptable to the grandfather and grandson. Seeing the test results of people around Hu Xin, Cao Ying and the others were stunned. After they adapted to the test, they were extremely grateful. In their opinion, following such a strong team, the future is bright. "So, even though we don't have a daughter, are you still going to teach us a lesson?" Hu Xin asked Tang Hongyu with a smile. Tang Hongyu reacted, and although she was shocked, she refused to admit defeat. "Humph, you must all be super god level masters who have teamed up to reincarnate and cultivate again. I don't envy you." At this time, the adjutant arrived. "Sir, their uniforms are ready." He stepped back first. The adjutant quickly withdrew. The old man then said, "Hu Xin, given your strength, I'm afraid my military won't be able to keep you. What do you think?" "I want to join the army, but I want to lead an independent army and they can only obey me. I wonder if the commander agrees." Yao Hongjing was the first to speak. After hearing this, everyone else also understood Yao Hongjing's purpose. At the same time, he also thought that Zhaoyilong Yilan had brought Hu Xian's man Wang Wei with him. So how could he and others be left alone? "I also want to join the army. My requirements are the same as Sister Hongjing's. I also want to lead an independent team that only obeys my orders. Do you agree, sir?" "And me, too." Almost all the women around Hu Xin expressed their opinions. Even his three subordinates, Qian Tao and others, all wanted to stay in the army and develop. The old man smiled bitterly and said, "With your talents and combat power, you all have the ability to stand on your own, so there is naturally no problem." But the old man looked at Hu Xin and asked, "Are you willing to let them stay in the military?" Before Hu Xin could speak, the girls said in unison, "Hubby, we want to stay in the military." Hu Xin smiled bitterly and asked, "Have you all thought about it?" "I've thought about it." The women said in unison, "Well, since you have thought it through, just do what you want no matter what you do. Your husband will support you unconditionally." "Thank you, husband, I will not let you down and will give you a surprise." After saying this, everyone looked at the old man. The old man smiled and said, "In that case, you can stay in the military. I will agree to all your requests. You can select soldiers from the army or recruit them yourself. I will give you this privilege." He also realized that these women of Hu Xin wanted to show their skills. So he gave them the opportunity. After all, the teams they led belonged to the human race. And the stronger they were, the better. "Grandpa, I want privileges too." Tang Hongyu hugged the old man's arm and said in a Kokatha tone, "I thought to myself, no matter how powerful you are, the team I led will not necessarily be worse than yours. And I must surpass you. Okay, I'll give you the privilege." After that, he asked Hu Xin, "What about you, will you stay in the military or leave?" Hu Xin said, "I will leave the military department to give them a quiet environment for development. However, can you give me a military identity? I will come back often to inspect their progress." "Okay, then I'll give you the title of military supervisor. You'll be in charge of supervising the entire military. And you'll also be free." "Okay, thank you very much. No need to thank me with you here. My Guanzhong City military will surely be famous in Muyanxing. Daughter, take the supervisor to collect the military uniform and identity medal." "Okay, Grandpa." After answering, he shouted to Hu Xin, "Follow me, big bad guy." The old man said to Huang Xingyu and the others, "Follow me." Huaxian parted ways with dozens of female protagonists. They are all extremely powerful, so Huaxian feels very relieved in Muyan Star. Follow Tang Hongyu to the military uniform collection area. Sir, the guarding soldier was a female soldier. He saluted and greeted Huaxian. When she saw Huaxian, she thought that this new soldier was so handsome. Open the gate. The door opened and Tang Hongyu lead Huaxian in. Seeing that there were no outsiders, Tang Hongyu suddenly took action. Grabbed something that shouldn't be grabbed, and asked, "Is he real?" Provoked like this, Huaxian would never tolerate her again. He suddenly hugged Tang Hongyu, kissed her, and demanded. 3 hours later, Huaxian received the military uniform and identity armband and left with the rosy-faced Tang Hongyu. The female soldiers saw them leaving and rushed in to check. She saw some messy things and cursed inwardly, as expected. "It's really, hey bastard, you're not going to be irresponsible to me, are you?" Tang Hongyu asked Huaxian. "If you think it's unnecessary for me to be responsible to you, that's fine," Huaxian said with a smile. "Well, of course it's necessary. You must be responsible to me. Wait, I am definitely better at leading troops than your other women." "Really? I'm looking forward to it. How about this? There are more than 40 of them if you surpass one of them. I will help you improve your cultivation by one small mirror realm. If you surpass 2 of them, I will help you improve your cultivation by 2 levels. And so on." "Really? No, could it be that you helped them to improve their powerful skills?" Tang Hongyu asked in shock. "Yes, you can understand it that way. Okay, then I'll trust you this time. Just wait and see. I will definitely surpass every one of them. I'm going to be busy. You can have fun by yourself." Tang Hongyu was in a hurry to train the soldiers. And she trotted away with a strange gait. Huaxian smiled and was about to leave. "You are so brave, you even dare to sleep with my granddaughter." The old man walked out from the side. "Grandpa, you arranged for Hongyu to take me alone to pick up the military uniform. Doesn't that mean you have tacitly agreed?" Huaxian replied with a smile, and even changed his address. When the old man heard this name, a smile appeared on his face which was pretending to be angry. "I thought to myself, I can't refuse such an outstanding grandson-in-law like you." Huaxian, in half a year, the ancient battlefield will be opened on Diyuan Star in the upper realm. It will be full of people of all kinds and extremely dangerous. But it will also be filled with countless opportunities. You must be prepared. Chapter 309, Repeat Offender. After giving the instructions, Huaxian left the military headquarters alone. It is just a place far away from the city. Hundreds of miles away from Guanzhong City. Of course. With the technology in this world, this distance would only take a few minutes. Huaxian was not in a hurry to travel, so he walked lazily towards the city. Enjoy the scenery of this world along the way. As a world with advanced genetic energy particles, everything here is better than in the netherworld. Even wild vegetables are more nutritious. Although he had already walked out of the military headquarters, he could still occasionally spot soldiers hiding in the dark. Be alert to everything around you. An hour later, the high-tech buildings suspended in the air could be seen in the distance. Of course, there are also tall buildings on the ground. In short, in this super technological world, the space in the sky, on the ground, and underground has been utilized to the maximum. That's because in this world with powerful genes, the lifespan of living things is infinitely extended. And new generations are constantly being born, which leads to the planet's population exceeding the limit. In order to survive, we have to make good use of every inch of space. As for food, it is too simple for this hyper-technological age. Help! Help! Huaxian, who was walking leisurely, suddenly heard a girl's cry for help from the bushes not far away. Out of curiosity, Huaxian rushed over. What I saw instead was a pretty girl, lying in the grass in dishevel, with no one else around. He frowned and asked, "Beauty, what's wrong with you?" The girl said pitifully, "Handsome, I came here to pee. But I was bitten by a poisonous snake, can you help me?" While speaking, he deliberately tore open his untidy clothes, revealing a large area that should not be seen. Huaxian asked speechless lie, "How do you want me to help you?" "Please carry me to the hospital." The girl said in a delicate voice. If it were someone else, especially in the bushes, they would have lost control and pounced on him. "Okay, sure." Huaxian walked over, squatted down and was about to pick up the girl. The girl took the initiative to throw herself into Huaxian's arms and hugged him tightly. Then he shouted, "Help, help!" The next moment, several big men rushed over, and one of them asked loudly, "What's going on?" The girl said with the look and tone of a victim, "I was walking on the road, rushing back to the city. But he suddenly rushed out from the bushes, grabbed me and dragged me in. And then woo-woo. A good boy, you are so brave that you dare to rape a decent girl. Beat him to death," a big man said and was about to take action. Huaxian frowned and said, "You'd better think it over before you do anything." Huaxian was so confident and not afraid at all that several big men were stunned. They looked at each other, feeling a little unsure. After a while, a big man said, "Boy, you raped a good girl. Which is a crime. We are going to arrest you and bring you to justice today." "How did I rape her? Which eye of yours saw me raping her? Didn't you see that he took the initiative to hug me?" Looking closely, it was true. The young man didn't hit the girl. "Ah, I'm just scared he wanted to rape me. Please help me." The girl quickly let go of Huaxian and shouted loudly. Another big man asked, "Girl, have you been violated? If not, then he didn't succeed. Just ask him to compensate you 10,000 platinum coins." The girl said, "Although he didn't succeed. If I hadn't met you, I would have been killed. 10,000 platinum coins are not enough. I still have to thank you. I need at least 50,000. Huaxian smiled and shook his head. "You guys are acting to fake. You don't look like the kind of people who would do this kind of thing. Tell me what happened. If I can help you, maybe I can help you." Hearing this, several people looked at each other. After a while, one of them asked, "Are you sure you will help us? Let's talk about the matter first." The man said, "It's our little sister's. He was captured and sold to a nightclub. We need 100,000 platinum coins to redeem her. We have raised 50,000, and we still need 50,000. Is that so? Then take me to this nightclub? Don't worry, I will help you. How can we trust you? If you really want to help us, give us 50,000 platinum coins," said another big man. Huaxian spread his hands and said, "It's not that I don't want to give you gold coins, but I don't have a penny on me. If you don't believe me, search me." Hearing this, several people frowned. The leading guy quickly searched Huaxian's body. And sure enough, there was not a single platinum coin. He cursed angrily, "What bad luck. The first time I voted, I met a poor beggar." The girl said, "Brother, then he is taking advantage of me for nothing." How can I let him take advantage of me for nothing? I'll beat him up to vent my anger." "Wait, I said I would help you. So I will definitely help you. It's better to give it a try than to have no chance at all. Take me to the nightclub you mentioned." Several people looked at each other. Finally, the girl said, "Well, we'll trust you this time." Then Huaxian followed them into the city. At first glance, the sky and the ground were full of buildings, and there were crowds of people everywhere, making it very lively. Even the crisscrossing glass passages built high in the sky were crowded with people. Both men and women are very good looking, and any one of them is a super beautiful woman on Earth. This is the benefit brought by advanced genetic evolution. Not only will your lifespan and youth be extended, but your body will also become more and more perfect, and your appearance will naturally become higher and higher. Among them, Huaxian's handsome looks are just that of a handsome guy. Not particularly outstanding. Intelligent robot serving people can be seen everywhere. A scream came from the sky. A graceful figure fell from a high altitude. It is noteworthy that all the robots serving people did not try to catch her. Not only that, when seeing the ball coming towards them, the girl and her brothers not only had no intention of catching it, but also dodged to the side. Huaxian subconsciously caught the woman. Beep beep, alarm, alarm, an accomplice has been found. Immediately, the robots that had not offered any help actually surrounded her. The girl in the distance knew that Huaxian and this woman were in cahoots. So she shouted, "Put her down quickly. Didn't you see the gene binding bracelet she's wearing? She must be a felon who escaped from prison." Only then did Huaxian notice that the woman actually had bracelets on her hands and feet. "Run quickly, it will be too late if you don't run now." The woman yelled at Huaxian in a tone as if, "You are my accomplice." Huaxian did not run away, but stood there in a daze. "Damn it." The woman cursed angrily, seeing that she couldn't escape. She suddenly hugged Huaxian and kissed him. Then she said tenderly, "Dear, thank you for coming to pick me up. I didn't expect that not only could I not escape, but I also got you into trouble. I thought to myself, if you don't take me with you and run away, I won't let you have an easy life." Chapter 310, Genetic Confinement Bracelet. He's been arrested. People from the security department arrived, and one of the middle-aged men gave orders angrily. The robot troops made way, and the real person walked up to Huaxian, grabbed Huaxian's hand, and directly handcuffed him with a gene confinement bracelet. Huaxian suddenly felt a mysterious force suppressing his genes in his body, making it impossible for him to mobilize them. When the woman was forcibly separated from Huaxian, she whispered in Huaxian's ear, "Just wait, boy, it will be even worse if you go to jail." Whispering to each other, "Do you have any other conspiracy?" The middle-aged man roared, walked over and kicked Huaxian. Although his genes were restricted, Huaxian's physique was extremely strong. What shocked Huaxian even more was that the special physique genes did not seem to fall into the category of genetic power and were not restricted. It is also a special physical gene at the peak of the 60th level of the pseudo-god realm. Its power is only revealed when the power of other genes is suppressed. Huaxian himself was shocked. The special physical gene was definitely more powerful than the lightning gene. Easily avoided the security guard's kick. He said coldly, "Are I in cahoots with this woman? Can't you investigate? Do you beat people up at every turn, or are all the criminals tortured into confessing by you?" The middle-aged man was stunned when his kick missed. He became furious when he heard Huaxian's words and attacked again. A punch hit Huaxian's face. "If this hits me, I'm afraid I'll have facial paralysis." Huaxian got angry and grabbed the middle-aged man's fist and hit him hard. Click. He actually crushed his fist. The whole audience was shocked. They all looked at the gene-binding bracelet on Huaxian's wrist, seriously wondering if it was broken. This security guard is very famous in Wanzhong City. Everyone knows his strength, not to mention that his genes are restricted. Even if they are not tightened, they may not be his opponent. But now, a young man with restricted genes not only easily avoided the attack, but also crushed his clenched fist easily. It was too weird. How terrifying. Is this pure physical strength? These words were spoken by the woman who was caught by Huaxian. He just stared at the gene confinement bracelet on Huaxian's hand, making sure it was in good condition and not damaged. That was why he made such a guess. "Do you still want to play?" Huaxian asked the security guard coldly. "Court death." The security guard was extremely angry. He took out a laser gun and opened fire at Huaxian. An extremely strong laser, carrying a high temperature that could penetrate everything, flew towards Huaxian. Huaxian was even faster. He grabbed the middle-aged security guard's clenched fist and pulled him hard, blocking him in front of him. Magnetic. The laser hit his body and was blocked by a bulletproof vest made of special material. Even so, the middle-aged security guard was frightened and broke out in a cold sweat. It's unbelievable. This guy has restricted genes, but he is still so terrifying. Who is he? Blick. Snap. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Huaxian broke all the bones of the middle-aged man, and then said, "This is a lesson for you, to let you know that no matter who you are, you can't bully others by taking advantage of your position. And you can arrest bad guys, but don't slander good people." He walked towards the woman and whispered in her ear, "I'm sorry to disappoint you." Bang! A punch hit the woman in the abdomen. The extreme pain made the woman scream. Because the woman's arms were being held by two security guards, the tremendous force caused her arms to be torn off from her arms, leaving her body flying. This scene shocked the entire audience and made everyone feel terrified. When they looked at Huaxian again, they thought he was a devil. The woman fell to the ground. Her shoulders, where both her arms had been lost, were covered in blood. She curled up into a ball, wailing miserably. After all, he is a powerful genetic warrior. Even if his genetic power is greater than the seal, he will not fall into a coma so easily. What are you standing there for? The prisoner hasn't been taken away yet. The other security guards finally reacted and quickly grabbed the prisoner and took the captain who was beaten by Huaxian away. There were still countless people around looking at Huaxian. Huaxian had a nonchalant expression. He took off the gene confinement bracelet and said, "You took out the bad one and used it. You deserve to be beat." Click. He stepped on the gene binding bracelet and broke it into pieces. Then he walked over to the girls and said, "Come on. Take me to the nightclub. I said I would help you, and I will." Several people trembled and were extremely excited. After seeing how powerful Huaxian is, everyone has great trust in him. "Thank you," the girls said and quickly led the way. But my heart was beating like a deer. I thought I had close contact with him. It would be great if I could marry him. On the way, the girl mustered up the courage to say, "My name is Yin Yanan. What's yours?" "Huaxian. Brother Huaxian, I'm sorry for what happened before. Please don't be angry with me, okay?" Huaxian smiled and said, "I have never been angry with you." "Really? Real? That's great. By the way, Brother Huaxian, do you have a partner?" After asking this, he looked at Huaxian with great anticipation and even stopped in his tracks. "Hurry up and led the way. Do you still want to save your sister?" "Oh," Yin Yanan led the way with a bit of disappointment. "I feel bitter in my heart. It turns out that he doesn't like me at all. But I like him so much. What should I do? What should I do?" The brothers also saw what their sister was thinking and decided to create an opportunity for her. They said, "Sister, you can just take Huaxian with you to save me. We are too weak to help and will become a burden, so we won't go together." Without caring whether Yin Yanan agreed or not, he turned around and left. Yin Yanan was not stupid either. She looked back and saw that several brothers were indeed looking at her and cheering her on. Seeing that there were no acquaintances around, Yin Yanan kept cheering herself up in her heart. "Yin Yanan, you have to keep going. Happiness is something you have fought for. Yin Yanan, you can't back down." Finally, Yin Yanan mustered up the courage, walked to Huaxian, put her arms around Huaxian, but because she was too shy, she lowered her head and didn't dare to even look at Huaxian. Huaxian said speechless lie. Girl, if you don't walk like this, your sister will probably be bullied. Yin Yanan screamed, rejoiced that her sister was safe, and ran away with Huaxian. While running, he shouted anxiously, "Hurry, follow me to save my sister." Huaxian smiled bitterly and trotted after her. I don't have any possessiveness towards this girl, but I like her very much. She feels like a younger sister. Aim! A cat's meow was heard. A blood-blooded cat jumped down from a big tree. It fell right on Huaxian's head. Huaxian pulled her down and found that it was a cute cat. He became gentler and squatted down to put the cat on the ground. Unexpectedly, the cat jumped and bit him hard on the face. Chapter 311, Break In. It was extremely strange that being bitten by a cat actually hurt a lot. This kind of pain should not occur to someone like him, who is at the peak of the 60th pseudo-god gene realm. Oh no, that looks like a ghost cat, Yin Yanan exclaimed in shock. Huaxian frowned and asked, what the hell is a ghost cat? Yin Yanan explained, I just heard from the old people that the ghost cat is as white as snow. It can appear alive in the human world during the day, and enter the dreams of the people it chooses at night and do whatever it wants. Selected? Huaxian was puzzled. Could it be that he was selected? Yes, that's right. According to legend, anyone chosen by a ghost cat will be bitten by it as a mark. A white cat just now is most likely the legendary ghost cat. Huaxian was speechless, but he was not afraid. No matter what kind of cat you are, he will teach you a lesson if you come again. Yin Yanan said worriedly. Brother Huaxian, you'd better go find those experts who can exorcise evil spirits and see if you can break the ghost cat's mark. Otherwise, if she really comes to you, she is invincible in your dreams and can do whatever she wants. Huaxian still didn't take it seriously and said fearlessly, forget about the ghost cat. Lead the way and go save your sister. Okay then, I thought to myself, Brother Huaxian, after I save my sister, I will help you find the expert. Huaxian followed Yin Yanan away. On the tree, among the dense leaves, a snow-white cat watched Huaxian's back as he left. It licked its tongue and spoke in human language. What a delicious prey. Starting tonight, you are mine. Soon we arrived at Happy Nightclub. It's a very common name, but many people come in and out. But they are all celebrities and high-ranking people with extraordinary status. Stop if your worth is less than 100,000 platinum coins. You are not allowed to enter the Happy Nightclub. Huaxian didn't expect that with his endless currency system, he would be stopped by 100,000 platinum coins. After thinking for a while, he asked, apart from platinum coins, is there any other way to get in? The bodyguard looked at Yin Yanan and said, yes, beauties like her who have some looks can enter directly. Yin Yanan was immediately frightened and hid behind Huaxian. What about getting in? Huaxian said suddenly. The other party was stunned. Then he smiled and said, you can give it a try. Bang! Huaxian kicked him away. Bang, bang, bang. The other bodyguards arrived, and before they had a chance to speak, they were knocked to the ground by Huaxian. Oh my god! Who is that guy? He is so crazy that he dares to cause trouble in Happy Nightclub. I think he is just tired of living no matter who is behind him. There is only one result for causing trouble in Happy Nightclub. It's been about 300 years. I remember the last time someone caused trouble was a guy called Jinlonghe. He died miserably. All people outside were talking about it. Huaxian had already taken Yin Yanan all the way into the Happy Nightclub. At this time, an old man arrived, blocked Huaxian's way and asked, Sir, you are going too far. Huaxian said coldly, I came here to spend money. But your guard dog paid attention to my woman, so I was very angry. While speaking, he also hugged Yin Yanan in his arms. When I heard Huaxian say that I was his woman, my heart felt as sweet as honey. Is there such a thing? The old man gave a look to his men beside him, and told them to leave. After a while, he came back and whispered a few words in the old man's ear. The old man immediately said coolly, young man, it's fine if you don't have money to spend in a place like this, but it's wrong for you to hit someone. Bother with you about the beating. One of the subordinates said, Butler, the private doctor has calculated that it will take at least 1 million platinum coins to treat everyone. The old man looked at Huaxian and said in a charitable tone, pay 1 million platinum coins, and we'll let it go today. Of course, if you can't come up with that much platinum coins, that's fine, you can stay and work, you rake white skilled. So I'll pay you 100 platinum coins a month when you earn 1 million platinum coins to pay off your debts. You can leave. 100 platinum coins a month. It would take nearly 100 years to earn 1 million. Huaxian smiled coldly and said, what if I choose to continue fighting? The old man was stunned. He didn't expect him to be so confident. Then he smiled coldly, since you want to suffer, then do it. Huaxian nodded and started to work. Bang bang bang, dong sounds rang out instantly. When it was over, the old man had collapsed to the ground. Unable to speak, his face and heart filled with fear. It was unbelievable. How could this guy be so strong? He was a level 46 pseudo-god, but he had no power to fight back. Huaxian took out a few platinum coins and threw them on the old man, saying, "This is to compensate for your medical expenses." Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 5 platinum coins within 36 hours and received an evolution gene pill as a reward. Ding, the critical hit rate of the task system has been activated. 100 times critical hit, new task, complete within 36 hours. Consume 600 platinum coins, the task fails, the host's highest gene realm is level 1. Complete the task to reward an evolution gene pill. Huaxian was overjoyed, but this time the stacking of one was really too slow. How could it be fun to spend it? It's really frustrating. I didn't expect there is a chance to trigger a double consumption critical hit. Everyone looked at each other in surprise, and they all thought that Huaxian's recognition of these platinum coins was a blow to the old man. The old man glared angrily. Seeing this, Huaxian sneered. Why do you think it's too little? He directly took out 600 platinum coins, poured them on the old man and asked, "Is it enough?" Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 600 platinum coins within 36 hours and received an evolution gene pill as a reward. Ding, new mission, complete it within 30 hours and spend 700 platinum coins. If the mission fails, the host's highest gene realm will be deducted by 1 level. If the mission is completed, the reward is 1 evolution gene pill. Unfortunately, no critical hit was triggered this time. Yin Yanan, who was standing by, was stunned when he saw the pile of platinum coins. He thought to himself, this guy didn't have a single platinum coin on him when Big Brother searched him. So how come he could take out so many now? Did Big Brother let him off? Huaxian stopped shopping and walked inside. Even the strongest butler was defeated. So naturally the other small buildings did not dare to act recklessly. Huaxian brought Yin Yanan and swaggered into the lobby of Happy Nightclub amidst heavy siege. Yanan, what does your sister look like? Similar to me, but with a better figure and prettier appearance. For fear of disturbing other guests, the bodyguards did not follow in. So no one knew that Huaxian had broken in, and everything inside was still going on peacefully. Be happy today, tomorrow will come soon, and every day will be happy. On the small stage, there was a tall and beautiful woman with sexy clothes and a stunning figure. She sang so beautifully that Huaxian couldn't help but stop and look over. Chapter 312, Cruel Yin Yang. After seeing it clearly, my eyes lit up. That figure, those eyebrows, that singing voice. They are all perfect and make people unable to stop. Below the small stage, countless men were blocking the area. There were also some obscene ones, lying on the edge of the stage, as if they could see whatever they wanted to see. Seeing Huaxian's expression, Yin Yanan said jealously, "Brother Huaxian, are you attracted to her? She is the singing queen Li Zi. She has countless suitors, including numerous dignitaries and even young talents from the upper realm who came down to pursue her, but were all rejected. So, it is also called the Ruthless Black Rose." Huaxian frowned and asked, "Why does she always refuse? Not to mention the geniuses from the lower realm, the geniuses from the upper realm should be very outstanding, right? Isn't there anyone that she likes?" "I don't know about that. I just heard about it. If it weren't for saving my sister, I would never come back to a place like Happy Nightclub in my life." I thought to myself, shouldn't you like such a pure girl like me? Huaxian thought for a moment and said, "Go find your sister first." After saying that, he glanced at Li Zi, and coincidentally, Li Zi was also looking over here. Their eyes met, and I thought sparks would fly, but Li Zi looked away the next second. Huaxian touched his nose and thought, it seems that my appearance is a bit low here. I need to improve it. I took Yin Yanan around the hall, but I didn't see my sister Yin Yang. Where is my sister? Yin Yanan suddenly became anxious. "Hey, Yin Yang, aren't you accompanying Brother Chang? Why are you here? And who is he?" A drunk young man saw Yin Yanan and asked in confusion. "Yin Yanan, you still don't understand. The person he mentioned accompanying Brother Chang must be his sister." And said quickly, "I came out to use the bathroom and forgot that it was that place. Can you take me there?" As for him, he was just a stranger whom I asked for directions. "Is that so? Come with me quickly." He turned around and led the way, and continued, "Don't anger Brother Chang, otherwise even if you are a beauty, Brother Chang will not show mercy." "I know." Soon we arrived at a secluded private room. As to why it has to be kept secret, it is unknown. When I rang the doorbell, the door didn't open immediately. Instead, it opened only after the person inside confirmed that it was someone inside. The young man took Yin Yanan in. Everyone inside was surprised to see a girl who looked similar to Yin Yang. Yin Yang, who was already drunk, saw Yin Yanan and shouted excitedly, "Sister, save me?" So she's your sister, the two sisters look so alike. This is perfect, I can try it myself. Who are you? Seeing a strange young man, a subordinate, asked seriously. Huaxian looked around the scene and found a lot of prohibited items. No wonder he was hiding in such a hidden private room. Then he walked towards the young man in the lead, stood in front of him, and picked up the bottle of wine on the table. Clang! It hit the young man hard on the head. Gort death. The other brothers immediately took out their weapons and were ready to take action, etc. The young man cleaned the glass shards off his head, looked at Huaxian, and sneered, "You are so brave to do this to me." Huaxian picked up another wine bottle. Seeing this, the young man sneered and pointed at his head and said, "Come here, hit it with all your strength if you dare to smash it." Clang! Before he could finish his words, Huaxian smashed the bottle down hard. Then he picked up the third wine bottle. The younger brothers were already on full alert, waiting for the young man's order. "You have the guts. Very good, now I order you to swallow these glass fragments. Otherwise..." Clang! Another bottle was smashed. As the saying goes, 3 times the limit. Huaxian acted recklessly 3 times in a row. And the young man finally became furious. "What are you standing there for? Kill him for me." He gave the order madly. Various weapons are activated immediately. Next, a layer of defense constructed with pure power not only enveloped Huaxian himself, but also protected Yin Yanan and Yin Yang. How is that possible? Such a scene shocked all the gangsters present. Huaxian stared at the young man infuriately and said, "You dare to touch my sister? Tell me how you want to die. I will kill him with my own hands." Yin Yang's drunkenness disappeared in an instant, and she looked at the young man and shouted angrily. It's just that her movements were confused and weak, and something was very wrong. Huaxian nodded and said, "I'll leave them to you." A powerful aura burst out from his body, and these panicked hooligans were immediately unable to move. But the fear on his face grew more and more. Yin Yang took out a sharp dagger from the nano-space device, turned around and looked at the young man, her eyes full of murderous intent. The young man was extremely panicked and wanted to speak, but he couldn't. Yin Yang approached him little by little with a dagger in her hand, which made the young man's nerves tense to the extreme. "No, I don't want to die," the young man roared in despair in his heart. The blood in the body suddenly accelerated, and a special instrument was activated by the changes in the blood. Somewhere in Guanzhong City, in a luxurious fortress, a middle-aged man who was sparring with a beautiful woman sensed something and exclaimed, "Oh no, my son is in danger." He immediately gave up the fact that there was no one under him and rushed out. "Master, what are you doing?" the butler, who was always waiting outside the door, asked in surprise. "My son is in danger, heading towards Happy Nightclub. Bring experts with you to provide support quickly." Having said that, he disappeared from the spot. In a private room of Happy Nightclub, Yin Yang was not in a hurry to kill the young man instantly. He wanted to torture him and make his life worse than death. Just because she saw with her own eyes that this guy treated innocent people cruelly. Phew! With a sharp knife, a piece of flesh was cut off from the young man's face and then thrown into the trash can nearby. 1 knife, 2 knives. It was bloody and extremely gory. Yin Yanan couldn't bear to watch and turned his head away. The young man was in extreme pain, and his eyes were full of murderous intent when he looked at Yin Yang. The other brothers were so scared that they were shaking all over, and some even had incontinence. Yin Yang said coldly, "I said don't give me a chance, or I will make you live a life worse than death." "What did you say then?" "Very much, okay, now I'll let you enjoy it, don't worry. I will never let you die so easily. Can you please let his subordinate come over?" Yin Yang said to Huaxian in a pleading tone. Huaxian nodded, and the younger brother regained his freedom. "Help!" he screamed and tried to escape. His body was once again oppressed by the terrifying aura. Huaxian said coldly, "Listen to her arrangements, maybe you still have a chance to survive." The younger brother recovered again, but didn't dare to move. "Come here," Yin Yang shouted coldly. The younger brother walked over trembling Lai. Yin Yang cut off a piece of the young man's flesh and handed it to him, saying, "Eat him." Chapter 313, Night Madness. Who dares to hurt my son? An angry roar was heard, alarming the entire Happy Nightclub. "Dad, you're finally here." Hearing this voice, the young man burst into tears of excitement, and his eyes turned towards Yin Yang and Huaxian with even more hatred. The door of the box was closed. The manager of the nightclub had the privilege to open the door, and a middle-aged man rushed in with a murderous look. He saw that his son was unrecognizable, and saw a piece of flesh and blood on the dagger in Yin Yang's hand. His eyes turned red instantly and a terrifying murderous aura burst out, sweeping the entire place. "You all must die for torturing my son like this," Huaxian said calmly. "If a son is not well educated, it is the fault of the father. Since you are here, you should stay with your son." After he finished speaking, a powerful pressure enveloped the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man who was about to speak was shocked by the pressure. He wanted to speak but was unable to open his mouth. His eyes were replaced by more and more intense fear. Huaxian said to Yin Yang, "Do whatever you want, I'll support you." Yin Yang stared at Huaxian, her heart shot to the extreme. With her own strength, she suppressed the powerful He family father and son. Where did her sister find such a master, and what price did she pay to get the other party to help her? For a moment, I was lost in thought. What's wrong? Huaxian asked. After coming back to her senses, Yin Yang couldn't help but ask. I want to know, why are you helping me? Huaxian smiled and said. Because Yin Yanan has a similar personality to my little sister. I like her very much, so, you are her sister, which is equivalent to my sister. Just because of this? Yin Yang was a little unconvinced. Of course, what else do you think? You really don't have any other requests? What do you want from me? Huaxian asked back. Yin Yang was stunned. But she stopped dwelling on the question and asked. If I kill them, can you handle it? You'll know if you try it. Huaxian said with a smile. Phew. In order to avoid any further complications, Yin Yang stopped torturing the young man and stabbed him through the heart with a knife. You! The young man spat out blood, extremely unwilling. A middle-aged man's eyes were also tearful. Yin Yang walked towards him with a bloody dagger in her hand. Seeing this scene, the middle-aged man panicked. If you lose your son, you can have another one, but if you lose yourself, then it's all over. A pleading look appeared in the angry and hateful eyes. But Yin Yang ignored it. Coming in front of him, the cold dagger was pointed in front of him, giving him an extremely strong sense of oppression. Master! The butler's voice came, and he rushed in with a group of people. Seeing that his master couldn't move, he hadn't reacted yet. Master, what are you doing? The master was suppressed by a master. A strong man said in shock. The next moment, all of them were suppressed and unable to move. Huaxian said, looks like they're all here, let's kill them. Yin Yang's body trembled. She just wanted to kill those who should be killed. But there were more than 30 people here, and she couldn't bring herself to do it. These people have done all kinds of bad things. If we don't kill them, they will only hurt more innocent people, said Huaxian. Phew. But it was Yin Yanan who plucked up the courage, took out his weapon, and killed one man with one sword. Although his face was pale and he was extremely frightened, he reminded himself loudly in his heart, Yin Yanan, if you want to follow him, you must adapt. They are all bad guys and they all deserve to die. Die together. After thinking this, he roared and killed those who were suppressed. In a few minutes, all these guys were lying in a pool of blood. There are only a few people left around Yin Yang. Yin Yang was also stunned when she saw her sister who looked like Shura. She knew her sister's character very well, and she was shocked to find that she could do this. He took a deep breath, without any hesitation, and attacked directly, killing the remaining people. At this time, hurried footsteps were heard outside, and a team of uniformed security personnel rushed in. When they saw the bloody scene and recognized the He family, a prominent family in Zhongcheng, they were shocked. Who are you and why are you doing this? The leading captain asked loudly. He did not act rashly while asking, he secretly notified the arrival of the experts. After all, the existence that could kill the strongman of the He family was no longer something they could deal with. Huaxian said, they bullied my sister, so they deserve to die. If someone bullied your sister, you could have called the police. Why did you want to kill someone on your own? The captain asked. Huaxian smiled coldly. Call the police, do you dare to touch them? The security guards fell silent. The He family, although their status in Guangzhong City is not the highest, is not bad either. How dare they make any moves? A captain said stubbornly. Why not? As long as we have enough evidence, no matter who it is, they will be brought to justice. Very good, then I will sue Happy Nightclub now for operating illegally and colluding to harm my sister. Pointing to the prohibited items on the table, he said, we have both the witnesses and the evidence. Let's arrest them. You're talking nonsense. You were the one who brought those things and put them here to frame us. The nightclub manager cursed. The captain said, did you hear that? You brought these things with you. Now we are going to arrest you and take you back for investigation. Huaxian's smile became even colder. Just as she was about to speak, Yin Yang angrily said, I testify that these things were provided by Happy Nightclub. And they also used banned drugs on me. Little girl. Don't talk nonsense. Tell me, what kind of banned drugs did they use on you? The manager sneered. They used Spring. Before she finished speaking, her condition suddenly became abnormal. It's hot, so hot. Yin Yang's skin suddenly turned red, and because it was too hot, she began to tear off her clothes with her hands. Yes. I want. Yin Yang threw herself into Huaxian's arms and begged in a tender voice. The way he looked at her, he had lost his mind. It was obviously instinctive. Get out of here. Buzz. A terrifying aura burst out from Hu Xian's body, shocking everyone present to the extreme. But he just stood there in a daze. I said get out. Murderous roar erupted, and these people finally reacted and quickly retreated in fear. When Hu Xian was about to use his powerful genetic power to detoxify Yin Yang, the girl bit his lips hard. And then it got even crazier. Yin Yanan was shocked when he saw this scene. They gave my sister night madness. There is no antidote for this thing, only. Then he said, Brother Xin, you are a good man. I feel relieved that my sister is with you. There's a room over here, come over here. Hu Xian picked up Yin Yang and rushed into the room. Yin Yang was already naked, and she was so crazy that she threw Hu Xian to the ground. Chapter 314, Are you the military supervisor? A few hours later, Yin Yang collapsed in Hu Xian's arms, her face flushed with shame and a mixture of emotions in her heart. After a long time, he asked, Will you abandon me? Looking into Hu Xian's eyes, she would be heartbroken if there was even the slightest change. Why should I abandon you? Aren't you confident enough in yourself? Hu Xian asked back. Aren't all you men like this? You fall in love with every woman you meet, and then abandon the one you love when you meet someone better. I admit that I love everyone I meet, but abandonment does not exist for me. Let's go, your sister is still waiting outside. After they put on their clothes, Hu Xian took Yin Yang out of the room. Outside, a group of senior security officers were waiting. Are you the newly promoted supervisor of the military? A fat old man asked respectfully. Hu Xian nodded and said, I am. Yin Yanan, who was extremely worried, was stunned, and finally understood why these people waited after arriving and did not dare to act recklessly. Yin Yang said with an expression that said, Hubby, you are of a very noble status. Although I guessed that Hu Xian had an unusual background, I never thought that he was a supervisor of the military. It's just so, not noble at all. He looked at the people from the security department and said, There are problems with both the He family and this nightclub. You should know that. The fat old man and the lad said hurriedly, I understand we have mobilized a large number of security personnel to arrest the remnants of the He family. The nightclub has also been closed down. Please ask the supervisor for instructions. Hu Xian nodded and said, As the supervisor of the military, I have no right to interfere in the affairs of your security department. But after encountering such a thing, I feel that Guanzhong City is a bit chaotic and not peaceful. How about this? I will apply to the military and have them send troops to assist the security department in strictly enforcing and punishing the security issues in Guanzhong City, so that Guanzhong City can enjoy peace and prosperity. This. Why, can't I? No, it's just that this matter is of great importance. I'm afraid it will. But the main thing is that although Guanzhong City appears to belong to Guanzhong City, many of its industries are actually controlled by other powerful forces. We cannot afford to offend these forces. I can't afford to offend them. Can't I even afford to offend the Guanzhong City military? This guy said, Supervisor, every city has a military. And the larger the city, the more powerful the military. Our Guanzhong City is on Muyan Star, and it's just a medium-sized city. I think we should not touch those people's cake. Is that so? Okay, I understand. After saying that, he left holding Yin Yanan in one hand and Yin Yang in the other. No one dared to stop it. Not only is he the military supervisor, he is also the second most important figure after the military commander. When they came outside, the two sisters looked at Hu Xian. Everything seemed ordinary. Husband, where are you taking us sisters next? By the way, husband, tell me honestly, do you like my sister? Hearing this, Yin Yan unlowered her head shyly, feeling nervous yet expectant. Hu Xian glanced at Yin Yanan and said, Do you believe me if I say, I don't like you? No. That's it. I knew you were after my sister. Tell me the truth, did you help me because you wanted to seduce my sister? Really not. DSK, man. What's that tone and expression? After all, I'm still the victim if you don't believe me. Ask your sister. Yin Yang looked curious. Sister, what happened to you? Under her sister's questioning, Yin Yanan had no choice but to tell her. Sister, you and your brothers are really good. Yin Yanan was speechless. It's all for saving you, how dare you say that? I'm telling you. If it wasn't for this, you wouldn't have met Brother Xin. And you would be in trouble. Okay, I get it, sister. Thank you, and my silly brothers. Ubby, you haven't told me yet. What are we going to do now? Spend money. As he spoke, he had already led the two of them into a restaurant and was in a hurry to pay the bill. Otherwise, how could he show off? Honey, you are hungry. Aye, what do you need? A waiter came over and asked. There was a hint of disgust in his eyes when he looked at Hu Xian. I thought, what a scumbag, he actually brought his sisters with him. He must have used some evil means to deceive them. Bring up the best things you have here. He took the two sisters to sit down by the window and said, "Are you sure you want the best of everything?" The waiter asked loudly on purpose. "Sure. Okay, sir, wait a moment. I was thinking, what if you can't pay the bill later?" Huaxian looked out the window. Suddenly he saw a familiar and beautiful figure. It was none other than Li Ziyi, the singing queen of Happy Nightclub. Although she was well covered up with her outfit, Huaxian still recognized her at the first sight. "By two darlings, please wait here, I'll be there soon." Then he left. Yin Yaying said to her sister, "Sister, do you think this guy might have ordered some expensive dishes and run away because he couldn't pay?" Yin Yanan said, "It's possible this guy doesn't have many platinum coins on him. When I framed him today, he couldn't even come up with 30 platinum coins." Looking out the window, I saw Huaxian rushing towards a well-dressed woman. "Hello, beautiful lady." Huaxian stopped Li Ziyi and greeted her. "Who are you? I don't know you." Li Ziyi deliberately disguised her voice as rough. Huaxian smiled and said, "I know you. I saw you at Happy Nightclub today." Li Ziyi's body trembled, a little shocked. She didn't expect that she was recognized even though she disguised herself so well. He also suspected that the other party was trying to blow him up. So he said, "Sorry, I'm afraid you have the wrong person." After saying that, he took a detour to leave. Huaxian grabbed her hand and said, "Let's have a meal together." "Let go," Li Ziyi yelled with extreme disgust. She was so angry that she forgot to change her voice. Huaxian chuckled and said, "Look, I said I didn't recognize the wrong person. We just want to have a meal together, I have no other purpose." Seeing more and more people looking at her curiously, Li Ziyi had no choice but to compromise. "Okay, you'd better keep your word." Followed Huaxian into the restaurant next door. Li Ziyi heaved a sigh of relief when she came to the window and saw two more girls. Yin Yaying looked at Li Ziyi curiously and asked, "Hubby, who is she?" Huaxian smiled and said, "Guess." Yin Yanan frowned and said, "Look at the dress she's wearing. She looks a bit like the singing queen Li Ziyi that I saw at Happy Nightclub today." "Ah, she is the singing queen Li Ziyi? She is my idol?" Yin Yaying screamed, attracting many people to look over. Li Ziyi suddenly became extremely nervous. What annoyed her most was being surrounded by a group of fans. Chapter 315, Still Pretending. "Then you should pay. Let's go to the box," Huaxian said. The three followed Huaxian and left. Yin Yaying apologized quietly, "Sister Ziyi, I really didn't mean it." Li Ziyi didn't say anything else. Soon we moved to the private room. Only after closing the door did Li Ziyi breathe a sigh of relief. "Honey, I really didn't mean it. I was just so shocked that I actually met Sister Ziyi." Seeing that Li Ziyi ignored her, Yin Yai could only say to Huaxian. Huaxian said, speechless lie, "Wife, you are an adult now. It is really inappropriate to be startled." Hearing this, Yin Yaying was about to cry. "I'm sorry, I know I was wrong. I won't do it again, please don't." "Well, if you do this, not only will Li Ziyi hate you, I will also dislike you." Huaxian said seriously. He didn't expect that Yin Yaying could be scary when she was cruel, but also worrying when she was cute. Yin Yaying quickly shut up and held Huaxian tightly with both hands, fearing that he would dislike her. "What is your purpose in looking for me?" Li Ziyi asked Huaxian while looking at him. Huaxian chuckled and said, "You are so beautiful. What is my purpose in looking for you?" Li Ziyi frowned immediately. "You have a pair of sisters around you. Do you think you still have a chance? Aren't opportunities created by ourselves? I am pursuing you, and this is the opportunity. You are too conceited. Why do you think that I will agree to your pursuit?" Li Ziyi said coldly, with disgust in her eyes when she looked at Huaxian. I looked at the time on my wrist and thought, I only have 5 minutes left to get away from this crazy guy. Huaxian smiled and said, "Don't be so decisive. Maybe you will fall in love with me accidentally. You're dreaming. Even if all the men in the world were extinct, I, Li Ziyi, would never like a philandering, self-righteous man like you." Boom boom boom. The waiter from before knocked on the door and walked in pushing a food cart. It was filled with the most noble food and drinks. "Sir, the best food you ordered is here." The waiter placed the dishes on the table one by one. There were all delicious foods, and Yin Yanan and Yin Yaying started swallowing their saliva when they saw them. Even Li Ziyi was surprised. After setting the table, the waiter did not leave in a hurry. He took out the bill and handed it to Huaxian, saying, "Sir, this is your bill for this time. Please take a look and then settle the bill." Huaxian took it and looked at it, then asked in surprise, "This table actually costs 1.4 million platinum coins?" In the past, 1.4 million would definitely be a small amount of money for Huaxian. But now, the spending limit is only 700 platinum coins, and I just hope to trigger a critical hit. "Transfer money," Huaxian said generously. The waiter sneered and took out the payment code. Huaxian scans the QR code to transfer money. Ding! 700 platinum coins have been credited to the hotel account. Ding! Congratulations to the host, within 30 hours. You have completed the consumption of 700 platinum coins and received an evolution gene pill as a reward. Ding! New mission. Complete it within 30 hours and spend 800 platinum coins. If the mission fails, the host's highest gene realm will be deducted by 1 level. If the mission is completed, the reward is 1 evolution gene pill. As expected, no critical hit was triggered. The waiter sneered. Sir, this is 1 point for million platinum coins, and you transferred 700 platinum coins. How far is that from enough? Huaxian said, I know. Then continue the transfer. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have spent 800 platinum coins in 1 minute, exceeded the task, and received 1,000 times critical hit reward. 1,000 gene evolution pills. Fuck. Huaxian burst into laughter excitedly. He didn't expect that the reward for exceeding the task target would be upgraded to a critical hit reward. How cool. Ding! New mission. Complete it within 25 hours and spend 900 platinum coins. If the mission fails, the host's highest gene realm will be deducted by 1 level. If the mission is completed, the reward is 1 evolution gene pill. Seeing that he had only received 800 platinum coins, the waiter said unhappily, Sir, are you deliberately teasing me? No, absolutely not, it's just that the balance in my account is limited. Don't worry, I will definitely pay for this meal. Li Ziyi suddenly asked. You are not here to pick up girls and treat them to a meal. And you don't have money, so you called me over to be a sucker and pay for you, right? After thinking so, he said coldly. This is more than 1 million platinum coins. Although I have it, it is also my savings of several years. Don't even think about it. Misunderstanding, how could I let you girls pay? After that, continue transferring money. Ding! Spend 900 platinum coins in 1 minute. Exceed the task, get 100 times critical strike, and be rewarded with 100 evolution gene pills. Ding! New mission. Trigger 10,000 critical hits, complete within 20 hours and consume 10 million platinum coins. If the mission fails, deduct 1 level of the host's highest realm. Complete the mission and reward an evolution gene pill. Finally a critical hit was triggered, and it was a terrifying 10,000 times critical hit. Huaxian finally breathed a sigh of relief. Now that I have tens of millions of platinum coins, I feel that I am no longer a poor person. At this time, a group of people rushed in, looking aggressive and ill-intentioned. Seeing Li Ziyi, the leader hurriedly said, Boss, we are late. Li Ziyi stood up and said with a powerful aura, It's not too late. And he looked at Huaxian and said, Do you still want me to pay for you now? Do you still believe that Huaxian just wanted her to help pay? Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, Miss Yi, you really misunderstood me. I really just invited you to dinner, and there is absolutely no suspicion that I asked you to pay. The waiter nearby was frightened when this group of people rushed in aggressively. Hearing Huaxian's address, he stared at Li Ziyi in shock and exclaimed, Are you the singing queen Li Ziyi? Speak more quietly. Li Ziyi said dissatisfied lie. And he looked at Huaxian and said coldly, I don't care who you are, I want to leave now, do you still want to stop me? Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, Even if you wanted to leave just now, I wouldn't stop you, but Li Ziyi, I only like you, I have no other purpose. You still dare to talk nonsense, believe it or not? I will tear your mouth apart. Li Ziyi was very angry. The thuds around him were on full alert. Huaxian spread his hands and said, Okay, I won't say anything, but I believe that you will definitely like me. Dream on, he left angrily. The waiter reacted and said to Huaxian inferently, Go ahead and pay. Yin Yanan also thought that Huaxian had no money. So she said, Waiter, my husband was just joking, can you please return these dishes? No, according to our restaurant's rules, dishes cannot be returned. After all, these are high-cost dishes, and our restaurant cannot afford the loss. Huaxian said calmly, Why should I refund it? I ordered it to eat. It's only 1 point for million platinum coins that's no big deal. Yin Yanan and Yin Yaying were speechless thinking, Why are you still pretending at this time? What if you can't pay? It is also suspected that Huaxian called Li Ziyi to help pay the bill. But she ended up calling the bodyguards and leaving. The waiter said inferently, Still pretending, then why don't you pay? Chapter 316, You want me to die, so why can't I let you die? When Huaxian was about to pay, another person rushed in. Looking flustered, as if he had encountered some trouble. Everyone looked carefully and realized that it was Li Ziyi who had left in a cold manner just now. Li Ziyi, what are you running? Do you think I can eat you? An excited voice came from outside. Then a young man who was approaching middle age walked in with a swagger. Seeing this young man, Yin Yaying exclaimed, The eldest son of the richest family. Like Yan Guan. Looking at the panicked Li Ziyi, she also knew why he appeared here. Li Zi was extremely panicked. Seeing Hu Xin, she decided to risk it all. Rushed over, sat in Hu Xin's arms, and cried out tenderly, "Hubby, he bullied me." The whole audience was stunned. Hu Xin was also stunned, then he understood Li Zi's purpose. Felt amused, and took the initiative to throw himself into her arms. It would be a bastard not to take advantage of the opportunity. He hugged Li Zi tightly and pressed his face against hers. Thinking, how cool. Li Zi was furious but did not dare to explode. Compared with Hu Xin, he hated Lai Qianguan, who bullied others and did all kinds of evil. More. Holding back her nausea, she said, "Hubby, there are so many people here. Please don't do this here, okay?" It turned out that Hu Xin went a step further and touched her forbidden area with his hands. Hu Xin laughed and said, "What are you afraid of? We are husband and wife. We can do whatever we want. As for bullying you, I am here. I don't think anyone dares to bully you." Li Zi felt extremely disgusted. But she had to pretend to be in love with Hu Xin while sending Lai Qianguan away. She also hoped to provoke a fight between them. As expected, Lai Qianguan was furious at this scene. After coming to his senses, he roared, "You bastard, you dare to touch my woman, kill him for me." A group of men took action directly, ruthlessly and mercilessly. And every attack was fatal. This scene scared the others to death. Whoosh! Hu Xin also moved. After the bangs, the scene fell silent. Everyone's eyes were focused on Hu Xin in shock. Looking around him, he saw people lying everywhere, and he couldn't tell whether they were unconscious or dead. Hu Xin looked at Lai Qianguan with a cold gaze. "You want me to die? And I want you to die too. That's fair, don't you think?" The stunned Lai Qianguan reacted and was so scared that he turned around and ran away. Clang! The door of the box closed automatically without any wind. Lai Qianguan grabbed the door handle and tried hard to open the door. Click! He broke the door handle, but the door didn't move at all. Hu Xin approached Lai Qianguan step by step. With no way to escape, Lai Qianguan could only bite the bullet and turn around to face Hu Xin. He mustered up his courage and said, "Don't come over here. I'm telling you, I'm the eldest son of the Lai family. The richest family in Guanzhong City. The entire Guanzhong City is ruled by my Lai family. If you dare to mess around, you will die." Hu Xin laughed. "You are about to kill me, and you still expect me not to kill you? Do you think this is logical?" Reach out. Booming magnet. A terrifying power of thunder and lightning appeared in his hands. And the naturally emanating thunder power also made others feel terrified. Li Zi was very shocked. She thought Hu Xin was just a poor loser. But she didn't expect that he was so terrifying at such a young age. Ding dong. Lai Qianguan, who was frightened to death, knelt on the ground and said, "Young man, please forgive me. I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. I will never dare to do it again." In order to survive, Lai Qianguan acted very convincingly. But he was thinking viciously in his heart, "You bastard. You want to kill me. When I leave here, you will die." Hu Xin laughed. "Boy, are you thinking of giving into the grievance first? And then finding a way to retaliate against me after you leave here and are safe?" Lai Qianguan was stunned and shocked, thinking that this guy knew what he was thinking. It must be guesswork. He hurriedly said, "No, young man. That's absolutely not the case. I, Lai Qianguan, promise that as long as you let me go, I will never cause you any trouble." Hu Xin shook his head and said, "I'm sorry, I still think that only dead people won't cause trouble for me." Boom! The lightning in his hand hit Lai Qianguan hard. The extremely strong electric current caused Lai Qianguan to tremble violently. His hair stood up, and the moisture on his body was almost instantly absorbed by the formation. When he fell to the ground, he had become a lifeless scapula. Everyone else was stunned. The eldest son of the richest family, Lai, is dead. It feels like the sky is falling. Hu Xin himself was not afraid at all. He clapped his hands and looked at Li Zi and said, "You just called me husband, and I also acknowledge you as my wife. In this life, you can only be my woman." Li Zi came to her senses and wanted to refuse, but she was afraid that Hu Xin would strike her with lightning, so she had to grit her teeth and agree. Hu Xin chuckled and said, "Don't be unwilling. You won't suffer any loss if you become my woman." After saying that, he looked at the waiter who was scared to death. Walked over. Seeing Hu Xin coming over, the waiter, thinking he had offended him, was terrified to the extreme. "Don't kill me, please don't kill me." He knelt on the ground and begged bitterly. Hu Xin said, "Why are you so scared? Besides, you haven't offended me. Just show me the QR code, I'm just paying the bill." The waiter did not dare to disobey Hu Xin's words and took out the QR code tremblingly. Hu Xin scans the code to pay. Ding, 1.4 million platinum coins have been credited to the hotel account. I've paid for the meal. The money I paid before is considered as your expense. Ask someone to clean up the place so as not to disturb our meal. And he returned to the dining table and sat down. Yin Yanan and Yin Yaying both looked at him in shock, and were equally frightened in their hearts. Hu Xian smiled bitterly and said, "What are you doing? We are all family, how can I eat you? Why are you so scared of me?" Li Ziyi boldly sat aside and said, "Even if you are really powerful, the Lai family is the richest family in Guanzhong City. If you kill the eldest son of the Lai family, they will definitely not let you go. If you don't let me go, then just come to my door. I will kill as many as you come," Hu Xian said coldly. Li Ziyi smiled bitterly and said, "The Lai family is the richest family in Guanzhong City. With huge assets, if they want to deal with you, they don't need to do it themselves. There is a powerful Dark Knight assassin organization in Muyanxing. I guess the Lai family will spend a huge amount of money to mobilize this organization to deal with you." Hu Xian looked at Li Ziyi and said with a smile, "Wife, are you concerned about me?" Li Ziyi rolled her eyes and said, "I don't care about you, I'm just worried because I've been dragged into this myself." "Is that so? Don't worry, I will be fine no matter what happens to you. Everyone, eat." Clang! Hu Xian picked up a piece of food with chopsticks. But before he put it into his mouth, there was a loud bang and the door of the private room was violently kicked open. The force was so great that 2 pieces of the door leaf fell off, and the entire heavy door of the box was shaking. A man in a black battle suit walked in quickly and fixed the shaky door. A young man with extraordinary bearing, accompanied by the sexy beauties, walked in with a swagger. Chapter 317, Come and kill me if you dare. Looking at the 2 beauties, Hu Xian's eyes lit up and he secretly exclaimed, "Top notch." After the young man walked in, he looked around and then frowned. A butler-like attendant beside him asked, "Lai Qianguan, the eldest son of the Lai family, did you see him?" Yin Yanan and the others looked at each other and became nervous. When the other party asked this question, I knew he was up to no good. Seeing that no one spoke, the young man spoke up himself. "Lai Qianguan told me that there is a very beautiful woman in Guanzhong City, who is even prettier than the 2 people next to me. Her name seems to be Li Ziyi. Do you know where she is?" After hearing this, everyone realized that the other party was coming for Li Ziyi, and Lai Qianguan seemed to be just an errand boy. Li Ziyi, who was next to Hu Xian, suddenly became extremely nervous. It is not difficult to tell from the other party's aura that he is of high status. Otherwise Lai Qianguan, the eldest son of the richest man's family, would not run errands for him. I secretly cursed my fate, wondering why I was so unlucky. Hu Xian said, "I know Li Ziyi. You knew it, but why didn't you tell us, young Master Gong? Do you want to live?" the middle-aged housekeeper shouted angrily. Hu Xian smiled and said, "If you want me to tell you where Li Ziyi is, I have a small condition. How dare you negotiate with our young Master Gong? I'll destroy you." The middle-aged butler was about to take action, after Master Gong stretched out his hand to stop him. He looked at Hu Xian and said, "Tell me, what are your conditions?" Hu Xian's eyes fell on the 2 extremely beautiful women and said, "It's simple, just give me these 2 beauties beside you." The 2 beauties sneered, not believing that young Master Gong would give them away to others. It's just because they think they know Master Gong well enough. As a person who values his reputation, he will definitely not do that and will only get angry. But Master Gong pushed them towards Hu Xian. The 2 men staggered and fell towards Hu Xian. Hu Xian quickly stood up, caught the 2 of them, hugged them left and right, and enjoyed it very much. Master Gong smiled and said, "I am tired of playing with these 2 beauties, I am giving them to you now. Can you tell me the whereabouts of Li Ziyi?" I thought to myself, it's so boring to always crush those who challenge me. So I'm going to play a game of cat and mouse this time. Hu Xian held 2 beauties who were very unwilling but dared not resist, and took advantage of them a lot. After a while, he said, not bad, good figure, very solid, I like it very much." After saying that, he kissed a beautiful woman. "You're welcome." This scene made Master Gong so angry that his face turned gloomy. The butler beside him whispered in his ear, "Master, this dog has no eyes, how about I destroy him first?" The beauties quickly dodged, because they knew very well that even if young Master Gong was really tired of playing with them, he would never let other men touch the women he had played with. Therefore, he didn't dare to do anything excessive with Hu Xian, for fear that young Master Gong would punish him as well. "Cripple his hands first," young Master Gong said coldly. Hu Xian asked coldly, "Whose hands do you want to cripple?" The middle-aged butler said, "Little beast, of course it's yours," and rushed towards Hu Xian. Bang! There was a loud bang. A strange scene appeared. The middle-aged butler paused in front of Hu Xian and did not take the next step. Li Ziyi and the others were most shocked when they saw the face of the middle-aged butler. There was a blood-red palm print at the position of his heart. It was not difficult to guess that it was caused by Hu Xian's palm strike. Logically, after being hit by a palm, the middle-aged butler should have flown away. But he didn't. He just stood there with blood flowing from all his orifices. He stared at Huaxian in disbelief, opened his mouth to speak. But a large amount of blood came out of his mouth. "Butler, what are you doing?" Young Master Gong, who did not notice anything unusual, only saw the butler approach Huaxian and did not move, and shouted angrily. The next moment, all the bones in the butler's body seemed to be shattered, and his entire body melted and fell to the ground, leaving only a pile of clothes and flesh, which looked extremely terrifying to sexy beauties. But their mouths wide open, their heartbeats racing, were shocked to the extreme. Young Master Gong was also stunned by this scene. But the clang, the shaky door of the box closed automatically again. Young Master Gong was so frightened that he suddenly turned around and looked over. Seeing that the door was closed, he became even more frightened. His greatest reliance is the middle-aged butler, who has the pseudo-god gene level 51. With him, he thinks he can run rampant in the lower world. But now, his greatest reliance had died in such a strange way. Huaxian said with a smile, "Aren't you looking for Lai Qianguan? Let me tell you, he came here as arrogantly as you didn't set his sights on my wife. So he died miserably. You are the same, you set your sights on my wife the moment you opened your mouth. So your ending will be the same as Lai Qianguan's. Of course. Since you gave me to beautiful women, I allow you to choose how you want to die. Tell me how you want to die." Master Gong took a deep breath and said with a hasty and ugly smile, "Brother, I am from the upper realm, and I didn't know that Li Zi was your wife. Besides, it was Lai Qianguan who recommended Li Zi to me. And I did not cause any harm to Li Zi. As the old saying goes, one more friend means one more way let us make friends. These two beauties are my welcome gifts to you when you go to the upper realm in the future. No, as long as you want to go to the upper realm, I can take you there now. How about that?" Huaxian smiled and said, "I'm sorry. If you had said you wanted to be friends with me at the beginning, I might have given you this opportunity, but your men are going to kill me. So we are enemies. I'll give you one more minute to think about it. Tell me how you want to die." Seeing that there was no room for negotiation, Master Gong said angrily, "Boy, don't be shameless, I tell you. You can't kill me if you really go too far, you will die. TSK. Then I'm going to give it a try to see if I can kill you." Huaxian said this, walking towards young Master Gong step by step, as if taking a stroll. It gave young Master Gong an extremely strong sense of oppression. "Forget it, husband, let him go," Li Zi suddenly spoke. And calling him husband comes naturally and sincerely. There was no way out. Huaxian's strong support finally won her heart. This man offended the richest family in Guanzhong City because of him. And now he offended the forces in the upper realm because of him. If he is not worthy of trust, then he will really have to be single for the rest of his life. Huaxian stopped, turned around and looked at Li Zi and said, "Wife, for your sake, I will spare his life." He walked over, pulled Li Zi into his arms, lifted her mask, revealing her stunning face, so alluring that he couldn't help but kiss her deeply. This time, Li Zi took the initiative to cooperate and hugged him tight, wishing she could become one with him. This bad guy only knows how to please girls. Yin Yaying said jealously. Young Master Gong was not happy, but looked gloomy. He said unwillingly, "You bastard. You don't dare to kill me. She is Li Zi, right? I am just giving you a way out. If you have the guts, come and kill me." Chapter 318. Fo. Huaxian let go of Li Zi and said regretfully, "Wife, you heard it too, he wanted to die, so I can only fulfill his wish." Disappeared from the spot in an instant. The next moment, he grabbed Master Gong's neck, grinned and said, "What I said just now still counts. Tell me, how do you want to die? You bastard, you're the one who's going to die." Young Master Gong took out a piece of talisman paper carrying a strange aura, injected genetic power into it, and smashed it hard on Huaxian. Rumble. The terrifying force of thunder and lightning knocked Huaxian back and completely enveloped him. "You bastard, you won't die this time." Young Master Gong was extremely excited. "I thought to myself, you are dead in front of this thunder talisman paper that is comparable to that of a peak pseudo-god." He suddenly looked at the beautiful Li Zi and was shocked. She was indeed so beautiful that there were few beauties in the upper realm who could be compared with her. He grinned and said, "Li Zi, right? Come here and follow me. I will enjoy endless wealth and glory. I will treat you well." Li Zi shook her head and said, "You can use whatever you want on my husband. But you should never use lightning to attack him. You have witnessed the scene where Huaxian killed Lai Qianguan with lightning. And you still don't understand that your man is a strong man with lightning genes." "What do you mean?" Young Master Gong asked in confusion. The next moment, the lightning on Huaxian disappeared. The whole audience was stunned. It was discovered that he was not hurt at all by the lightning. How is this possible? Young Master Gong, who noticed this scene, was shocked to the extreme. That was a piece of thunder talisman paper that was comparable to the peak level of a pseudo-god. Yet it didn't hurt him at all. Hu Xian moved his restraints and said, "It seems that you have chosen to die under the lightning, so I will grant your wish." Rumble. A terrifying bolt of lightning suddenly appeared in the palm of Hu Xian's right hand. And what was shocking was that there was a deafening thunderous sound. How is it possible? Young Master Gong was shocked again. It took him a while to react, and he said in horror, "This lightning pressure, you are actually a pseudo-god level 60 lightning gene expert." The two beautiful women he brought with him cried out in shock at his words. Such a young pseudo-god with a level 60 lightning gene. Seeing it with my own eyes was a bit unbelievable. Hu Xian smiled and said, "Congratulations, you got the answer right as a reward. I will let you die more comfortably." A powerful burst of murderous aura proved that he was not joking. Master Gong was scared to death. Ding dong. Kneel on the ground. Boom boom boom. He kept kowtowing to Hu Xian, "Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. As long as you don't kill me, I am willing to be your dog. And I will do whatever you ask me to do." Hu Xian said coldly, "I'm sorry, a beast like you is not qualified to be my dog. Also, when you say you are a dog, you are insulting dogs." Boom. The lightning in his hand struck Master Gong fiercely. The horrific damage killed young Master Gong instantly. And the extremely high temperature directly evaporated young Master Gong's body. Ding dong. Only the nanospace device fell to the ground. Nothing else was left. Hu Xian walked over and picked up the nanospace device. He took a look and found that the space was very large. With large spaceships, large combat mechas and various weapons and equipment. What caught Hu Xian's attention most were the sexy lingerie. There is no doubt that Master Gong is very good at having fun. Hu Xian's eyes fell on the two beauties and he said coldly, "What should I do with you?" Hearing this, he knew that he was not going to let them go and most likely wanted to silence them. They were all scared to death. They knelt on the ground and begged, "Young man, please don't kill us, we can serve you, bring you tea and water. And warm your bed, please don't kill us." "Can I warm the bed?" Hu Xian asked. Sure, they said in unison. "So you volunteered?" We volunteered very much." "Well, in that case, I will allow you to stay." Boom. Another bolt of lightning struck the body of the butler brought by young Master Gong. And it turned into ashes in an instant, as if the two had never been there. "Let's eat, I hope we won't be disturbed anymore. By the way, what are your names? Come over and eat with us." "My name is Wen Yuxian." "My name is Zi Yiran, we dare not," the two said trembling lie. "What's there to be afraid of, just come over when I tell you to." The two of them then came over and sat down. "My wives. Eat quickly after you're done, I'll take you out to spend money." "Honey, it's late at night, why are we still going out shopping?" Yin Yanan said awkwardly. Calling him husband is a bit awkward. Hu Xian smiled and said, "That's right, then I'll take you to bed." Suddenly, everyone became shy. I wondered if my husband wanted us all to sleep together. After the meal, Hu Xian took everyone away. The hotel knew what had happened but didn't dare to make it public. "Go to the nearest technology hotel." "Sir, how can I help you?" asked a beautiful robot. "Open 5 rooms." "Yes sir. Please follow me." Yin Yanan and the others all breathed a sigh of relief, as they were afraid that Hu Xian would sleep with them. After the connecting room was opened, the robot beauty said, "Good night, sir," and left. Hu Xian said, "Everyone, choose a room to rest." "Honey, I sleep with my sister," Yin Ying said. Wen Yuxian also said, "Zi Yiran and I will talk together." Hu Xian smiled and said, "And Li Zi and I will have to sleep together." He smiled lewdly at Li Zi. Li Zi rolled her eyes and said, "Aren't there 2 extra rooms?" Hu Xian picked her up and rushed into a room, saying, "Come out as many times as you want anyway, don't think about escaping from my grasp tonight." "Ah, you bastard, you're a bully." Clang. The door slammed shut. Hu Xian hugged Li Zi and started biting her madly. Li Zi was not to be outdone and fought back madly. Refusing to admit defeat, Hu Xian took off one of her clothes. She would take off one piece of Hu Xian's clothes and never fall behind. Soon, the two of them were frankly fighting each other, passionately and fiercely, and screams and heavy breathing filled the room. The battle was so fierce that it ended in a draw until midnight when both sides surrendered. They hugged each other and fell asleep contentedly. Amen a days, Hu Xian heard a cat's meow. I wanted to wake up and check, but I found my body heavy and I couldn't even open my eyelids. In a trance, a white cat came into sight and approached me. As she walked, the white cat turned into a naked woman with a white cat tail. It was blurry at first and I couldn't see clearly what I wanted to see. As I got closer, I finally saw it clearly. What a beautiful woman it is, that is indescribable. What is even more shocking is that the beautiful woman is completely naked. And every part of her body is full of temptation. Dear husband, do you miss me? Asked the celestial voice. Huaxian answered stupidly. Yes. The beautiful woman smiled brightly. What are you waiting for? Come on, I will bring you happiness. Huaxian lost his mind and fell. Chapter 319, Happy Pond. The next day, Li Ziyi woke up and found her body wet. He touched it, smelled it, and suddenly lifted the quilt. Frowned. I thought to myself, my husband is so strong. How could he have a wet dream? Husband, wake up, wake up. I always felt that something was wrong, so I decided to wake up Huaxian and ask him. Huaxian woke up tired and felt exhausted. Wife, I'm so tired. I want to sleep for a while. I turned over and wanted to continue sleeping. Honey, don't go to sleep yet, let me ask you, what happened to you last night? Li Ziyi asked. What's going on? Huaxian asked tiredly. See for yourself. Li Ziyi shook him hard to make him look. Huaxian looked at it reluctantly, and then was shocked. Wife, didn't we clean it up last night after we were done? How could this happen? Suddenly, he remembered, and Huaxian slapped his head and said, I know, that cat, the white cat. What white cat? Li Ziyi looked confused. Huaxian recalled, last night, after we finished our work, I was almost asleep in my groggy state. A white cat came into my sight, and then turned into a super beautiful beauty, and then Is it a ghost cat? Then he asked. Honey, have you been bitten by a white cat recently? Yes, I was bitten by a white kitty and Yan and also said it was a ghost cat and she also said she would come back to find me at night. It seems like she really did come. Husband, you better be careful. This ghost cat is not a good thing. Any man it targets will die from exhaustion in his dreams. And then his soul will be devoured. It's so serious. Is there any way to solve it? The only solution is to catch the ghost cat and kill her. Or have her remove the curse. Hearing this, Huaxian stood up and said, I'll find her. He muttered, what's the point of coming here in a dream? Come here in reality. Li Ziyi also got up and said, Husband, why don't you wash up before you go? Huaxian said bitterly. My wife, come with me. Let's go together. The two went to wash up together. Huaxian had been busy in his dreams last night and didn't have the energy to do anything bad. After washing up and going out, I didn't expect that Yin Yanin and the others were already waiting at the door. Honey, did you have any strange dreams last night? Yin Yanin asked. Huaxian said, you want to ask if Ghost Cat came to find me? If he did, I would have wasted hundreds of millions of elite soldiers. It's really abominable. He then left the hotel and took a few people to the place where they were bitten by the ghost cat. It was too far away, the trees were dense and thick, blocking out the sun, and it was impossible to see what was going on inside. Transparent eyes. Immediately, the leaves and all obstacles became transparent in Huaxian's eyes. After some searching, I finally saw a few white cats among the huge tree trunks. Huaxian asked curiously, ladies, do you think this ghost cat is a solitary or social creature? I don't know, I've never had any dealings with him. Yin Yanin said. Honey, did you find the ghost cat? Well, I found it. You wait for me here. Huaxian leapt up and rushed into the woods where branches had fallen down, covering the entire huge tree trunk. Obviously, the tree is protecting something by growing like this. Huaxian avoided the branches all the way and came under the huge tree trunk. It was dark here without a trace of light. And there is a strange power that makes Huaxian's eyesight, which is at the peak of the pseudo-god gene, ineffective here. Fortunately, he had transparent eyes and was not affected by anything. So he walked towards the extremely hidden tree hole. All obstacles along the way turned white in front of the transparent eyes. Deep in the tree hole, several white cats had already discovered Huaxian. The cat said angrily, Ghost Na, I told you not to provoke him. And look, he has come to your door. Another white cat said, but he is really powerful. You don't know that I almost lost in his dream last night. If I could get the Tao of such a powerful soul, my cultivation would surely improve by leaps and bounds. Now that he has come to us without any obstacles, how should we deal with him? A white cat said, Ghost Na, you are the one who brought the trouble. You have to deal with it yourself. Okay, I'll handle it myself. He rushed out at the fastest speed and ran into Huaxian in the tree hole. A charming and seductive voice asked, Sir, did you come here because you didn't have enough fun last night? Ghost Na said as she transformed into a human form. Huaxian smiled and said, That's right, I didn't have enough fun last night. The most important thing is that my 10,000 essences didn't go where they should go. So I came to find you. Sir, do you want to continue? Of course. Brother, come with me. Ghost Na turned around and walked with a real cat walk. Her temperament was so charming that Huaxian was almost intoxicated by her. He became a little more sober after using his super strong genetic power. and cursed secretly, "This ghost cat is even more terrifying than a vixen." I quickly followed him to see what tricks the ghost cat could play. Ghost Na took Huaxian all the way to the bottom of the tree trunk. Naturally avoided the other sisters. All the way down. They go along the main tree roots. Huaxian calculated and thought it was probably 1,000 meters. But he hadn't reached the end yet. It can be seen that this tree is not an ordinary tree. After going down another 500 meters, we finally reached the end, where there was a black pool of water. All the tree roots were immersed in this black pool of water. Huaxian asked curiously, "What is this place?" Ghost Na smiled and tempted. "Happy Pond, entering it will bring you unimaginable joy. How about it, do you want to go in and give it a try?" Huaxian smiled and approached Ghost Na instantly, hugged her in his arms and said, "No matter how good the pool is, it's not as happy as being with you. You are my greatest joy." Bit it hard. A Ghost Na instantly transformed back into her original form as a ghost cat. She screamed and rushed into the happy pond, then turned back into human form again. She seductively said to Huaxian, "Sir, are you telling the truth? You are happiest when you are with me, so come find me quickly." Looking at the ghost Nana's vague temptation in the black pool, Huaxian almost lost his mind. He clenched his teeth and suppressed the impulse brought by desire. He knew very well that this happy pond was definitely not simple. Otherwise the ghost cat would not have been able to lure him in. And I am also curious, what is so magical about this happy pond? "Sir, are you coming? Come and play." Seeing that Huaxian was not seduced, Ghost Na made even more exaggerated and seductive moves to seduce him. Looking at the blood spurting out in front of him, Huaxian's breathing became more and more rapid, and his willpower had reached its limit. "Damn it, I'll just give it a go," Huaxian cursed in his heart and rushed forward. Chapter 320, Revenge. Thump. The moment I fell into the Blackwater pool, a huge and irresistible force came from the Blackwater pool. Huaxian tried his best to mobilize the strongest genetic power, but it was of no avail. In the end, he even used the power of the true god, but the situation remained the same. My body was becoming heavier and heavier, and my consciousness was becoming more and more blurred. As if I was very sleepy and wanted to sleep. Ghost Na relied on the unique ability of the Ghost Cat clan to transform into a cat and rushed out of the Blackwater pool. Looking at Huaxian, who was about to be drowned, she said regretfully, "It's a pity that I can't get such a good soul." Ing. The host enters the Blackwater pond and is about to be assimilated by the Blackwater. It seems that the gene points are being consumed to refine the Blackwater gene. Refining. Huaxian roared with his last bit of rationality. "Ding, congratulations to the host, the power of the Blackwater gene is being refined, consuming 100 million evolutionary gene points per second. Such a huge consumption shows how terrifying this Blackwater is. Fortunately, Huaxian's evolutionary gene points are stored at 99.75 trillion points, so he is not afraid of consumption at all." A day passed. Li Zi and the others who were waiting outside anxiously were in despair. Yin Yanan said with a heartache, "Did something happen to our husband?" When Yuxian said, "The master hasn't come out yet, I'm afraid something really happened." In her heart, she was hoping that something would happen to Huaxian so that they could leave. Li Zi was silent for a while and said, "Maybe something really happened." Yin Yang said, "I want to go find my husband." As he said this, he was about to rush into the dense branches. Li Zi stopped him. "What realm are you at? Your husband couldn't come out after he went in. So you'll be sending yourself to death if you go in." Yin Yang cried and said, "I don't care even if I have to die. I will go in and die with my husband. My husband saved my life. So I will go to accompany him." "Sister, don't be impulsive. What if your husband is not dead? If something happens to you today, your husband will be very sad when he comes out." Yin Yanan comforted her. "Then what should we do?" Yin Yang said crying. What should we do? From the sound of your voices, it seems that damn Huaxian is in trouble. He is lucky. However, since you call him husband, then you will be responsible for the mistakes he made and take him away." A group of powerful people surrounded them. Zy Yuan and her friends were the strongest and were about to resist. Bang! He was injured by a palm strike from a middle-aged man. And they were all taken away. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. On the 5th day, as the power of the Blackwater gene grew stronger, Huaxian's consciousness finally began to recover and he gradually woke up. In the Blackwater pond, he felt that his whole body was filled with inexhaustible power and he subconsciously mobilized the Blackwater gene. Ding, the power of the Blackwater gene is at the level of a true god. It cannot be used if you have not reached the level of a true god. Huaxian was speechless when he saw the power of 100 trillion Ru god level Blackwater genes but could not use them. Suddenly I remembered the ghost cat who had harmed me. Huaxian was filled with anger and rushed out. Qiyir Yuoshui was like a relative to him. and he rushed out without any resistance. After rushing out of the Heiuo pond, Huaxian looked at his skin, speechless, as it had turned darker. However, this makes him look more like a man. Now he only wanted to seek revenge on Ghost Cat. So Huaxian rushed out as fast as he could. Maybe it was because of the power of the Black Quarter gene that the Ghost Cat was unable to discover anything. Huaxian locked onto them through his transparent eyes, quietly came to their residence, and looked over secretly. 5 flawless bodies came into view, each one was flawless and absolutely perfect. Huaxian's blood boiled and he reacted strongly. Ghost Na, are you sure you lured that human into the Black Pond? I always have an uneasy feeling in my heart, as if something bad is going to happen. The beautiful woman transformed from a ghost cat said, showing off her body. Huaxian almost had a nosebleed because of the mysterious look. I have the same feeling, as if a disaster is about to happen. Another beautiful woman who was transformed from a ghost cat stood up and said. Huaxian looked at what she shouldn't have looked at and couldn't help swallowing. Urgle. It was this sound that broke the beautiful picture. Bone. In order to prevent them from escaping, Huaxian unleashed his ultimate power and oppressed the 5 beauties transformed from ghost cats. Suddenly they were unable to move at all. Everyone's face was filled with horror and they were scared to the extreme. Huaxian walked out with a swagger. Seeing that it was him, the 5 ghost cats were extremely shocked. Ghost Na was in disbelief and screamed in her heart. It's impossible, absolutely impossible. The other ghost cats cursed Ghost Na in their hearts for deceiving them and now, they were all going to be killed by her. Huaxian walked over and looked at the beauties transformed from the ghost cats with flawless figures one by one. The more he looked, the more excited he became, and his reaction was extremely strong. He controlled the urge to pounce on them immediately and came to Ghost Na. Ghost Na, very good, I almost died in your hands. How can I repay you? Relax the pressure on Ghost Na a little so that she can speak. Ghost Na was extremely shocked and asked, how could you possibly get out of the Black Pond? Looking at Ghost Na, who was still as beautiful as a beauty even though she was terrified, Huaxian couldn't help but reach out and touch her face and said, because I'm lucky. When her real body was touched by the man, Ghost Na's skin instantly seemed to be ignited by flames, starting from her face and quickly spreading to her entire body, and her eyes became blurred. This scene made Huaxian stunned, then reacted. I couldn't help but burst into laughter. I didn't expect that when the ghost cat's real body was touched. It felt like Yin Yang had eaten Night Crazy. No, it should be even more intense than Night Crazy. Huaxian released his control over Ghost Na, rushed over to him, hugged him, kissed him crazily, and couldn't wait to undress him. She shouted incoherently, you want me, you want me. The level of initiative shocked Huaxian. Huaxian pinched himself, wondering if he had fallen into a dream again. The pain proved that this was not a dream, it was real. Even though Huaxian hated such a beauty, he couldn't bear to reject her and decided to take revenge on Ghost Na in another way. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have bound the alien heroine Ghost Na and gained a 500 combat power increase. After a few hours, Ghost Na, who had vented her anger, gradually regained her sanity. Looking at the man who was still bullying her, tears rolled down her cheeks. Silently she regretted very much for not provoking this man who even Heiuo could not kill. Huaxian glanced at her and said, why are you crying? You should know that you have already killed me once. I just let you become my woman, which is a bargain for you. When Ghost Na heard this, she regretted even more why she had provoked this man. After finishing his work, Huaxian looked at the other ghost cats with an evil eye. The ghost cats transformed into human forms are all stunning beauties, and each one is an ultimate temptation in its own way. Huaxian let go of Ghost Na and walked towards the nearest one. Chapter 321, Captured. Seeing this, Ghost Na was terrified and said anxiously, no, I beg you not to do this. Seeing Ghost Na so anxious, Huaxian turned around and looked at her and asked, why not? You almost killed me, it's not too much to take them all down, right? Asshole, you really don't understand us, the ghost cats? Once we are slept with by a man, we will lose our ghost cat abilities and won't be able to continue. You have already got me. Stop it as long as you release my people. I am willing to follow you to atone for my sins, otherwise we will die and you will never get us. Now Ghost Na is already a female protagonist of a different race, and Huaxian doesn't want her to really hate him. He looks at the 4 seductive ghost cats transformed into beauties, and says reluctantly, okay, you have to keep your word. Only then did it release the suppression on the other ghost cats. The ghost cats that regained their freedom all looked at Huaxian vigilantly, but did not transform back into their original forms. One of the ghost cats, who was obviously the leader, said, human, you are different from the others you slept with. Ghost Na. But his abilities did not disappear. After hearing this, a nervous Ghost Na realized that all her abilities were still there. How could this happen? The leading ghost cat said, "If I guess correctly, you are the king of the human race." "The king of the human race?" the other confused ghost cat owners muttered. "That's right, only the human king of the human race can be compatible with all things and continue all things." "Human king?" All the ghost cats were shocked. Ghost Na said in shock. "You are the human king. No wonder you were able to come back alive after entering the Black Week water." Huaxian didn't expect that these ghost cats could actually see through his identity. He said, speechless lie, "Remember, keep it secret. Human king. Since you want us, we are willing to sacrifice ourselves." The leading ghost cat said excitedly. "The woman of the human king. The woman of so many tribes who have been dreaming of having her. But have no such qualifications. Forget it, Ghost Na is enough. Put this on, Ghost Na, and follow me. It's the shelter of love set. It's inconvenient for us ghost cats to transform back into our original form while wearing clothes. This dress is different, you'll know when you put it on." Ghost Na had no choice but to put it on. Then he changed back to his original form. And there was no effect at all. After changing back to human form, he asked in great surprise, "What kind of equipment is this? It's such a magical weapon?" Huaxian said, "Divine weapon. Okay, leave with me." At this time, a ghost cat said, "Do you want to go find your companions? They were captured by a group of people." "What?" Huaxian Zen was shocked and asked quickly. "When were they captured?" 5 days. 5 days? Do you know where they were taken?" Huaxian asked, grabbing the ghost cat's shoulder. "Ah, it hurts." The force was so great that the ghost cat cried out. If Huaxian hadn't been concerned about the safety of Li Zi and the others, he would have pounced on her. System lock on to the heroine. Li Zi. Ding, the heroine Li Zi has been locked. Huaxian was shocked. It turned out that it was billions of miles away from him and was still moving. Looking in that direction again, it seems to be a wormhole leading to the upper world. Thinking of young Master Gong who was beheaded, Huaxian guessed something. System teleport to the side of the heroine Li Zi. The next moment, a powerful spatial force enveloped Huaxian. And he felt as if his body was not his own and was out of control. When he appeared again and regained control, he had already appeared on a spaceship. Next to the imprisoned Li Zi. "What should we do? Are we dead?" Yin Ying complained. "Don't be afraid. Sister, I have a hunch that we will be fine." Yin Yana uncomforted. "Yanan, your intuition is very accurate." The prisoners were stunned when they heard the familiar voice. Looking over suddenly, Huaxian was standing next to Li Zi. "Honey, is it really you?" Yin Ying looked incredulous. Huaxian grabbed the gene-binding bracelet on Li Zi's hand and crushed it. Perhaps it was because of the baptism of Black Week water that the pure power became even stronger. After crushing the gene confinement bracelets, he crushed the alloy chains on their bodies and released everyone. "Buddy, I miss you so much, I thought I would never see you again." Yin Ying had a bit of a childish personality and burst into tears while hugging Huaxian. Huaxian said bitterly, "Why are you crying? I'm here now." Li Zi said, "Husband, how did you get to me? This is a high-level spaceship prison in the upper world." Huaxian said, "It's simple, because the god behind me helped me to open up the space." "Okay, you're safe now that I'm here, let's fight our way out now." Walk over and grab the iron railing that carries super high voltage. Booming magnetic. A terrifying electric current rushed towards Huaxian. However, it didn't work. Click. He violently broke the iron railings, opened a passage, and let everyone out. I saw countless intelligent weapons shooting towards me in seconds. Open the communication bracelet and hacker invades. The 30-level ultra-high hacker technology broke out, not only implanting the virus but also controlling the guarding spacecraft. As Li Zi and the others watched in shock, the spaceship that was originally flying towards the wormhole suddenly turned around and returned along the same route. "What's going on? Damn, it looks like our ship has been hacked." "Are you talking nonsense? This is a spaceship from the Supreme Realm. How could a hacker from this world possibly invade it? Is it possible that this isn't a hacker from this world?" "You're talking nonsense. Would a high-level hacker from the upper world come to the lower world to cause trouble for us when he has nothing to do after eating?" A monitoring equipment was controlled and the angry voices of these people could be heard. After a long while, Li Zi reacted and asked in shock, "Husband, what level of hacker are you?" Huaxian smiled slightly and said calmly, "Level 30. S." At this time Huaxian had already controlled the intelligent weapons on the spacecraft and launched an attack on the enemies. Except for where they were, everywhere else was in chaos. And the battle had caused the entire spaceship to become a mess. "Damn it, who on earth hacked into our spaceship? Let's notify the higher-ups and request support." A captain cursed angrily and gave orders. "Captain, all networks have been hacked, and there is no way to call for help." After a while someone reported. The captain gritted his teeth. took out a crystal ball, hardened his heart, and crushed it. Suddenly, terrifying energy burst out from the crystal ball, and Huaxian and the others could feel it clearly. Huaxian, who has experienced system transmission many times, felt the power of the space gene from it. The next moment, a powerful force formed a portal, flashing a terrifying light, connecting to the other end. Chapter 322, Even the grandson can't do it. After a while, the force exploded suddenly, and when it returned to calm, an old man appeared in the spaceship. Surveillance equipment monitors everything. All I heard was the old man asking sternly, "What happened? Where is the murderer who killed my son?" "My lord, a murderer of Master Gong is very likely dead. We have captured his woman and imprisoned her in the spaceship prison." The old man quickly rushed towards the spaceship prison. Huaxian pressed a key and all weapons attacked the old man. The old man was very powerful with just a wave of his hand. All the weapons were broken into pieces. The subordinates following behind him were extremely shocked. Soon they arrived at the gate of the spaceship prison. Since the network system was beyond their control, the old man punched the gate fiercely. Boom! With a loud bang, the gate sank into a huge hole, but it is worthy of being a gate used to imprison prisoners. And its quality is quite terrifying. This old man's pseudo-god gene was at least level 55. And even with his full-strength punch, he was unable to destroy the gate directly. Even so, Li Ziyi and the others who were watching the surveillance footage were extremely shocked. It was too powerful. "Honey, this old guy is too strong. Can you defeat him?" Yin Yang asked worriedly. "Others also want to know." Huaxian said calmly, "It's just a small character, but you guys are scared." Hearing this, everyone looked at Huaxian in shock, wondering how such a powerful old man could be a small-time character. Boom! Finally, after enduring several attacks from the old man, the door could no longer bear the weight and shattered with a huge hole. I don't know what material it is made of after it broke into pieces. It was like fibers and didn't break directly. The old man took some effort to open a hole through which a person could pass. Others followed. The first sight was of a man, the next one recognized who he was and was shocked. A middle-aged man in the lead asked in surprise, "Why are you here?" I remember it very clearly. There were only a few women, and he was the one who imprisoned them here personally. But how did this culprit appear here? You know, this is an advanced spaceship prison in the upper realm, specially built for escorting important mortals. Even a powerful person like the old man with a pseudo-god gene at level 55 took half a day to break open the door. Huaxian said, "My woman is here, of course I have to come find them." The old man asked coldly, "Are you the guy who killed my son?" "Who is your son?" "Sorry, I've killed too many blind men." The old man was furious. "My last name is Gong, and my son's name is Gongbie." I was shocked at this guy's calmness. My subordinates also said that this guy might be dead. But now he appeared in the spaceship prison, which was very strange in itself. "Oh, your surname is Son, the grandson of grandson? It seems that there is such a grandson who died in my hands." Huaxian said. "You're looking for death." Buzz. The space trembled, and the old man punched Huaxian fiercely. The powerful pseudo-god gene condensed into a transparent fist print in the air, breaking through the air and flying like Huaxian. This scene made Li Ziyi and others very worried. Although Huaxian was very calm, none of them had ever seen him use his full strength. More importantly, the old man had a very strong aura, while Huaxian remained calm. I don't know if he is really strong or just pretending. Pediatrics. Having said this, Huaxian waved his hand. A more solid slap imprint was delivered. Booming magnet. The fist mark was shattered immediately, and the remaining power hit the old man. How is it possible? The old man was shocked to the extreme. It was too terrifying to casually take out a genetic imprint, which meant that the young man's realm was even stronger than his. No wonder he was so calm. "Break it for me." Not daring to be careless, a long sword emitting a powerful genetic aura appeared in his hand. Booming magnet. A sword cut through the palm print. Even so, the terrifying power caused his hands holding the sword to tremble, and his heart was shocked to the extreme. Strong. The young man in front of me is terrifyingly strong. He even suspected that he was at the 60th level of the pseudo-god gene realm. Huaxian smiled slightly and said, "You old grandson doesn't seem to be that powerful." Faced with insults, the old man couldn't get angry. Li Ziyi and the others were shocked to the extreme. They thought Huaxian was just bragging when he said he was great. But now they realized that he was really awesome. His identity is definitely not simple. The old man got used to it, put away his weapon, clasped his fists and said, "Sir, I am sorry for offending you. Just know was for my son. He has committed a serious crime and deserves death. Please forgive me this time." He was extremely polite and his attitude of admitting his mistakes was sincere. "Eavesdrop on your thoughts. This damn beast dares to offend anyone. It's okay to die. I don't need his son, but he almost got me killed. What a useless thing. This is what Hu Xian overheard. Instead of seeking revenge, he decided to give the old man a chance. You can ignore it if you want. Who handed these women of mine to you? I want them to disappear from the world completely. I'll give you 3 days if you do this. I won't pursue your son family anymore. If you ignore my conditions, even if the true God descends, your son family will surely perish. The old man smiled bitterly and said, What son family? How about we just have the surname gone? But he said, Don't worry, sir. I will make sure that the whole clan of the person who offended your woman will be destroyed without mercy. Hu Xian nodded and said to Li Ziyi and the others, Let's go. Opened the spaceship and flew out. Li Ziyi and others followed closely behind. When Yu Xian and Ziyi Yuan looked at each other and saw what was in each other's mind, they both wanted to become the master's woman. Honey, where are we going now? Yin Yai asked, holding Hu Xian's arm. There is a city to the west. Let's go there and spend some money. After saying that, he took the lead and flew over. Husband, are you rich? You keep mentioning consumption. Yin Yanan asked curiously. Not very much, but very much. And I feel uncomfortable if I don't spend money. Everyone was speechless. An hour later, a technological city even larger than Guanzhong City came into everyone's sight. Seeing that Hu Xian was going to enter the city by land, Li Ziyi said, Hubby, the high-altitude city is for people of noble status to enter. And the consumption level there is very high. It is more suitable for consumption. Hu Xian's eyes lit up and said, Then let's go to the Sky City. After saying that, he flew up. Li Ziyi said speechless lie. Husband, do you really not understand, or are you pretending not to understand? What's wrong? Hu Xian looked confused. Yin Yanan couldn't help but said, Husband, except for people from the security department or the military, no one else in the city can fly. Moreover, even if you purchase an aircraft, you must apply for and obtain a city flight permit before you can fly it in the city. It's illegal for you to fly up like this. Is that so? Then let's walk up, Hu Xian said, looking at the overpasses. Yin Yaying said, Honey, we can take a taxi up there. Then she turned on her communication device and prepared to hail a taxi. At this time, a flying car landed next to them, and a young man shouted, Beauty, do you want to date? Chapter 323, Cultural Person. He looked at Li Ziyi unscrupulously and thought to himself that he was lucky to meet such a stunning beauty. Although Wen Yuxian and the others are not bad, there is still a certain gap compared to Li Ziyi. Li Ziyi was about to refuse, but Hu Xian said, Appointment, and took the lead in getting on the flying car. The young man's face immediately darkened. Hey kid, I'm dating this beautiful lady. Are you asking for a beating by coming up here? Hu Xian said with a smile, You want to date my sister? But you actually talk to me like this, then I'll just get off the car. It turns out to be my brother-in-law. What a misunderstanding. Get in the car, all the expenses today will be mine. The young man's attitude changed 180 degrees. Hu Xian sent a voice message to Li Ziyi. Wife, just sit in the passenger seat and make him happy. After all, we are riding for free. Li Ziyi rolled her eyes at Hu Xian and still sat in the passenger seat. The young man was so happy. Beautiful lady, what's your name? Oh, my name is Cultured. Puff. Hu Xian burst out laughing. The young man frowned and asked, Brother-in-law, are you feeling unwell? No, I just think that intellectuals and my sister are a good match. Oh, then what's your sister's name? The intellectual asked in surprise. Hu Xian smiled and said, My sister is called Uneducated. What? The intellectual was stunned for a moment, then flew into a rage. Are you kidding me? No, my sister is really uneducated. And I am poor. We were poor back then, so I was called poor. I had no money to support my sister's education, so my sister was called uneducated. You really have no money? The intellectual asked, in disbelief. Real. What about them? These two are my wives. Twins, you know? These two are my distant cousins. It's their first time here, so I brought them here to see the world. So that's how it is, my rich brother-in-law. Today we'll show you a good one. Don't worry, once you get to know me, you will be rich. As for your sister, if she is willing, I can hire a private tutor for her to teach her one-on-one. I thought to myself, it would be so beautiful if I could take care of her one-on-one myself. Then he drove towards the Sky City. This is constructed using high-tech anti-gravity. When we got to a place 3,000 meters above the ground, we saw glass streets. People come and go. It's very lively. Most of them were people wearing exquisite clothes and had extraordinary aura. It's getting late. Let's go have lunch first. After lunch, I'll take you to have a good look. He tightened the flying car into the nanospace device, looked like a wealthy man, and walked into a restaurant with Hu Xian and the others. Please come in, everyone. Although Hu Xian and his friends were dressed in ordinary clothes, The intellectuals were dressed luxuriously, giving people the appearance of being wealthy, so the waiters were particularly polite. Finding a seat near the window, the cultured man took the menu and handed it to Li Ziyi, saying, "Beautiful lady, order whatever you want." Hu Xian said to the waiter, "Give me one order of your best signature dishes." Ah! The waiter was stunned. The intellectuals' faces turned green, thinking, "How can you be so poor and ignorant? Do you think this is a small restaurant like yours? You even order one of their best signature dishes, any dish can scare you to death." He threw the menu to Hu Xian and said, "Brother-in-law, there are too many signature dishes here, we can't finish them if we order too much. You can order a few dishes." "I thought the prices would scare you to death." Hu Xian nodded, and without even looking at the prices on the menu, he said to the waiter who came over, this, and this. "Hey, I want some common dishes. I want one portion of each. Let's see if your chefs here are good at making them." The waiter went from being shocked to speechless and said, "Sir, our dishes here are very expensive. The total cost of what you ordered is over 1 million platinum coins. If you order the rest, it will be over 5 million platinum coins." The intellectual had an expression like a poor kid who was frightened. Hu Xian pointed at him and said to the waiter, "What are you worried about? Looking at the way he's dressed, does he look like someone who can't come up with 5 million platinum coins? Why do I feel like you are looking down on intellectuals?" The intellectual was stunned, and then became furious. What the hell was going on? But in front of Li Ziyi, I can't act stingy and not be able to give her money. Han Kan smiled and said, "Brother-in-law, money is a small matter. The key is that there are only a few of us. If we order too much and can't finish it, it would be shameful to waste it, right? I think." Hu Xian interrupted. "You are wrong, you are a cultured person. This is the first time you and my sister meet and dine together. How can you be so casual? How can you let a waiter look down on you? If that's the case, then we shouldn't dine here. Let's go to another restaurant." The waiter was frightened and said quickly, "Sir, I'm sorry. I will serve you the food as you requested." I thought to myself, "You poor guy, you have no vision. Let's see what you do when the time comes to pay." The intellectual watched the waiter go to serve the food and he broke out in a cold sweat. He had more than 1 million platinum coins on his body. The waiter had just said that serving all the meals would cost at least 5 million. What the hell is this? "Cultivated man, why do I feel like there's something wrong with the way you look?" Hu Xian asked with a smile. Li Ziyi and the others clearly understood that Hu Xian did it on purpose. Li Ziyi also said, "Cultivated man, didn't you say that you would take us to learn new things? Didn't you pay for everything today? You're not going to give it up, are you?" The intellectuals cursed in their hearts. "Am I reluctant to part with it? You are obviously a bunch of bumpkins. Not only do you insist on ordering the most expensive one, but you also want a whole one who can afford it." Han Kan smiled and said, "Who said I couldn't bear to part with it? It's just a small amount of money. Oh, my stomach feels uncomfortable. I'm going to the bathroom and will be back soon." After saying that, he trotted away holding his stomach, looking like he had been holding it in for too long. Yin Yanin smiled and said, "Honey, I guess this guy ran away." Yin Yaying said, "He must have run away. My husband ordered such an expensive dish. They must have been scared." At the entrance of the restaurant, the waiter who was serving them saw the intellectual about to leave and stopped him and said, "Sir, the food hasn't even come up yet. Are you leaving before you pay?" The intellectual said angrily, "What food? Didn't you see that everything was ordered by them? It has nothing to do with me." After saying that, he left quickly. I thought to myself, "You poor guy, what will I do if you can't pay me later?" The waiter didn't think Hu Xian and his friends could afford it, so he took the payment code to Hu Xian and said, "Sir, our rule here is to pay first and then serve the food. You have spent a total of 5.8 million platinum coins. Please pay." Chapter 324 Run Away. Hu Xian said, "Wait a moment. Our companion has gone to the bathroom." The waiter said coldly, "Don't wait, he just left and said that the dishes were ordered by you and had nothing to do with him." I thought to myself, "You were so cool just now wait and see how you step down." "Gone? Yes, let's go." "Okay then, we'll pay later." "No, you must pay now, otherwise, how do I know if you can pay later?" A waiter was very assertive and was sure that Hu Xian and the others could not come up with the money. Hu Xian nodded and said, "Okay, I'll pay then." When I opened the communicator and prepared to scan the code to pay, a voice came over, "I'll treat them." I saw a beautiful lady in a red lace dress walking over. "Scan the QR code to pay directly." The waiter received the payment and said coldly to Hu Xian, "You are lucky." Hu Xian didn't argue with the waiter. He looked at the beautiful woman in the red dress and said, "We don't know each other, why are you treating me to a meal?" The beauty took out a photo and handed it to Hu Xian, saying, "You look a lot like him. I'm not inviting you to dinner for nothing. I just want to ask you for a favor. Huaxian was stunned when he looked at the photo. What do you mean by very similar? They are exactly the same. The only difference is the clothing. Speechless, beauty. I seriously suspect that you took a sneak shot of me and then photoshopped my clothes. The beautiful woman in the red dress rolled her eyes and said, "You think too much. He was my childhood sweetheart and fiancé. He went to the battlefield 50 years ago and never came back. I don't know if he is dead or alive. My family thought he was dead. So they told me to give up waiting and introduced me to many blind dates. I didn't want to give up waiting. In other words, even if he really died, I would never marry in this life. I only belong to him." Huaxian said, "So you want me to help you play him and go on a blind date?" The beauty nodded and said, "That's right, but it's not just a blind date. I hope you can get married to me in a fake marriage. Don't worry, I will pay you well and ensure that you will enjoy endless wealth and glory in this life. If you want, you can stay with me and enjoy wealth and glory until he comes back. Would you like to help me?" came the final plea. Huaxian thought about it and said, "Okay. Thank you." The beautiful woman in the red dress said happily. Then the food came and everyone ate and chatted. "By the way, my name is Pang Qingyao. I'm 152 years old. I have the 38th level of extraordinary genes. I like the color red, and I like to eat the hand-kneaded glutinous rice balls you make the most. Do you remember that?" Huaxian nodded and said, "I'll remember it. Also, you are the third young master Fan Qian who is not valued by the Fan family. What you hate most is being threatened, so if someone threatens you, you will lose your temper and even be ready to kill someone. You must remember this." Huaxian smiled and said, "Same. I hate being threatened by others. Anyone who threatens me will turn into a pile of dirt." Looking at Huaxian who spoke in this tone, Pang Qingyao was stunned, wondering how could this be possible. Are they really the same person? Seeing Pang Qingyao was stunned, Huaxian asked, "Qingyao, what's wrong with you? Are you really Qintian? I miss you so much. Do you know how I have been through these years? How could you bear to come back now?" Pang Qingyao suddenly threw herself into Huaxian's arms, hugged him tightly, and cried and complained. Huaxian smiled bitterly, thinking that he was adapting to the role he was playing, and quickly said, "Qingyao, I'm sorry, I came back late. Don't worry, I will never leave you again, and I will make you happy." "Really, Qintian? I knew you would never abandon me." It took a long time for Pang Qingyao to leave Huaxian's arms. Huaxian smiled and asked, "How was my performance?" Pang Qingyao shuddered, smiled bitterly and asked, "Do you know who else is in your family?" Huaxian asked, "Fan family? Of course I don't know." "Really? Of course I don't know. I'm not Fan Qian." Pang Qingyao said bitterly, "It seems that you are really not Qintian, you just look like him. You are the unpopular third child in the Fan family. You have two older brothers, the eldest brother Fan Qiu Hong, the second brother Fan King Long, and a younger sister Fan King. My father's name is Fan Xiao, my mother's name is Lan Ying, and my grandfather's name is Fan Dong Ka. My family has." Pang Qingyao introduced everything that should be introduced to Huaxian in detail, and the meal was almost over. "So the next one for me is Fan Qian?" Huaxian asked curiously. It was his first time to play in Identity, and he was somewhat looking forward to it. Pang Qingyao nodded and said, "From now on, you are my childhood sweetheart and fiancé Fan Qian. But they can't follow us." Huaxian said to Li Zi, "Wife, you take everyone to play in Jianyun City for a while, and I will help Qingyao if there is anything. Remember to contact me as soon as possible. By the way, do you have any platinum coins on you? Give me the account number and I'll transfer the money to you." "Honey, I have enough money on me to spend. You go and do your work," Li Zi said sensibly. Yin Yaying pouted and looked a little jealous, but she didn't say anything. "I'll transfer the money to you. If you see something you like, just buy it. Don't save money for me. The same goes for you. Give me the account number." Yin Yaying and the others didn't hesitate and directly took out their own accounts. I thought to myself that I felt at ease spending my husband's money. Li Zi had no choice but to go along with it and took out her own account with a wry smile. There was still 8.6 million platinum coins left for consumption, and Huaxian transferred 1.7 million to each person. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 10 million platinum coins within 20 hours and received an evolution gene point as a reward. Ding! New mission. Complete it within 20 hours and spend 20 million platinum coins. If the mission fails, the highest gene realm level will be deducted. If the mission is completed, the reward is 1 evolution gene pill. After receiving the money, Yin Yaying pouted and said, "My husband is stingy. I thought you were going to transfer tens of millions to each of us sisters, but it turned out to be so little." Huaxian smiled bitterly and transferred another 10 million to her, saying, "Are you satisfied now?" "Wow, 10 million, thank you, husband." Yin Yaying hugged Huaxian and kissed him excitedly. After a while, they separated and she said shyly, "Honey, you are so nice. Others are not envious." Hu Xian said, "Wise, if you need money, just tell me any amount is fine. Okay? I understand, husband." Yin Yaying was the most excited. After getting used to the child's personality, Hu Xian also liked it very much. At this time Pang Qingyao's communication rang. At first glance, it was a note, "Mother." He smiled bitterly and said, "They must be asking me to go back for another blind date." After answering the call, a beautiful woman appeared in the video refraction. "Ying Yao, where have you been? Didn't I tell you a long time ago that you have a blind date today? Come back quickly. I have to tell you that today's blind date was arranged by your grandfather." "Okay, I know, I'll come back now," Pang Qingyao said helplessly. Thinking to herself, "He will use my grandfather who loves me the most to pressure me." Chapter 325, not a big deal, but extremely humiliating. After hanging up the phone, Pang Qingyao took Hu Xian to Pang's manor. As a prominent family in Jianyun City, the Pang family manor is located on a mountainside because there is a genetic spiritual vein there. The speed of the aircraft was such that it only took a few minutes to reach Pang's manor from Jianyun City. "Intian, did you remember everything I told you?" Pang Qingyao continued to explain the details to Hu Xian along the way, fearing that he would not remember and reveal the secret. "Don't worry, I'm more real than the real thank you Intian now." "That's good, don't worry, I won't treat you unfairly after I help you. Fly directly into the manor." A maid ran over in panic. "Miss, hurry up, the person coming for the blind date this time is Yin Hongshan, the second young master of the second largest family in Kaizhong City." "What?" Pang Qingyao was very shocked. "It's just because Jianyun City is only a third-class city, and Kaizhong City is a second-class city. The Pang family is only a second-rate family in Jianyun City, but it is also one of the top 10 families if it were ranked in Kaizhong City. It would not even be in the top 100. This is the gap between second-tier cities and third-tier cities." What shocked Pang Qingyao was why Yin Hongshan, the second young master of the second-largest family in a second-tier city, would come to have a blind date with her. Given his status, any girl who is better than him would probably rush to throw herself into his arms. So this is not normal. At the same time, I was also worried about Hu Xian, facing the second-largest group in a second-tier city. Let alone Fang Yuantian, who was pretending to be Hu Xian. Even the entire Fan family was not enough. What should I do now? "Ah, miss, he is." At this time, the panicked maid noticed Hu Xian. She also recognized him and became even more flustered. "Miss, why is Master Fan back?" "But now, the family has arranged a blind date between you and Yin Hongshan. As the second largest family in Kaizhong City, no one in Jianyun City dares to offend the Yin family. What should we do?" Pang Qingyao had a bitter face and thought to herself, "This is fate. I'm sorry, Qintian. I wanted to keep your innocence. But I can't let love drag down my family. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry." Tears rolled down silently, and then she said to Hu Xian, "Thank you for helping me. Give me your account number and I'll give you some money. You can leave now." Hu Xian Zhen gave her the account number. "After a while, you will be notified that 20 million platinum coins have been deposited into your account." Pang Qingyao also gave Hu Xian the key to her aircraft and said, "You should leave quickly." Hu Xian said with a smile, "I've already taken the money. If I leave now, wouldn't that be too much? And thank you Intian now, your fiancé, let's go. I want to see who dares to snatch my woman away." These words were very powerful, and he pulled Pang Qingyao away. Because he couldn't find the way, he said to the stunned maid, "Why don't you lead the way?" The maid reacted and looked at Pang Qingyao in shock. Pang Qingyao was also stunned looking at Hu Xian. She once again thought that he was Fang Yuantian. She was confident they were both equally confident. Junya led the way. Seeing Hu Xian so confident, Pang Qingyao also decided to take a gamble. Junya led the way and soon arrived at the Pang family classroom. The place was packed with people. All of them were high-ranking members of the Pang family. After all, the person being received was the second young master of the second-largest family in the second-class city of Kaizhong City. So no one in the Pang family dared to neglect him. The compliments stopped abruptly when he heard footsteps. Everyone looked towards the door. When they saw a man walk in, everyone was stunned. When they noticed that this man was holding Pang Qingyao's hand, everyone in the Pang family trembled. "It's you." Many members of the Pang family recognized Hu Xian's identity and were shocked. The old man who was sitting on the same level as the young man asked in a deep voice, "Thank you Intian, 50 years have passed, and you actually came out of the battlefield?" Pang Qingyao felt relieved when she saw that her grandfather couldn't recognize Hu Xian's identity. Hu Xian said, "I was on the battlefield by chance, so I was delayed for 50 years. Now that I have accomplished my mission, it is time for me to come out." Otherwise, my King Yao will not be able to wait any longer. Are you really Fan Qian? A middle-aged man on the right who looked 30 like Pan King Yao asked suspiciously. Huang Xian said, I am Fan Qian, King Yao's childhood sweetheart and fiancé. To be honest, I came here today to discuss my marriage with King Yao. King Yao's body trembled. Marry? She had thought about it. But she didn't expect Huang Xian to bring it up at this critical juncture. She was very worried because she noticed that the young man next to her grandfather looked more and more unhappy. At this time, the young man said, Pang family, and your name is Fan Qian. You all seem to have ignored me. Hearing this majestic and cold voice, everyone in the Pang family trembled violently and was terrified to the extreme. The old man hurriedly said, Master Yin, calm down. This Fan Qian has been on the battlefield for 50 years and has not returned. They all think he died on the battlefield. The Fan family even received his sacrifice compensation. Don't worry, I have already annulled his marriage with King Yao. So today is your blind date with King Yao. As long as you are willing, we can set a date for the wedding right away. King Yao's face was extremely ugly. And she said with heartache, Grandpa, how can you do this? Qintian is back, he is back, and I will only marry Qintian. Tears rolled down silently. Huang Xian held her hand and gave her the greatest comfort. Looking at the old man, he said, Grandpa, the marriage between King Yao and I cannot be annulled with just one word from you. After saying this, he looked at Yin Hongshan, who was standing aside. As for you, I don't know who you are and why you want to take advantage of my King Yao, but I'm telling you, I'm back, and you'd better give up this idea. Yin Hongshan smiled coldly and asked, You seem to be threatening me. Huang Xian nodded seriously and said, Of course, I am threatening you. Good, very good, very good. Yin Hongshan said this and stood up from his seat. It seemed ordinary, but it made everyone in the Pang family fall into fear. Step by step, Yin Hongshan slowly walked towards Huang Xian. Every step taken brought great psychological pressure to the Pang family. Looking at Huang Xian, it was as if he was looking at a dead person. I thought to myself that even if you, Fan Qian, come out from the battlefield, today will be the day you die, since you dare to offend the second young master of the second largest family in the second-class city of Kaijiang City. Just as the Pang family was waiting to see how Huang Xian would be killed, a pop, a sharp slapping sound was heard. Everyone was shocked to find that it was Yin Hongshan who was slapped in the face. The injury was not serious, but it was extremely humiliating. Huang Xian said arrogantly, Boy, I think you are approaching me step by step on purpose to threaten me. Hasn't anyone told you that I, Fan Qian, hate being threatened the most? King Yao, who was standing by, was terrified when she heard this. She thought to herself, I am telling you that Fan Qian hates being threatened the most. But you also have to distinguish your enemies. That's Yin Hongshan, the second young master of the second largest family in a second-class city. Do you dare to hit him? Chapter 326, Very Cunning. Yin Hongshan was not as irritable as everyone imagined. He was not even angry. He looked at Huang Xian calmly. This scene made everyone in the Pang family feel terrified. The more terrifying this kind of person was, the more terrifying he was. After a long time, Yin Hongshan finally frowned. Because he found that this guy was not afraid at all in the face of his invisible oppression. Even in Kaijiang City, powerful opponents would compromise when faced with someone like him. But this guy didn't. This is not normal. Of course. This slap will definitely not be in vain. Fan Qian. Very good, you are very brave to hit me. Now I will give you a chance. If you hit me with that hand, you can cripple that hand and I can spare your life. Pop. Huang Xian slapped him again and said in an unhappy tone. Don't you understand what I'm saying? I hate being threatened the most. The Pang family's hearts were in their throats. I thought that Fan Qian was absolutely crazy. I gave you a way out but you refused and you still dared to attack me. Old Master Pang kept looking at Pang King Yao, signaling her to stay away from Huang Xian. Pang King Yao, however, took the risk. I thought that since Huang Xian, a stranger, dared to stand up, I must not be afraid. She mustered up the courage to hold Huang Xian's arm, deliberately pressing her chest against Huang Xian's arm, and stared at Yin Hongshan and said, Master Yin, I'm sorry. My husband hates being threatened the most, so please don't be stupid again. The Pang family was extremely horrified, thinking, why are you, Pang King Yao, so nosy? If looks could kill, Pang King Yao would have been killed by the looks of her own family. Yin Hongshan laughed, and his laugh was cruel and bloodthirsty. He nodded and said, Okay, very good, Fan Qian, right? I will remember you. After saying that, he turned around and left. This scene stunned everyone in the Pang family. Huang Xian was a little surprised. Eavesdrop on your thoughts. You bastard, you dare to attack me. That's great, I just don't know your background. Wait. Once I find out your background, I, Yin Hongshan, will pay you back 100. Only then did I understand that this guy was cautious and didn't know his own background. So he didn't dare to take risks. I actually admired his scheming. After Yin Hongshan left, everyone in the Peng family looked at Hu Xian with anger. Thank you, Tian. Are you tired of living? You want to die? But please don't implicate our Peng family. Pang Qingyao's father Pang Wenyi scolded angrily. Seeing that others were also about to vent, Hu Xing said coldly. Shut up, you guys, you're a bunch of cowards. You were scared to death by Yin Hongshan from a second-tier city. And now you dare to scold Madame T. Forget that I don't even take Yin Hongshan seriously. After hearing this, the person who was about to beat and scold him immediately shut up. I wanted to comfort myself by saying that Fang Yu Tian is just a madman now. And don't bother with him, because madmen can do anything. Old Master Pang Shuzeng said, King Yao, I'll give you two choices. First, immediately sever ties with Fang Yu Tian and end all contact with him. Second, sever all ties with our Pang family and leave the Pang family. Grandpa, Pang Qingyao felt heartbroken and extremely embarrassed. Make your choice. Fang Yu Tian is not afraid of death or bringing trouble to the Fan family. But our Pang family dare not accompany him in his madness. He is the second young master of the second largest family in a second-class city. How can Fang Yu Tian afford to offend him? The Fan family will be implicated by him. King Yao, listen to your grandfather and cut off your relationship with Fang Yu Tian. Otherwise you will be implicated as well, Mother Yu Jun said with concern. Mom, Grandpa, Dad, I'm sorry, I choose Qin Tian. Pang Qingyao made her choice with tears in her eyes. Things have already happened, and she doesn't want to implicate the Pang family. So severing ties with the Pang family is the best option. You, the old man was so angry that his body shook violently and he almost fell down. Grandpa, Pang Qingyao rushed over with heartache and wanted to support the old man. After all, the old man loved her the most in the entire Pang family. Go away, you are no longer a member of our Pang family. Get out of here now. A young man of the same generation stopped Pang Qingyao and cursed. Hu Xian came over and said, be more polite when you speak to me. The guy was so scared that his body trembled, but he didn't dare to talk back. After all, Hu Xian was not afraid of even Yin Hongshan. Pang Qingyao turned around abruptly, pulled Hu Xian and said, Qintian, let's go. Miss, wait for me. Junya also chased after her. Pang Qingyao turned on the communicator, transferred some money to Junya and said, Junya, thank you for taking care of me over the years. You should leave and find a good family to marry. No, miss. You saved Junya's life. Junya will never marry. Junya will belong to you for the rest of her life. Please don't Dr. Junya away. The girl knelt on the ground, hugged Pang Qingyao's thighs and begged. Pang Qingyao was reluctant to leave Junya. But it was too dangerous for Junya to follow her now. Junya, be obedient when you grow up, you will get married sooner or later. Miss, I won't. Junya will follow you for the rest of his life. Unless Junya dies, he will never leave you. The girl was very stubborn. Junya, why are you so stupid? Pang Qingyao hugged Junya and burst into tears with emotion. Even if the whole world abandoned her, Junya, the beggar she picked up from the garbage dump, would never leave her. Hu Xian said, since Junya wants to follow you, let him follow us for Yin Hongshan's revenge. You don't have to worry at all. Hearing Hu Xian's confident words and looking at his fearless expression, Pang Qingyao was stunned. Then he muttered, it would be great if you were my Qintian. Hu Xian smiled bitterly. If possible, I will take you to the battlefield to have a look. Maybe you can find your Qintian. Really? Pang Qingyao was very excited. And he thought of the dangers of the battlefield and said sadly, but the battlefield is too dangerous. Though I have the 38th level of extraordinary genes, I am still the weakest on the battlefield. Don't you still have me? Hu Xian said confidently. Pang Qingyao said with emotion, let's get through this crisis first. By the way, Qintian, can you come with me to the Fan family? You are now Fan Qintian. And you have offended Yin Hongshan. I think we should tell the Fan family so that they can be mentally prepared. Otherwise, if Yin Hongshan retaliates against the Fan family, they won't know what's going on. Alright, let's go to the Fan family. By the way, I'm Fang Qintian. Junya on the side looked at Hu Xian in surprise and thought, it turns out that you are really not young Master Qintian. But you look so much like him. Even your personalities are very similar. Thank you. Pang Qingyao held Hu Xian's hand and expressed her sincere gratitude. At the same time, she also treated him as Fang Qintian. Recalling the days when she and Fang Qintian held hands in the past, a happy smile appeared on her face. And he took a flying vehicle to Fan's manor. Similar to the Pang family, the Fan family manor is not in the city. Like the Pang family, the Fan family is also a second-rate force, slightly stronger than the Pang family. Chapter 327. Entering the play Fang Qintian. After about a quarter of an hour, they arrived at a not very big basin. Looking at this place, Hu Xian was a little surprised. The Fan family is actually located on the cliffs surrounding the basin. The cliffs are also extremely beautiful with caves crisscrossing each other. The spaceship flew into the basin, and the genetic energy detector immediately showed that the genetic power had become stronger. Obviously, there is also a genetic spiritual vein where the Fan family is located. The inflow of a strange spaceship had already triggered the Fan family's alarm. A group of people rushed out, and all the technological weapons locked onto the spaceship. It's the Pang family's spaceship. What are the Pang family doing here? Could it be that they are here for the engagement with that short-lived guy Fang Qiuentian? Said a young man. It's possible. The spaceship landed on the Fan family's helipad. And a group of Fan family members gathered around, obviously not intending to entertain the Pang family well. The spaceship opened and Hu Xian walked in front. When they saw Hu Xian, everyone in the Fan family was stunned. Fang Qiuentian, you are not dead? The young man who said Fang Qiuentian was a short-lived ghost shouted in shock. Brother Qiuentian, a young girl shouted excitedly. Hu Xian stared at the young man coldly and asked, why? You seem to want me to die. Completely integrated into the role of Fang Qiuentian. Brother Qiuentian, it's really you, Ray back. The girl rushed over and hugged Hu Xian tightly. Little sister, you've grown up, Hu Xian said while stroking her forehead, thinking in his heart that this girl has developed very well. Feng Qingyao and Junia also came out. A middle-aged man asked, Old third, what happened to you on the battlefield? Why did you come back now? Feng Qingyao muttered beside Hu Xian. He is your father. I didn't experience much, just encountered some troubles. Of course, you can also say it's an opportunity. What a troublesome opportunity. You shouldn't have come back alive, said the young man again. Hu Xian looked at him unhappily. If you dare to say that again, I will send you to see your ancestors. Murderous Sora suddenly erupted, oppressing the entire audience. The timid one took a deep breath. Only then did I remember that Fang Qiuentian had just returned from the battlefield, having killed countless people. The young man was also a little scared. A middle-aged man angrily shouted, How dare you talk to your eldest brother? With his father's support, the young man was confident. It's great, I've been on the battlefield for decades. I've grown up and don't take my elder brothers seriously anymore. The purpose is to push Fang Qiuentian to the opposite side of all the tribesmen. Hu Xian already knew from Peng Qingyao about Fang Qiuentian's position in the Fan family. He smiled coldly and said, Who do you think you are? To put it nicely, you are my big brother. To put it bluntly, you are just a useless bastard. You? What do you mean by you? You have been causing trouble for me since you were little. What else are you good for? You don't even have the qualifications to go to the battlefield. If you are not a waste, what are you? Shut up. I'll slap you in the face. If you had the courage to do this to an outsider, I would look up to you. You piece of shit. Fang Qiuentian was given almost no chance to fight back, and was beaten to a pulp, feeling extremely angry. You bastard. I'm going to kill you for humiliating me like this. Fang Qiuentian was so angry that he took out a laser weapon and rushed towards Hu Xian in a flashy manner. You still don't believe me when I say you're a loser. From childhood to adulthood, have you ever been able to beat me? You occasionally beat me, but that was because I let you win. Possessing the ability to eavesdrop on people's thoughts, he had already eavesdropped on all the important conversations on the scene, and naturally integrated into the role of Fang Qiuentian. Feng Qingyao, who was standing by, couldn't tell what was real or fake. I thought you are the fake Fang Qiuentian. Why do I feel like you know Fang Qiuentian very well? Or are you the real Fang Qiuentian? The other members of the Fan family were stunned. They had never expected that Fang Qiuentian, who had returned from the battlefield 50 years ago, would be so bold. Fang Qiuentian had already approached Hu Xian, and swung his sword towards Hu Xian's head. He really wanted to kill him. A strong murderous intent burst out from Hu Xian's eyes. The grass on the grave of the person who wanted to kill him was 2 meters high. Hu Xian did not rush to take action. He was waiting to see if anyone from the Fan family would stand up. Brother, be careful. After separating from him, his younger sister Fan Qingqing, who was standing nearby, reacted and, seeing this scene, was so frightened that she suddenly stood in front of Hu Xian. This scene softened Hu Xian's heart, who was filled with murderous intent. After all, there are people in the Fan family who care about Fang Qiuentian and don't want their younger sister to be sad. So bang! With one kick, he kicked the flashy Fang Qiuentian away. He flew more than 20 meters away before falling heavily to the ground. His eyes were full of fear and he felt as if all the bones in his body were about to fall apart. Everyone in the Fan family was shocked by this scene and woke up, staring at Hu Xian in horror. You useless bastard, if it weren't for my little sister, you would already be a corpse. How dare you, he is your elder brother. Father Fan Xiao scolded angrily. Hu Xian looked at him fiercely and said in a deep voice, Old man, when he wanted to kill me just now, you failed to stop me. I just scolded him angrily, but you were so mean to me. I really want to know if I am your biological child or not. As he said this, a strong sense of violence erupted from his body. The Fan family members were frightened and couldn't help but look at Fan Xiao. Is it in person? Of course. It was just that Fan Xiao had the child with an ordinary servant after he got drunk. This matter is no secret in the Fan family, or even in Jianyun City. Fan Xiao was also extremely angry. Huaxian interrupted. What do you mean by you? You are the same as Fan Qiu and Hong. Neither of you is a good person. No matter how you try to argue. I am born because you bullied my mom. As fine if you don't betray my mom. But you don't even treat me as a human being. What kind of father are you? What qualifications do you have to point fingers at me? How dare you? Your wings won, didn't they? A woman nearby shouted angrily. It was his mother Lan Ying, but she was not Fan Qiuyan's biological mother, but his stepmother. But because Fan Qiuyan's biological mother died of complications during childbirth, it was Lan Ying who raised Fan Qiuyan, so she also had the grace of raising him. Huaxian looked at Lan Ying and said, Mom, although you are not my biological mother, you did raise me. Moreover, although you are cold to me, you are not partial to me. I, Fan Qiuyan, know it all. Don't worry, I will repay you. Just be aware of it. No matter what you've been through in this house in the past, you have to understand that this is still your home. Others are ignorant, so you don't have to be ignorant either. Just come back. I have to say that this stepmother is very good. I guess my younger sister Fan Qingqing inherited her genes, so she is also very good to Fan Qiuyan. On the contrary, the eldest brother Fan Qiuhong and the second brother Fan Qinglong must have inherited Fan Xiao's genes. They are really good for nothings. At this time, a bodyguard came running over in a panic. I was stunned when I saw Huaxian, and he walked to Fan Xiao and whispered something in his ear. Chapter 328, Scolding. Fan Xiao's expression changed drastically, and then he looked at Huaxian with murderous intent and shouted, Rebellious son, why did I give birth to a rebellious son like you? Lan Ying, who was standing by, frowned and asked, Master, what's going on? Ask him what he did. Fan Xiao was so angry that he wanted to kill someone, and at the same time he was so frightened that his body was shaking. Lan Ying looked at Huaxian and asked, Sainer, tell me, what's going on? Huaxian said calmly, Mom, it's not a big deal. It's just that Yin Hongshan, the second young master of the second largest family in the second-class city Kaijiang City, had his eyes on my wife, and I slapped him twice. What? The entire Fan family was shocked, and then fell into terror. You rebellious son, you have offended the second most powerful force in a second-class city. And you still say it's not a big deal? Fan Qiao's hostility became more and more intense. The others turned pale with fear. That's the second largest clan in a second-class city. And the Fan family definitely can't afford to offend them. Dad, what should we do? What should we do? The Yin family will not let us go. Fan Qinglong asked in a trembling voice. After finally getting up, Fan Qiuhong shouted, Fan Qiuyan was the one who exposed the matter. I think we should arrest him and send him to the Yin family in Kaijiang City to plead guilty. I think so. Many tribesmen agreed. No, third brother did nothing wrong. Why should we send him to the Yin family to apologize? Yin Hongshan robbed third brother's wife, so he deserves to be beaten. Fan Qingqing said loudly. Shut up, you have no right to interrupt when adults are talking. Fan Qiuhong scolded. Huaxian got angry and said coldly, Fan Qiuhong, did I not hit you hard enough just now? You are extremely cruel to your own people, but you are scared to death when facing the small Yin family. You are really a nobody. And you, look at how cowardly you are. The Fan family deserves to remain a second-rate force. Well said, very well said. An old-fashioned voice came from behind the Fan family. Everyone couldn't help but look over. After a while, an old man came with a cane. It was Grandpa Fan Ongke. Dad, why are you here? Fan Xiao hurried over to greet him, but was rejected when he wanted to support the old man. He was also scolded, useless. What qualifications do you have to help me? What? Fan Xiao was stunned. After a while, he said, Dad, I am your only son, how can you say that to me? Fan Dongke said angrily, you should be thankful that you are my only son. Otherwise with a coward like you, you would not be qualified to be the patriarch of the Fan family. And you, Qintian is right, you are all trash, cowards. Grandpa, how can you say that about us? You're just scolding yourself. Fan Qinglong said unhappily. Even if you have the courage of Qintian, the Fan family will not get worse day by day. After he finished speaking, he looked at Fan Qiuyan and said, You are right, the Fan family, who are always afraid of this and that, deserves to be a second-rate force. Now I declare that Fan Xiao will be dismissed from the position of patriarch and Fan Yuanqian will take over. Dad, no. Grandpa, you can't do this, you are biased. Master, don't be impulsive. There are a lot of people who oppose it. I'm not impulsive, it's you who are so incompetent and disappoint me so much. Huaxian shook his head and said, Grandpa, forget about inheriting the position of the head of the family. I am not interested in it in the future. I will not stay in this small MUYN star. What? Everyone was shocked. No one expected him to refuse. Ew. But the old man was shocked by Huaxian's next words. Little Wu Yunxing. And he smiled bitterly. It turned out that the child had great ambitions for a long time. But they were not here. It's a pity that some people in the Fan family are scheming against each other for the position of patriarch. It's so sad. Well, whatever, but no matter what your future holds, you are still the blood of our Fan family. I just hope you don't forget your ancestors. Huaxian did not answer this question, but said, I came here this time just to let you be prepared. I will handle the Yin family's affairs if they come to you in the morning. You can just ask the Yin family to come to me. Brother, are you leaving? Please don't go, Fan King said reluctantly. My brother has some things to deal with, so he will come back to see me often. After saying that, he walked towards the spaceship. The Fan family members then realized that Fan Yuanqian had returned and looked down on the Fan family. I suddenly felt a sense of loss in my heart, as if I was about to lose the best thing. A feeling that I couldn't explain. Saner, if you want to leave, your mother won't stop you, but you have to go visit your biological mother. And your biological mother's family, you have the ability now. So take care of them too. Huaxian's body trembled. He didn't expect that Lan Ying was really kind. Thank you, Mom, let me know if anything happens. After saying that, he boarded the spaceship, followed closely by Peng Qingyao and Yu Jun. The spaceship slowly left. Brother, you promised to come back to see me often. I will miss you. Fan King put her hands in front of her mouth and shouted loudly. Huaxian picked up the intercom speaker and shouted, Okay, next time I come back I'll bring you a gift. Listen to Mom. Ada King has always listened to her mother and is waiting for her brother's gift. The spaceship sailed away. Lan Ying looked at Fan Xiao and said, Saner is right, you three, father and son, are only cruel to your own people, but are afraid of all external enemies. Also, don't embarrass Saner anymore. Don't forget, he survived 50 years on the battlefield and came back. Didn't you see that Saner was very confident when facing the second largest clan in a second-tier city? Perhaps, Saner has already stood at a height that we cannot even look up to. The old man heard this and said, You are right, Yuanqian Zhi is no longer with the Fan family. Nor is he with Mu Yunxing. He has a long-term vision. It's a pity that you, as a father, don't know how to behave. Fortunately, Lan Ying has always treated Qintian as her own son, so he didn't feel completely disappointed. At this time, the eyes of all the Fan family members when they looked at Fan Xiao and his two sons changed. The three of them looked very unhappy, especially Fan Yuanhong and Fan Qinglong. They didn't think so much, they just knew that Fan Yuanqian's return made them lose face. Mom, Dad, Grandpa, don't forget that he has offended the Yin family, the second largest family in the second-class city. If he can't settle the matter, how can the Yin family let our Fan family go? Fan Qinglong said. That's right, he brought disaster to our Fan family. Injured me, and scolded my father. He left in a carefree manner. And you are still speaking for him. Everyone in the Fan family became worried again. His eyes fell on the old man. The old man didn't know Fan Yuanqian, and he was unsure, so he thought gloomily. Lan Ying said, Saner has always been very steady in doing things. He won't do anything he is not sure of. If he says he can solve a problem, he will definitely solve it. At this time, a strange spaceship landed wildly. It stopped in front of the Fan family, the warehouse door opened, and a young man strode out. Chapter 329, Are you the real God? Is this the Fan family? The young man asked coldly. Hearing the tone, everyone in the Fan family knew that the visitor had ill intentions. Suddenly remembering the Yin family that Fan Yuanqian had offended, they were even more frightened to death. Unexpectedly, as soon as Fan Yuanqian left, the Yin family came to the door. Fan Xiao was so frightened that he didn't dare to speak. Old man Fendong Ke said, Yes, this is the Fan family. At the same time he asked, You should be from the Yin family. If you know it's me, then you should also know why I'm here. The old man felt unprecedented pressure and took a deep breath, saying, Fan Yuanqian just left, heading towards Jianyun City. He came back and said that if the Yin family comes to visit, they can just go find him directly. Let me go find him. Interesting, then I will destroy your Fan family first, and then go find him. Hearing this, everyone in the Fan family turned pale with fear. An old man came out from behind the young man and looked ready to take action. Lan Ying hurriedly said, Wait, I'll call Saner to come back. After saying that, he quickly called Fan Yuantian. Sorry. The number you dialed is unavailable. Only then did I remember that Fan Yuantian had been on the battlefield for more than 50 years and his number had been cancelled long ago. It seems you can't contact him. The young man's tone became increasingly cold. The timid members of the Fan family were so scared that they almost peed their pants. Fan Xiaoyou said loudly, Madam, please contact Pang Qingyao quickly. He is with Fan Yuantian, so we will definitely be able to contact him. Lan Ying quickly contacted Pang Qingyao. It worked. The call was connected after a while. Qingyao, let Qingtian answer the phone. Someone from the Yin family is here to visit us. Huaxian walked over and entered the video. Sainer, run. The Yin family is here to find you. Run as far as you can. The Fan family was terrified. They didn't expect that Lan Ying would make the call and ask Fan Yuantian to run away. Fan Xiaoyou roared, Lan Ying, are you crazy? What should we do then? That's right, what should we do? Fan Yuantian caused the disaster, and she must solve it herself. There was a chorus of condemnation of Lan Ying at the scene. Yin Hongshan smiled coldly and gave a look to the old man beside him. Boom! The old man threw a punch at Lan Ying, and the powerful force locked Lan Ying in place, and she had no time to dodge. Yin Hongshan, if you dare to touch my family, I will kill them in Kaijiang City and wipe out the Yin barbarians. Huaxian's murderous voice came. Everyone also saw the spaceship turn around and rush back. Be careful, daughter-in-law. Old man Fendong Ke stood in front of Lan Ying. Fan Xie, the husband, was so frightened that he almost ran away. Instead, he was worried about being injured by mistake. Boom! Phew! Old man Fendong Ke tried his best but still couldn't block the punch and was blown away. Bleeding. The remaining force hit Lan Ying. Phew! It also caused Lan Ying to be seriously injured instantly. It can be seen how powerful this punch is. The other members of the Fan family were trembling with fear, and were terrified to the extreme. It is not difficult to imagine that if the old man had not blocked the punch for Lan Ying, she would have been killed. Yin Hongshan, you are seeking death. What you are doing now has brought the Yin family into the abyss of destruction. Huaxian's murderous voice came. Even though he was just pretending to be Fan Yuantian, he was really angry. TSK, 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 you haven't come back yet. The next one won't be so lucky. Let me see, who among you is important to this guy? Yin Hongshan said cruelly. Wherever he looked, everyone he saw was scared to death. Someone shouted loudly in fear, it's not me, I have a grudge against Fan Yuantian. It's her, Fan Qingqing, she has the best relationship with Fan Yuantian. Following the betrayal of this member of the Fan family, Yin Hongshan's eyes instantly fell on Fan Qingqing. And he looked at the video call with a smile and said to Huaxian, who was so angry that his face turned red, you two have a good relationship, right? Then I will kill her myself. Walk towards Fan Qingqing step by step. No, daughter, run, Lan Ying shouted while being pricked by needles. She wanted to protect her daughter, but she was unable to move because of her severe injuries. He struggled and fell to the ground in a mess. Puff. Instead, it aggravated the injury. Finally, he shouted at Fan Xiaoyou in despair. You are still a man, you saw your daughter was about to be killed. And you are indifferent. Fan Xiaoyou was so frightened that he trembled. He glanced at the masters who followed Yin Hongshan and dared not go to rescue anyone. And you blame me for this? I would have died if I had gone. It's all that rebellious son's fault, he brought about this disaster. That's right, it's all because of that beast Fan Yuantian. Grandpa and mom were injured, and my sister was in danger. All because of him. If no one stood up, it would be Fan Qingqing. Yin Hongshan got closer and closer to Fan Qingqing, looked at Huaxian in the video communication and said with a smile, now, I'm going to kill your sister. Buzz. He threw a punch. No, Lan Ying roared in despair. Stop, the old man roared weakly. He wanted to save his granddaughter, but her injuries were worse than Lan Ying's, and he was completely unable to do anything. Yin Hongshan. I will kill you and wipe out your entire Yin family. Huaxian roared angrily. System, bind me to the heroine Fan Qingqing. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully binding to the alien female protagonist Fan Qingqing of the TNEI people. The combat power has increased by 500. Huaxian was stunned. He didn't expect that Fan Qingqing was actually from a foreign race. System, instantly teleport to the heroine Fan Qingqing. Fan Qingqing looked at the approaching death attack. Her level of cultivation was not enough to dodge it. So she closed her eyes in despair. Brother Qingyan. I'm sorry, I can't protect you anymore. It turns out that in the Fan family, everyone bullied Fan Yuantian, except little Fan Qingqing, who protected him, and the two siblings had a very good relationship. Fan Qingqing often joked that she wanted to marry Fan Yuantian when she grew up. Buzz. The space trembled. A figure appeared in front of Fan Qingqing. Yin Hongshan's attack was instantly broken. The whole audience stared in shock at the person who suddenly appeared. Yin Hongshan, you deserve to die, Hu Xian roared murderously. Boom boom. Lightning genes are raging all over the body. Boom. It actually triggered thunder and lightning in the sky, creating a resonance. The combination of these two elements makes Hu Xian's appearance like a god descending to the earth. The strong men and old men behind Yin Hongshan all looked terrified. True god, you are definitely the true god, the old man roared out like an idiot. It is only because of such a terrifying force of heaven and earth that, in the old man's understanding, it is difficult to achieve anything below the true god. When everyone heard the word true god, they were stunned. Looking at Hu Xian, he was shocked to the extreme. The Fan family was even more horrified. Fan Qianqian, whom they looked down upon, was actually a true god? True god, that is invincible, that is the symbol of eternal life. It is the limit of all life pursuits. Yin Hongshan was terrified to the extreme. From what he had investigated, he found out that Fan Qianqian was just an abandoned child despised by the Fan family. The most mysterious thing about him was that he stayed on the battlefield for 50 years before returning. There was nothing special about him otherwise. It is because of this that I dared to bring people to your door. But he never expected that this guy would suddenly transform into the true god in the eyes of his right-hand man. Chapter 330, Who are you? Hu Xian pointed a finger at Yin Hongshan. The lightning gene suddenly lit up and the dazzling light made people subconsciously close their eyes. Booming magnet. A slight sound was heard. People opened their eyes subconsciously again and were stunned. Yin Hongshan disappeared out of thin air, leaving nothing behind. Not even a high-quality nano-space device. If it weren't for their spaceship and the old man still staying where he was, they would have suspected that everything that had just happened was a dream. The old man was the only person at the scene who did not close his eyes. He saw with his own eyes that Yin Hongshan's head was hit by lightning. He was instantly killed by the horrible lightning, and the high temperature melted the corpse visibly with the naked eye. In less than a second, extremely strong lightning spread throughout his body, vaporizing Yin Hongshan. At that moment, he was certain of one thing. The young man in front of him was definitely a true god-level powerhouse. Brother, Fan King, who thought she was dead, opened her eyes, saw the familiar figure from behind, and rushed over shouting. Hu Xian quickly put away the lightning. Brother, it's really you. She hugged Hu Xian and burst into tears. Just now she thought she was going to say goodbye to her brother forever. Silly sister, don't cry, your brother is here, no one can hurt you. Well, brother, can you take King with you when you leave? King doesn't want to be separated from brother. Okay, brother will take King with him wherever he goes. Thank you, brother. In her excitement, she actually kissed Hu Xian on the face. Hu Xian smiled gently and looked at the old man. You deserve to die too. No, please. Boom. A bolt of lightning struck him. And the old man died on the spot before he could even say a word of begging for mercy. The good thing is that the pseudo-god gene in his body is strong. And even though his body was turned into charcoal by the lightning gene, there are still some traces left. Hu Xian took Fan King and walked towards Lan Ying. Child, Lan Ying struggled to stand up. Mom, I'm sorry. I almost hurt you, Hu Xian said guiltily. Silly child. This is a world where the strong prey on the weak, don't blame yourself. Viewer, a ray of holy light hit Lan Ying's body, and the external injuries were visible and healable. Lan Ying was extremely shocked, because she could feel that the internal injuries in her body were recovering. The old man was stunned and muttered in disbelief. Lightning Gene, Light Gene, Qinqian's grandson is such a monster. Viewer, another ray of holy light hit the old man. At this time, Fan Qingyao and Yu Zhengkai arrived in a spaceship. Because the communication had never been shut down, they saw everything that happened. Fan Qingyao understood very well that Hu Xian was really not Fan Qianqian. They just looked very similar. It's hard to believe that there are such outstanding people in the world. After a while, Lan Ying and Fan Dongke both recovered. Hu Xian then looked at Fan Xiaoyu and Fan Yuanhong with an extremely cold gaze, and shouted angrily, "Old waste and little waste, you are even more useless than I thought." They watched their relatives being killed and did nothing. Fan Yuanhong argued. Fan Qianqian, shut up, you are the one who brought this crisis upon yourself. The other party is so powerful, if we take action, we will only be courting death and will only risk our lives. So you can't blame us for this. That's right, you can't blame us. Blame you instead. If you hadn't caused trouble, we wouldn't have experienced such a crisis. Fan Qinglong echoed. Shut up. It was old man Fan Dongke who shouted angrily. And he said to Hu Xian, Qinqian, you should still be the patriarch of our Fan family. Only you can lead our Fan family to rise. Hu Xian shook his head and said, I don't care what happens to the Fan family, this is destined by fate. Otherwise Fan Xiaoyu and Fan Yuanhong wouldn't be so rubbish. Hearing this, the faces of the three of them became extremely ugly. Fan Xiaoyou said angrily, "Fan Qiantian, you keep calling me trash and rubbish, but don't forget that you are my son. Without my drunken impulsiveness back then, you wouldn't be who you are now." Huaxian stared at him coldly and said, "You better shut up. If you make me angry, I will kill you too." You? Booming magnet. A bolt of lightning appeared in Huaxian's hand, scaring Fan Xiaoyou so much that he took back everything he was about to say. He roared in his heart, "Rebellious son, what a rebellious son." Huaxian looked at Lan Ying and said, "Mom, do you want to leave together?" "Leave?" Fan King said in surprise, "Mom, let's leave with brother. Look at what has happened to the Fan family because of dad and the eldest and second brothers." Hearing this, Lan Ying looked at Fan Xiaoyou and his two biological sons, and finally smiled bitterly and said, King is right. If I stay, you will only disappoint me. I am too lazy to be filial to Saner, so I will leave with Saner. "Mom, we are your biological sons," Fan Qinglong said anxiously. Fan King said, "Brother, I am still my mother's biological daughter. It is you who don't know how to behave. I thought you were just playboys and would definitely be brave at the critical moment. But after what happened just now, I realized that the only people who truly love and care for me are my mother, grandfather, and my third brother." "Oh," the old man sighed, feeling desperate. Why is the best one the third child who has no feelings for the family? But he also understood that all this was caused by these three useless father and sons, and he regretted not disciplining them well in the first place. "Grandpa, we are leaving the Fan family. This is my new communication. When necessary, I will take action once, but only once." After saying that, he walked towards the spaceship holding Lan Ying in one hand and Fan King in the other. Pan Qingyao and Yu Zheng quickly made way at the door of the spaceship. The spaceship was shut down, and Huaxian immediately turned on the communicator. The hacker hacked into the spaceship and quickly locked onto the place where the spaceship took off, which turned out to be Kaijiang City. Locked the destination and let the spacecraft fly there intelligently. When Fan King and the others saw the spaceship flying to its destination, they were a little worried. "Saner, do you really want to cause trouble for the Yin family?" Lan Ying asked, with some reluctance. Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, "Mom, you must think it's cruel, but have you ever thought that if I didn't destroy the Yin family, and Yin Hongshan died in the Fan family, wouldn't the Yin family cause trouble for the Fan family?" "Brother, it turns out that you still care about your family in your heart," Fan King said happily while hugging Huaxian's arm. Huaxian shook his head and said, "I don't have much affection for the Fan family, but I was very moved by the scene where the old man risked his life to save my mother. Just for this reason, I will destroy the Yin family and solve my worries." Seeing Huaxian sincerely say that he had no feelings for the Fan family, Lan Ying confirmed her guess, and then looked into Huaxian's eyes and said, "You are not my Saner. Saner does not have such good talent and strength as you, nor does he have such courage. Even if Saner hates his father, he will not turn against him directly. So, who are you?" Chapter 331, Killing at the Door. Huaxian didn't expect that Lan Ying could find out that she was not Fan Qianqiu analyzing clues. Without saying anything, he looked at Pan Qingyao. Qingyao said bitterly, "Aunt Lan, it was my family who forced me to go on a blind date. That is, Yin Hongshan. I had no choice but to run away from home. And then I met young master Huaxian, so I asked him for help. Your name is Huaxian, and you look exactly like Saner." Fan King said happily, "So you are not my brother Fan Qiantian. You are Huaxian, then I can marry you." He excitedly took Huaxian's arm, as if to say, "I will definitely give it to you." Huaxian said, "Okay, then don't regret it." "I won't regret it the moment you saved me. I fell deeply in love with you. If you were my brother, I would always cling to you. At worst, I would just stay single for the rest of my life." "Silly girl." "Yeah, I'm your silly girl. Mom, no matter who I am always your son. You kid, you got my daughter. So of course he's my son." After saying that, he looked at Pan Qingyao and said, "Qingyao, Qianqian went to the battlefield and hasn't come back for 50 years. I'm afraid he really won't come back. I think Huaxian is a good guy. And he looks exactly like Qianqian. Just treat him as the one Qianqian married." And Qingyao looked at Huaxian and had to admit that he was really outstanding. However, no matter how much he looked like Fan Qianqian, he was still not Fan Qianqian. He shook his head and said, "Aunt Lan, I can't do it, and brother Xian promised me that he would take me to the battlefield to find Qianqian. Do you agree?" Lan Ying looked at Huaxian and asked. "Yes, I agree. Hey, but with your strength, you will be invincible even if you go to the battlefield. Maybe you can really find some clues about Qianqian." After the chat, Fan King took Huaxian and said, "Hubby, come with me." She shyly pulled Huaxian into a room and locked the door. Huaxian looked at the girl and knew what she wanted to do. He pretended not to know and asked, King, what are you going to do? Don't call me King, I'm your wife now, you have to call me wife. Also, I heard that wives and husbands are supposed to do that kind of thing. That kind of thing? Huaxian asked with a smile. He felt that Fan King's shy look became more and more adorable the more he looked at her. It's that kind of thing, that's the kind of thing where dad and mom gave birth to me. The shy head was buried in his neck. Huaxian smiled happily when he saw this. Fan King finally realized something was wrong. She raised her head abruptly and looked at Huaxian's blooming smile as he looked at her. She knew very well that he did it on purpose. Bad guy. You bully me, I'll beat you to death. A set of Pio punches. Huaxian also surrendered and dared not bully her anymore. He hugged her and approached her gently. Fan King closed her eyes shyly. When my lips touched, I felt a warmth, and my whole body felt like it was electrocuted. And my teeth were mysteriously pried open, and then, a few hours later, Didi, we are about to arrive at our destination. The advanced spacecraft traveled at full speed and arrived at Kaijiang City in just a few hours. Sub-T-Array Hand approaches. Huaxian and Fan King had already finished their fight and were hugging each other, just unwilling to get up. At the prompt, the two walked out of the room together. Lan Ying and the others all looked over. But Pang Qingyao felt an indescribable feeling in her heart when she saw Huaxian and Fan King being so affectionate. I reminded myself in my heart, Pang Qingyao, the one you like is Fan Qiuintian. It was the same in the past, it is the same now, and it will be the same in the future. As the spacecraft approached the urban area, they were found to have no flight certificate for Kaijiang City, and several combat spacecraft surrounded it. Who is on the spacecraft? Unauthorized spacecraft are prohibited from entering the city area. Huaxian opened the warehouse door, took out his military ID and said, Jianyun City Military Supervisor, applying to enter Kaijiang City. A security officer flew over and verified Huaxian's credentials. After confirming that it was true, the man saluted and said respectfully, a Jianyun City Supervisor's spaceship is allowed to enter the city. Although Jianyun City is only a third-rate city, its military is not necessarily weaker than Kaijiang City. And the supervisory envoy is second only to the commander-in-chief. So this face should still be given. Having said that, when this kind of mission comes, it is mostly an exchange between the two sides' militaries. So naturally we dare not make it difficult. Huaxian returned to the spaceship and after reporting the situation, the spaceship flew into Kaijiang City in a swagger. Unlike the Pang and Fan families in Jianyun City, the big families in Kaijiang City are all located in Shenzong. But each occupies a mountain top and monopolizes the best resources. The aircraft flew directly towards the Yin family. Along the way, the strange aircraft did not cause any trouble. A few minutes later, the aircraft warning sound rang. Didi arrived at the destination. Huaxian said, you guys wait for me on the spaceship. I'm going to visit the Yin family. The warehouse door was already open, and Huaxian was about to jump down after he finished speaking. Lan Ying grabbed Huaxian's hand and felt that it was as smooth as jade. Not as dark as it looked. There was a strange feeling. Mom, is there something wrong? Huaxian asked, and Lan Ying finally reacted and said seriously, Tsinar, the Yin family is certainly wrong, but not everyone is guilty. Just kill those who should be killed, and forget about those who pose no threat to others. Huaxian smiled slightly. Mom, don't worry, I know what's going on. Just wait for me to come back. Honey, this is a safe idea, Fan King said, and walked over and kissed Huaxian. Pang Qingyao also wanted to say something, but in the end she didn't say it. Huaxian jumped down and fell towards the Yin family. Immediately, the security alarm was activated. All technological weapons locked onto him. Someone also came up in a flying vehicle. Who are you? This is the Yin family's important place, leave immediately. Huaxian smiled and said, please inform the Yin family and tell them that Huaxian is here to take their lives. What? The security guards on the aircraft were stunned. After a while, one of them reacted and yelled, where did you come from? You psychopath, get out of here now, or I'll send you to a mental hospital. Huaxian said inferently, go tell the Yin family that Yin Hongshan was killed. I believe they will understand. This. The men looked at each other. Although they did not believe Huaxian's words, Yin Hongshan did come back in a hurry and left in a panic with a master. It seemed that something had really happened. You wait. Several people directly controlled the aircraft and flew into the Yin family. Huaxian was not in a hurry. He waited patiently, intending to play with his prey. After a while, several figures emitting powerful genetic auras were seen flying rapidly from the direction of the Yin family's main hall. Chapter 332, Let me see you kill me. Who are you? How dare you say such arrogant words and kill my son Yin Hongshan? A middle-aged man who looked 3 points like Yin Hongshan shouted angrily. Huaxian said calmly, so you still don't know what Yin Hongxian did outside? It's not your turn to point fingers at what my son does. The middle-aged man was very strong. At this time, a woman flew to his side with a worried look on her face and said, Master, we took turns calling the Red Army's communicators, but they were all turned off. So the Red Army is really in trouble? A middle-aged man finally lost his composure and stared at Huaxian and asked, What did you do to my son? Huaxian said coldly, he made a mistake he shouldn't have made. So I killed him. What mistakes could my son make? You killed my son, you deserve to die. Buzz. A powerful genetic aura burst out from the middle-aged man's body. The people around him were so scared that they retreated far away. A powerful genetic pressure pressed down on Huaxian. I'll give you one more chance, my son lives or dies. Old man, it seems that your Yin family really deserves to die. You actually want to attack without asking any questions. In this way, I will feel at ease if I destroy your Yin family. What an arrogant tone, you want to destroy my Yin family? Then you can do it for me. An old man's voice was heard. But no figure appeared. Huaxian smiled and said, That's fine. Anyway, I'm here to destroy your Yin family since you don't repent and still bully others. Then destroy me. Rumble. The terrifying thunder and lightning erupted. The thunder and lightning gene at the peak level of the 60th level pseudo-god. Every full-scale eruption caused the thunder and lightning in the sky to resonate. And the scene was extremely shocking. What's going on? Why is there a sudden lightning and thunder? Countless people in the city were all confused when they saw the sudden lightning in the clear sky. That direction seems to be where the second largest clan, the Yin family, is located. Could it be that someone in the Yin family has acquired the talent for lightning? Everyone in the Yin family was shocked after seeing Huaxian's outburst. I never expected that this young man would be so terrifying. Who are you? The middle-aged man asked loudly with fear in his heart to give himself courage. Deep inside the Yin family, a white-haired old man appeared in front of Huaxian in an instant. As fast as light. My dear friend, I don't know what the conflict is between my Yin family and you. Let's talk about it. Huaxian smiled coldly and said, You come out now and say we can discuss it. Didn't you just ask me to destroy the Yin family to show you? Now I will destroy it to show you. The art of inducing thunder. Boom boom. As the lightning attracting technique was performed, the lightning in the sky became more fierce and dense. Then, as if regaining consciousness, it locked onto the strong man from the Yin family and chopped him down fiercely. How is this possible, with such power? Are you a real god? The white-haired old man roared in shock and horror. Those people from the Yin family were frightened and wanted to run away. But they found that running away was of no use after they were locked. So they burst into attack with thunder and lightning with all their strength. Booming magnetic. Their attacks were completely useless against the powerful thunder and lightning. One by one, they were hit by the powerful thunder and lightning. And those whose gene level was below the pseudo-god level were almost killed instantly. The strong man in the pseudo-god gene realm was not at a very high level and did not resist for long before he died tragically under the lightning strike. Only those with high pseudo-god gene levels managed to survive. But they were also seriously injured. The only one who was better off was the white-haired old man, who had blood at the corner of his mouth and was slightly injured. These powerful people who are still alive were shot to the extreme. Looking around, there are as many as 500 powerful people accumulated by the Yin family over the past 3,000 years. This is also the reason why the Yin family can rank second in Kaichong City. To be a little arrogant, the Yin family in Kaichong City has to be respected by all the first-rate families. But now, such a huge Yin family was destroyed because of one person. More than 400 of its 500 strong men were lost in an instant. And those who survived were dying. There were less than 30 people who could still fly and look Huaxian in the eye. Looking at the enemy again, he made an nonchalant gesture, as if killing 500 members of the Yin family would be a piece of cake. The same is true for death. Rumble. The thunder sword appeared in Huaxian's hand. A powerful lightning gene and the terrifying amplification of the half-step destroyed thunder body made the thunder sword exude the aura of Niren. At this moment, the despair in the hearts of the Yin family, who were already in despair, was beyond description. The white-haired old man asked in horror, What on earth did Yin Hongxian do to anger you? A true god, to descend to the mortal world? Such a terrifying existence, in everyone's eyes, can only be the true god. Huaxian turned on the communicator, and the video of Yin Hongxian at Fan's house, that was preserved by hackers, was played. Everyone in the Yin family watched the video. The sounds are all restored realistically. Scenes of Yin Hongxian bullying the Yin family and threatening Huaxian were played out. The scene where he was killed in the end was even played. The Yin family finally understood why they had angered the true god before them. Boom boom boom. The white-haired old man took the lead. And everyone fell to the ground and knelt down towards Huaxian. Lord True God, we are wrong. It is because of our poor education that we cultivated a beast like Yin Hongshan. Since we have already destroyed my Yin family and defeated the strong, please forgive us, Lord True God. Please pray to the True God to let us go. Everyone in the Yin family kowtowed and begged. Huaxian said coldly, if you want me to let the Yin family go, then. The Yin family was extremely grateful. Thank you, Lord True God, for sparing our lives, but I have one small condition. All members of the Yin family trembled, fearing that Huaxian would make excessive demands. My lord, I wonder what your conditions are. Simple. All the Yin family members who are at or above the pseudo-god gene level must hang themselves to apologize. What? Those who have reached the pseudo-god gene realm have lived for at least 500 years. So how could they be willing to die? So everyone was shocked. Huaxian continued, I'll give you 3 minutes if you don't do as I ask. I'll do it myself and kill everyone in the Yin family. Thousands of Yin family members took a deep breath when they heard this. And finally their eyes fell on the white-haired old man. Ancestor, I don't want to die. I don't want to die either. Ancestor. The remaining dozens of Yin family pseudo-god gene warriors all spoke up. The old ancestor looked at Huaxian and begged, Master, True God, can you please forgive us? I promise that my Yin family will never commit any evil crimes again. We will definitely do a lot of good deeds and count them as merits of yours. Master True God. Huaxian shook his head and said, 1 minute and 35 seconds left. Seeing that Huaxian would not let them live, the false gods of the Yin family exchanged glances, stood up and shouted, Run! Dozens of people fled in all directions, firmly believing that even if the other party was a true god, it would be impossible for him to split himself into countless clones to hunt them down. And someone would always be able to escape. Chapter 333. The Yin family is destroyed. You want to escape? Have you asked about the sword in my hand? Your opponent is me. The ancestor of the Yin family rushed towards Huaxian regardless of everything. He knew that he was the closest to him and could not escape. He said that he wanted to fight to the death to give other members of the clan a chance to escape. Phew. Huaxian's speed was faster than lightning when he rushed over. His sword cut off the head of the Yin family's ancestor. The speed was too fast, and the body of the Yin family ancestor froze in Mitra. When Huaxian killed more than a dozen strong men of the Yin family who were fleeing, the head of the ancestor of the Yin family fell off his neck, and his body fell to the ground with blood spurting out. The Yin family and the people watching around finally came back to their senses from the shock. A few minutes later, when Huaxian returned to the sky above the Yin family again, the whole environment was eerily quiet. Everyone's eyes were on Huaxian, and the Yin family was extremely desperate. Huaxian said coldly, Remnants of the Yin family, listen to me carefully. This time, my family has instructed us not to kill anyone with a transcendent gene level below 40. You should feel lucky. But if I hear that the remnants of the Yin family continue to commit evil, I will eradicate the Yin family completely without leaving a single scroll. After saying that, he flew back into the spaceship. In the distance, people from the security department had already arrived, and even some military leaders had arrived. Someone asked a security guard, Are you sure he is the supervisor from the Jianyan City military? I am sure that he did not have a flight pass when he entered the city. I personally intercepted him and issued him a pass after verifying his identity. So the Jianyan City military department actually has a powerful person who is comparable to the true god. I didn't expect that the Jianyan City military department is so low-key. If the Yin family hadn't done something to offend this Jianyan City military department boss, we probably wouldn't have known about it. Sir, should we publicize this matter? Are you stupid? Why would you spread the news? Not only can you not spread it, you have to suppress it and make the evidence of the Yin family's crimes known to the world. Just say that it was me, the big boss of Kaijiang City's military department, who wiped out the extremely evil Yin family. Yes. Sir, we have obtained this guy's information from the Jianyan City military. His name is Huaxian. He is from the lower realm Gene world. He single-handedly and destroyed the 3 major alien races in the Gene world. He also fought against the gods of the pseudo-god world when he was in the Gene world. What? The commander was extremely shocked. The pseudo-god realm was the place where pseudo-gods could prove their divinity. If one wanted to become a true god, one had to enter the pseudo-god realm in order to obtain the genetic rules of a true god. Therefore, the pseudo-gods in the pseudo-god world are more powerful than the pseudo-gods in other worlds. The reason is that they more or less control the genetic rules of the true gods. And the more they control, the more powerful they are. Therefore, the false gods in the false god world are like true gods to the false gods in the lower world. He dared to fight against the gods of the pseudo-god world in the lower realm. This Huaxian is so scary. The subordinate continued. According to unconfirmed news, there is a very high possibility that there is a real true god behind this Huaxian. Unconfirmed. I'm afraid it's true. By the way, do you have his contact information? Av. A person in charge contacted Hu Xin immediately after getting the contact information. On the spaceship, everyone surrounded Hu Xin. I respect him more and more. Ubby, you were so handsome just now you made me feel inferior to him. Fan King said with a pout. Why do you feel inferior? Hu Xin asked, touching her head. I'm too weak and feel unworthy of you. Silly boy, I won't despise you. Besides, follow me. It will be easy for you to become stronger when the time is right. I will help you improve. Really? Fan King was extremely happy. Of course it's true. Yeah, my dear husband, I knew you were the best. Then she kissed Hu Xin on the face again. Fan Qingyao finally fell into an inner struggle. Hu Xin was too outstanding and looked very similar to Fan Qian. After getting to know him, she had already had a good impression of him. Tian, are you still alive? Facing Hu Xin, who is just like you, I am really starting to waver. Zinar, what should we do next? Lan Ying looked at Hu Xin and asked. I sighed in my heart. He is so outstanding that I, as his mother-in-law, am almost obsessed with him. Hu Xin was about to answer when his phone rang. He saw that it was an unfamiliar number and subconsciously hung up. Fan King, who was standing by, helped him connect the phone. A soldier in a high-class uniform appeared in the video. Hello, Supervisor Hu Xin, the other party greeted warmly. Who are you? Let me introduce myself. I am Shi Yunhong, the commander of the Kaijiang City military. I know everything you did in the Yin family. I am sorry for announcing without your permission that it was the Kaijiang City military that launched the action against the Yin family. Hu Xin didn't care when he heard the news. It seemed that this could reduce some trouble. If it's just this matter, it doesn't matter if there's nothing else. Just hang up. Supervisor Hu Xin, it's like this. I hope you can also hold the position of supervisor in our military department. What? Hu Xin was dumbfounded. Lan Ying said, Zinar. Agree to it. Being an inspector is a hassle, and you don't have to worry about it. You also have great power. You won't suffer any loss. Shi Yunhong said hurriedly. That's right, the role of the supervisory envoy is to supervise the army. If someone makes a mistake, they will be punished. They don't have any other duties. So they are free, and because they are not part of the regular military organization, they can be assigned to any military department indefinitely. Is that so? Then I will reluctantly kill your military supervisor. Supervisor Hu Xin, then please take some time to come to my Kaijiangqing military headquarters, and I will issue you a certificate. Good. After the conversation was over, he hung up. Congratulations, husband, on your promotion to the supervisor of Kaijiang City. Fan King congratulated playfully. Hu Xin smiled and said, You are naughty, right? Let me teach you a lesson. Rushed towards Fan King. Oh, husband, please spare me. Fan King ran away yelling, but she could not outrun Hu Xin and was carried by Hu Xin into the room. Fan Qingyao watched the two people enter the room, and her heart became conflicted again. Seeing this, Lan Ying advised, Qingyao, I think he should stop thinking about Qintian. After all, he might really be gone. An absent person will delay your arrangements. Zinar is really good. You should consider it carefully. Junyao also said, Miss, I also think that young master Hu Xin is very good. He is handsome, powerful, and most importantly, kind. You won't suffer any loss if you marry him. As she was talking, she started to become obsessed with him. Junie, if you like brother Xin, you can pursue him boldly. I support you, Fan Qingyao said seriously. Junya was very tempted, but still said, Miss, unless you marry him, Junya will not leave you. At this time, dark clouds rolled in from the sky, as if the end of the world was coming, and the clear sky soon became extremely dark. Chapter 334. Extreme Weird Dark Night. A strange and oppressive atmosphere entered everyone's heart, causing people's inner fear to be infinitely magnified. What's going on? The sky was clear just now. Why did it suddenly become so dark? Has evil come? I felt so uneasy, as if the end of the world was coming. Boom boom boom. A military and various major forces fired flares into the dark night sky. However, an even stranger scene appeared. In the past, one flare could illuminate an area 1 mile in radius. But now one flare can only illuminate an area of a few meters, and the light will disappear in an instant. This strange darkness made countless people feel uneasy. Magnetic. In this strange darkness, the energy lamps began to go out, the lights gradually disappeared, and the whole world was about to fall into complete darkness. Countless people no longer dared to stand in conspicuous places and sought to hide in places they thought were safe. Ding ding, the energy source is under attack, and the spacecraft is about to lose power. Hu Xin quickly rushed to the energy supply location, mobilized the power of lightning genes, and injected it into it. Ding ding, the spacecraft's energy is restored, and it is detected that an unknown dark force is corroming the new energy source. Honey, what's going on with this darkness? Fan King King asked fearfully, holding his arm. Huaxian himself was also confused. Ding! The host is found to be locked by a powerful evil consciousness. After hearing the system's prompt, Huaxian understood that this weird darkness was directed at him. Wife, Mom, King Yao, please land on the ground and wait for me. I will come back to find you. After saying that, he opened the spaceship and flew away at full speed. After leaving Zhongcheng, the luminous body is activated. Angel wings appear. The holy light on his body dispelled the darkness that was following him. Huaxian suddenly realized that light is indeed the nemesis of darkness. Tsk, you are indeed the reincarnation of a true god. You have a powerful soul that controls lightning, light, fire and other powerful attributes. Very good, very good. After devouring you, I will definitely be able to recover a lot. Following this extremely evil voice, the darkness between heaven and earth, as if it were an extremely huge dark creature, all rushed towards Huaxian. The light power in Huaxian's body was consumed at an accelerated rate, becoming increasingly huge. Even if these darknesses were dissipated by the light, more darkness would come, as if it was determined to take him down at all costs. The darkness that enveloped the sky and the earth disappeared. The sun shone upon the earth, and all living creatures that saw the light of day again had the illusion that they had survived a calamity. The endless darkness had now shrunk to a radius of 100 meters. It was so terrifying that even the soil, stones and other materials on the ground seemed to be swallowed by the darkness and were disappearing. A huge, deepening pit was left at the spot. The eerie darkness enveloped the struggling Huaxian and melted the earth offline. Humble life, give up resistance and merge with me. I will lead you to transcend everything and witness the birth of the invincible. Huaxian said with difficulty, if you dare to merge with me, I will take you to witness the birth of the invincible. And also take you to sleep with all the beautiful women. Tsk, you have personality even at this time. You are still thinking about finishing the beauty. If that's the case, then do you think I am beautiful? In the eerie darkness, a charming, sexy, and indescribably beautiful woman was walking from a distance and getting closer and closer. What's even more fatal is that she was originally wearing a sexy and transparent tow lace long skirt. But when she approached Huaxian, the skirt slipped down, magnifying the seductive scene to the extreme. Huaxian felt his nose getting hot and blood started to come out. The worst thing is that the mysterious tow skirt did not fall off completely, and it was vaguely visible, which made it even more seductive. At this time, the indescribably perfect woman stretched out a hand to him and said in a seductive manner, "Handsome man, do you like me? If you like me, come here." Huaxian felt like he had lost his soul in an instant and even forgot to struggle. The light on his body became weaker and weaker, and was on the verge of going out. At this time, a golden light force burst out and golden angel wings appeared. The woman's eyes lit up and she was extremely excited. He roared in his heart, "It's actually the wings of a golden angel. If I devour you, I will have the wings of dark gold and will be invincible. Come on handsome guy, come quickly, I can't wait any longer." The woman seduced even more charmingly. Faced with the extremely indescribable temptation, Huaxian's willpower collapsed, desire took over everything, and he walked towards the woman in a daze. If it weren't for the golden holy light protecting his body, he would have been swallowed by the darkness. Finally, he arrived in front of the woman. The woman was extremely excited. Her head suddenly changed and her mouth became very big. She bit Huaxian. This huge mouth is enough to swallow Huaxian alive. Magnetic. Just as he bit down, the golden holy light brought her immense damage and almost set her on fire. She had to quickly shrink back and turn back into a beautiful woman. But her face was pale and she was in great pain. Even so, he did not have hatred, but was excited instead, because the more powerful the golden holy light was, the stronger he would be after devouring Huaxian. You are mine. At this time Huaxian was so bewitched by her beauty that he took the initiative to pounce on the beauty. The golden holy light brought her enormous damage. Huaxian lost his mind and didn't care at all, kissing her madly, and took the exquisite charm suit on his body into his body. Don't want? Amid the desperate screams of this extremely beautiful woman, who spoke in the darkness, I achieved dual cultivation with her. Ding, congratulations to the host, for powerfully conquering the dark and weird top-notch female protagonist, and Yi Tian, and gaining a 100 million-fold increase in combat power. The system's prompt sound gradually brought Huaxian, who had lost his mind, back to normal. Feeling the combat power increase by 100 million times, he was extremely shocked. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have practiced dual cultivation with the dark and weird female protagonist. Dark Heaven, and you will receive 100 million Dark True God gene points each time. Huaxian woke up completely, and his shock turned into surprise. Although this time was extremely dangerous and I almost lost my life, the benefits I gained after winning are simply unimaginable. Especially the identity of this weird heroine, which is dark and weird. And no one knows what alien race she is, but she is marked as top grade. Which means that the bound heroine is also divided into levels. This seems to be the first top-notch heroine that I have bound myself to. What did you do to me? Darksky asked angrily. He felt that he, a man without any emotions, had an inexplicable connection with this guy. As if he was born to be with him. Huaxian reacted, looked at her with a smile and said, Dark Sky, this name doesn't suit your temperament and beauty. After saying that, he became serious and grabbed places that he shouldn't have grabbed with his hands. Dark Sky was extremely angry. Get out of here. Huaxian said slyly. It's just the beginning, and you're so beautiful and charming. How can I bear to leave? Chapter 335, do you understand? Relying on the male protagonist's suppression of the female protagonist, Huaxian has the Dark Sky firmly under his control. After a day and a night, and Yitian was completely conquered by Huax and all her dark power disappeared and she turned into an ordinary super beautiful woman. A harvest of this day and night is 130 trillion true god level dark gene points. Huaxian hugged the obedient and Yitian and said with a smile, I didn't expect that you would be even more beautiful and charming without the darkness. You bastard, you absorbed at least 1 trillion of my dark genes in this day and night. If I don't put away my dark power, I will fall below the level of a true god. Darksky complained hatefully. Hey, if you don't put away your dark power, my body won't be able to bear it. Show off, you can show off all you want. Now I am yours. Tell me what happened? Why did I become dependent on you after you violated me? Because I'm handsome. After I got you, you were conquered by my handsomeness. So you followed me willingly. I hear you singing. I won't say anything, but don't even think about sleeping with me again. The threat worked. Huaxian took her hand and said, Okay, I'll tell you, because I am the human king. What? Are you the human king? Eni-chan was very shocked. Then he smiled bitterly. So that's how it is. I was wondering how a human like you could possibly have sex with me. It turns out you are the human king who tolerates everything. Huaxian heard her mumbling and smiled bitterly, thinking, could this have been fooled? It seems that the title of human king is very useful. And yet Tian suddenly said seriously, you are the human king. You should know that I am the daughter of darkness. We are born opposites. Don't say that, I don't believe it. I just know that you are my woman now. No one can take you away from me. Darkness and light are just a balance. Darkness and light maintain the balance? Dark Sky frowned and muttered. Why, have you come up with any insights? Huaxian asked curiously. Dark Sky smiled bitterly and said, you are right, I found that you are different from the human kings of previous generations. Perhaps you can break the balance. So, are you willing to be my wife? Do I have any other choice? I can only consider myself unlucky to meet a beast like you who is not picky about food. Huaxian pulled Dark Sky out of the deep pit. There are no living creatures nearby. He took out a captured flying motorcycle, sat on it and said, Wife, get on board. And Yitian sat on it, without any shyness, and directly hugged Huaxian's waist. Oh, wife, you understand. I rushed out suddenly, speeding all the way in the air. This kind of cycling is really comfortable. Ding. Consumption task reminder countdown. 605,958. System, transfer 10 million platinum coins as a gift to Izu. Ding. Congratulations to the host. You must spend 20 million platinum coins within 20 hours to complete the task and receive an evolution gene pill as a reward. Ding. New mission, 20 hours to complete, cost 30 million platinum coins. Mission failure from the highest digital gene realm level 1. Complete the mission, reward is an evolution gene pill. After more than 2 hours, Kaijang City came into sight. There was nothing important to do now after approaching the city. Huaxian pulled in Yitian and walked into the city. Wife, you are so beautiful, please hide yourself, Huaxian said. Dark Sky's face changed and turned into an ordinary woman. For a true god, this was a small matter. When Huaxian saw this scene, his eyes lit up and he quickly asked, Wife, what is this method of yours? Can you give it to me? It's just an ordinary transformation technique. If you want to learn it, I'll teach you. However, it can only be performed with the power of a true god. After saying this, Dark Sky pointed a finger at Huaxian's forehead. A dark light flashed, and Huaxian felt that there were many more obscure and difficult to understand characters in his mind. The system helps me extract learning characters. Ding. Extract and learn character inheritance. Obtain skill transformation. Consume 10,000 true god level gene points. What was deducted were the current largest number of dark true god gene points. and 10,000 points was nothing to worry about. But he learned the art of transformation. When Huaxian used it, his body and face changed and he became an ordinary middle-aged man. He looked at himself mentally, feeling extremely satisfied. And Anne was stunned. "What do you think, wife? Am I a good match for you now?" Huaxian asked with a smile. Darksky came back to his senses and said in shock, "You actually mastered the power of the true god. It seems that in addition to being the human king, you have many other secrets." "Hey, honey, I have a lot of secrets. You need to dig deep to discover them." Understanding the implicit meaning, Darksky rolled his eyes and walked towards the city. To be honest, she had such a powerful dark force that she couldn't even suppress it completely. Wherever she went, there was darkness everywhere, so she had never been able to fully integrate into any world. Now, most of the dark power has been absorbed by Huaxian. Although her cultivation has declined, she can live like an ordinary life. Naturally, she is reluctant to miss this rare opportunity. "I'm selling candied haws. They ray big, sweet and rare. They're delicious and not expensive, only 1 platinum coin." An old man shouted while carrying a candied haws. "However, this candied haws is different from the ones on Earth. It is made of all rare ingredients and is both beautiful and delicious. Uncle, give me a string of candied haws." And Heian walked over and said, "Okay, I'll give you a candied haws." And Heian took the candied haws, ate them and left. "Hey, pretty, you haven't paid the bill yet." Huaxian took out a platinum coin and threw it over. The next 2 girls took over and Heian bought whatever she saw without paying for it. And Huaxian kept paying for her. After walking the whole streets, Darksky stopped when he was full. "Honey, it turns out that being in ordinary life is so much fun." "Thank you." She hugged Huaxian and took a bite. Not far away, there was a group of people, both men and women, all young people. They looked at Heian and Huaxian, and one of them said, "Boss, it's them. The woman buys everything she sees. And the man pays the bill in the back. He is very rich. I estimate that the platinum coins they spent exceeded this number. 100,000, the boss said disapprovingly. The younger brother said speechless lie, "What do you mean by 100,000? It should be at least 1 million, and that uncle doesn't feel bad at all. I guess he is very rich." Looking at their attire, they must be farmers entering the village. The money they carry must have come from unknown sources. They must have received some great opportunity. Maybe we can make some money from it. A young girl analyzed. The young man in the lead said with bright eyes, "Then what are we waiting for? Let's do this. Do you understand?" "Boss, I understand." Chapter 336, failed to hit a porcelain company. But compensated. Darksky is like a wild horse that has broken free from its reins, running around everywhere, touching the pretty ones and taking the delicious ones. Many people were hit by him, and Huaxian was behind them, paying and apologizing. Clang! A young man holding something that looked like a huge crystal bottle, flashy and high-end, was knocked to the ground by Darksky and his hands were thrown away. A young man shouted, "You broke my baby and you're trying to run away." Dark Knight Genius ignored him and was about to leave. She thought Huaxian would help her settle it. As a result, the young man refused to let her go and grabbed his hand. However, he didn't expect that Darksky had such incredible power that he was carried away by him at a trot. His body was floating, and he quickly let go of his hand in shock. Ding dong! He fell to the ground in a mess. This scene stunned all the people passing by. "Brother, what's wrong with you? Where is our baby?" A young girl ran out and supported the young man and asked. The young man was so depressed he never expected that such an ordinary-looking woman could be so strong. Seeing Huaxian coming over, he quickly said, "Our baby was hit and broken by someone, and he ran away. I am an incompetent brother and failed to catch the murderer. I could only watch him escape." Huaxian saw Heian walking away and started to jog after him. "Hey, your friend broke our heirloom, don't even think about running away." The girl subconsciously grabbed Huaxian. Then tragedy struck. He screamed and the same thing happened to him as the young man. And he was taken flying by Huaxian. The difference is that the girl was smarter than the young man. She held on to Huaxian's arm tightly, thus preventing her from falling to the ground. The dark words on Huaxian's mouth stopped, and the girl fell to the ground. But she still held Huaxian tightly. Seeing this scene, and Heian asked curiously, "Husband, what's wrong with her?" Huaxian pretended not to know and asked, "The beauty, what's wrong with you?" The beautiful woman's heartbeat slowed down and she said angrily, "You broke my family heirloom. You can run away if you want." "Are you talking about that huge crystal blast jar?" asked Darksky curiously. The girl reacted strongly. "What crystal blast tank? That's a divine crystal gene tank. Any aquatic creature or plant in it will grow very quickly. Let me tell you, if you planted ginseng seed in there, you can grow 100-year-old ginseng in 1 year. And 1,000-year-old ginseng in 10 years. Now you know how precious the divine crystal gene cylinder is." You bumped it into the ground and broke it, so you have to pay for it. Oh, then how do you want us to compensate you? And Etienne was not a fool. He knew that these people were talking nonsense, and he found it funny. So he asked, pretending to be apologetic. The girl thought her evil plan had succeeded, and said proudly, "The divine crystal gene cylinder is a priceless treasure. Someone offered 1,100 million platinum coins for it. But we didn't sell it. Now you broke it. You must at least pay 100 million platinum coins as compensation." Only 100 million? I thought it was much more. I was shocked. My husband is very rich, you can just ask him. And Etienne pointed at Huixien and was about to leave. The young man and a few others surrounded him and said fiercely, "You are not allowed to leave without compensation. Boy, you are her husband. Your wife broke our heirloom divine crystal gene cylinder. Pay the compensation." "Brother, I want them to pay 100 million platinum coins in compensation," said the girl. The young man shuddered, glanced at the girl, and thought, how cruel. But the clothes they are wearing, can they afford 100 million platinum coins? Huixien said, "We can't take out 100 million platinum coins. Let me call the police first and ask the security guard to come over and see how to deal with it." After saying that, he started the communication. Several guys were frightened. "Boy, there's no need to call the police, although the God Crystal Gene Bat is our ancestral heirloom. You didn't hit us on purpose. How about this? You decide on the compensation." I thought to myself that it would cost 100 million. Even if you feel guilty, you have to take out all the platinum coins you have to pay as compensation. Huixien took out a platinum coin and said, "I'm sorry. This is the only platinum coin I have left." A young man shouted angrily, "You are kidding me. I made 2 conditions with you. And I saw that you spent no less than 1 million platinum coins." Huixien grinned, "You're 2 blocks ahead of me, right? So, the advanced stuff like the divine crystal gene cylinder was also intentional by you guys. Wife, I remember correctly, your arm was hit, right?" Darksky understood what Huixien meant, and quickly said a grieved lie. "Yeah, I was hit and it hurts. You see, you hurt my wife. I spent 10 billion platinum coins to marry her even though you only hurt her arm. You still have to give her 1 billion. What?" Several people were dumbfounded. "After all this trouble, you still want them to compensate? And he asked for 1 billion? Boy, are you mistaken?" The young man asked. "You are right. You injured my wife whom I bought with 10 billion platinum coins. 1 billion in compensation is not too much. What happened? Who called the police?" Several security guards surrounded them, all with unfriendly looks. The young girl spoke first. "Safety officer, they broke our ancestral divine crystal gene tank. Someone offered 100 million yuan but we didn't buy it. And now it's been broken by them. We asked them to compensate us, but they refused and even tried to blackmail us, saying that he spent 10 billion to marry his wife and we injured her. So they asked us to pay 1 billion. The security officer looked at Huixien and asked, "Is this true?" Huixien nodded honestly and said, "It is true. I am willing to pay 100 million for damaging their divine crystal gene tank. But I did spend 10 billion to marry my wife if she was damaged by them. 1 billion is not too much to pay. What evidence do you have to prove that you spent tens of billions to marry your wife?" The leading young man asked angrily. Huixien smiled and opened the communication, then logged into a website for a hacker of his level. It was easy to install viruses and implant false information at this time. He quickly logged into the marriage registration website and found his and Darksky's marriage registration and property information. "Safety officer, please check if this website is fake," Huixien asked. After checking, the security officer said, "It's true. It's a marriage registration and property details note website used throughout the continent. And it's also for the convenience of divorce disputes." Huixien then went down and pulled out the property registration information. There was a special note, which was that Etienne spent 10 billion in gifts to marry her. There is also a bank account link below, which clearly shows how many platinum coins Huixien has. After confirming that everything was safe, he said to the young man, "The man's wife is indeed worth 10 billion since you damaged her. 1 billion is not too much to pay after deducting the 100 million for your divine crystal gene tank. You still need to compensate this gentleman 900 million platinum coins." Chapter 337, Can something like this happen when taking a taxi? Several people were shot. The compensation was 900 million. What kind of joke is this? "Mr. Security Officer, are you mistaken? She was the one who hit us and damaged our heirloom worth 100 million yuan. Now she wants us to compensate them," the young man asked in disbelief. The security guard said, "You said they crashed into your heirloom. So show me your evidence if you can. I'll make the decision for you. If not, you're the one causing the accident. Where can they produce evidence?" The girl said, "Brother, I think forget it. The heirloom is broken. And they don't look like bad people, so don't embarrass them." The young man had a way out and quickly said, "For my sister's sake, I will not pursue the matter of the heirloom. It's bad luck for us to leave." "Wait, you haven't paid the compensation for injuring my wife yet," Hu Xian shouted. Several people trembled, realizing that they had met their opponents. They looked at each other and fled in all directions. "Catch him." The security officer quickly gave the order. And he said to Hu Xian, "Sir, I'm going to arrest him." It turned out that when he arrived, Hu Xian veiled lie showed him the supervisor's credentials. Who doesn't know that a powerful supervisor has recently come to Kaichang City? Therefore, no matter whether the evidence Hu Xian produced was true or false, the security guards were determined not to offend anyone. He also knew that there was a group of hooligans in Kaichang City who made a living by committing fraud. And he could tell at a glance who those guys were. What kind of heirloom was broken by someone? If it was really priceless, wouldn't people have called the police long ago? Let the victim be the one to call the police. Honey, let's continue playing. And He pulled Hu Xian away. Just want to have a good time. And there are all kinds of sightseeing and shopping. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 30 million platinum coins within 20 and received an evolution gene pill as a reward. Ding, new mission. Complete it within 20 hours, cost 40 million platinum coins. If the mission fails, deduct 1 level of the host's highest gene realm. Complete the mission and get a reward of 1 evolution gene pill. The sun has risen, but Dark Sky seems not to have had enough fun yet. At this time Hu Xian's communication rang. It was Fan King who called. "Husband, how are you? Are you in danger? When Mom didn't let me call you. She said you might be dealing with evil and calling you would distract you. But I couldn't help it. I hope it didn't affect you." Hu Xian smiled and said, "No, I'm in the city now. I'll come find you wherever you are. We are at the Superstar Hotel." "Okay, I'll come find you guys right away." Hu Xian walked over and pulled Dark Sky. "Let's go find your sisters." "Ah, do I have sisters?" Dark Sky looked confused. Hu Xian smiled and said, "Aren't my other wives your sisters?" "Oh, it sounds like you have too many wives, husband." "You guessed it, it's really a bit too much. Is this what people call a bad heart?" "Yeah, Hu Xian, don't you like it?" "I like it if you weren't fickle. You wouldn't dare touch me, then I, with my powerful dark power, wouldn't be able to have fun like this. This is the happiest moment I've ever had." "Don't worry, you will be so happy every day in the future." "Really? Of course it's true, you can't be unhappy if you follow your husband." "Yeah, thank you, husband. Let's go find our sisters then." Lock the position and hit to flying cars. "Where are you two going?" the driver asked enthusiastically. "Go to Superstar Hotel." "Okay." The driver was overjoyed, thinking that only those who go to the Superstar Hotel are rich people. "I can't tell, these two people look ordinary, but they are very rich. It seems they are fat cows." "You too, is this your first time in Kaichang City? Are you familiar with it? I know a lot of tour guides. If you are not familiar with them, I can introduce you to the most reliable ones." Dark Sky said, "This is our first day here, we are not familiar with the place. And let me introduce you to a tour guide who guarantees good quality and low prices." "Okay." Dark Sky just wanted someone to take him out to play. So he agreed very readily. Hu Xian saw that she was happy and naturally would not refuse. The driver naturally changed their direction, claiming that he was taking them to see the best tour guide. "It's just that this will soon be out of town." Hu Xian asked, "Master, are the tour guides you mentioned who left all outside the city?" The driver said without revealing anything, "Yes, they are just outside the city. They are familiarizing themselves with the environment outside the city. They said they are going to launch a tourist guide project outside the city. It sounds very high-end." Hu Xian smiled coldly. After leaving the city, the driver accelerated. Wow, flying at low altitude. It turns out that the Earth has a different kind of beauty. Dark Sky really likes this feeling and is very excited. Finally, we arrived at a deep cliff that looked very mysterious and was heavily guarded everywhere. Hu Xian asked with a smile, "The tour guide you lead us to find is a bit special. He is in a place that is not easy to be noticed." After saying that, he turned on the communicator and said, "Even the signal has been blocked." The driver laughed and said, "It is indeed very special. But don't worry, our tour guide is absolutely good. The only downside is that the price is a bit expensive." Dark Sky said, "It doesn't matter if it's expensive. My husband has plenty of money." The driver was extremely happy to hear this. "I thought, we just like rich people." The car quickly rushed into a huge cliff cave. Hu Xian clearly felt that he had passed through a barrier, which was obviously a prohibition. It should be the kind that is sure to make progress. "I didn't expect that I would encounter such a thing just by taking a taxi." "Well, honey, the environment here is great. It feels like an underground city," Dark Sky said in surprise as he looked at the beautiful surroundings. The driver said, "Yes, this is our newly developed tourist attraction. Only those who are really rich are qualified to come here." This driver is also talking nonsense. "Fortunately, my husband is a super rich man," Dark Sky said cooperatively. The car flew all the way to the bottom of the cave. At a glance, there were many iron cages below, with many men and women imprisoned inside. Dark Sky frowned and asked, "Why are those people imprisoned?" "Performance, they are putting on a special performance. Looking at their expressions, aren't their acting skills superb?" "Wow, what kind of performance is that? Can I join in?" Dark Sky asked curiously. Huaxian smiled bitterly. Feeling that after becoming an ordinary life, Dark Sky's intelligence had also decreased. And he was full of curiosity about everything. How could he know that Dark Sky had existed for countless years? But because of his powerful and strange dark power, he had almost no friends and had always been alone. The loneliness he felt was unimaginable to others. Now that she can finally live like an ordinary life and with Huaxian's protection, she doesn't want to think too much and just wants to live a carefree life. Which is the way it is now. The driver said, "No problem. I'll take you into an iron cage and wait for the show to begin." "Okay." Chapter 338, "You said I can't do it? Bring him to me." In the cage, Dark Sky was still looking around with curiosity. Then he said, "Husband, I found out that we were kidnapped as the legend said." Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, "You know it, but you still ask." "Of course I know, but I don't want to think too much about it because I have my husband to protect me and I'm not afraid. Also, I want to experience the feeling of being kidnapped. Hubby, I can finally live like a normal person. Can you please let me live an innocent life for a while?" She begged while holding Huaxian's arm and shaking him. "Okay, as long as you like it, honey, you can do whatever you want." "Thank you, husband, you are so nice." She hugged Huaxian and started to kiss him. "You're sick, you Ray, still doing this kind of thing at this time." When the people in the cages nearby saw this scene, someone cursed in dissatisfaction. And yet Tian ignored him. With an innocent and bright smile still on his face, she felt that meeting Huaxian was the luckiest thing in her life. About half an hour, a person wearing shabby clothes and with hair of moderate length, who couldn't be identified as a man or a woman, strode over. There is a group of people following behind him, which shows that this guy is the leader here. Huaxian discovered that the driver who brought him here was also behind this guy. This guy came to the middle of all the cages, looked around with satisfaction, and then said with a smile, "Nice to meet you all." But his voice was hoarse, and everyone judged that this guy was a man. Of course, he is dressed very feminine, so he is a hermaphrodite. "Now I declare that you have all been kidnapped by me. You have two choices from now on: pay the money and leave. If you stay, the women will be bed warmers and the men will be laborers. Of course, you can die at any time." Someone impatiently asked loudly, "How much money do you want to let us go?" The guy smiled and said, "Don't be anxious, listen to me, you are all rich people. And it is easy to make money, so the price to leave is a little expensive. How much is Xiaojiyuai? Many people just want to leave this hellhole as soon as possible, for fear of more troubles." The guy smiled and said, "Not much, 100 million platinum coins per person, pay the money and you can leave." A fat middle-aged uncle said, "I'll pay 100 million. And let me go immediately." "Okay, this uncle is straightforward." I opened a dedicated network for him, transferred 100 million yuan, and arranged for him to leave. Someone immediately walked over and activated the security network using special equipment. This fat uncle is really straightforward and transferred the money directly. The man in charge of collecting the money announced loudly, "This guy pays 100 million, and he can leave." "Master Quan, what about me and us?" the two pretty nice young women asked anxiously. Mr. Quan said without even turning his head, "You are just women I play with. 100 million per person is 200 million. With 200 million, I can find dozens of women who are better than you out there." "Mr. Quan, how could you do this? You said you love me and you wanted to divorce that old woman and marry me." A woman shouted in a delicate voice. "I just hope that Mr. Quan can change his mind, pay me and take me away." "I'm sorry. That was all a lie. You should stay and serve the master here well." Mr. Quan was taken away by someone. The two were in despair. The kidnappers here were very happy and looked at the two of them from time to time. 100 million platinum coins per person, who else? "Sir, I only have 80 million platinum coins on me. As a henpecked man, this is really all I have. Can you give me a discount and let me go?" said a middle-aged man with a smile. "Get lost, do you think this is a vegetable market? I tell you, if you can't come up with 100 million platinum coins, don't even think about leaving." Then he walked up to each cage and asked, "What about you guys, do you want to take the money and leave?" "Master, we are fake rich people, we have no money." "What about you?" this guy asked one by one. "Hey, This girl is pretty good, bring her out. A pure, lovely and sweet-looking girl. Huaxian thought she was pretty. The girl was brought out and begged. Sir, please let me go. I can give you 1 billion platinum coins. Oh, is that so? However, I like you, so I don't want your platinum coins. You should stay and warm my bed. The girl turned pale with fear and begged. Master, please let me go. No, 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 I told you I like you. There's no way I'll let you go. Seeing that begging for mercy was useless, the girl angrily said, You'd better let me go. I'm not afraid to tell you that I'm Tao Ruo Ying, the daughter of General Tao Kai He. If you really want to hurt me, my father will not let you go. Hearing this, the other kidnappers were really scared. But the guy smiled and said, That depends on him being able to find us. If you let them go, they will definitely call the police. It will be easy for them to find this place. Little sister, have you forgotten that the current technology can erase part of the memory? I am not afraid to tell you that there are many people here who have been kidnapped by us more than once. Hearing this, many people looked unhappy, especially those who have gone for examinations and have experienced memory loss. They suspect that they are the people this guy is talking about. I clearly wanted to travel in a low profile, but I didn't expect to encounter something like kidnapping. And it happened once or twice. Who can stand this? Take her to my room and wait for me, the guy said with a lecherous look. Huaxian said, Wait. Hey, kid, do you have something to say? Or do you want to pay and get out? Huaxian smiled and said, This girl is pretty good. I like her too. I think you, a hermaphrodite, may not be able to enjoy her. Why don't you give her to me? What do you say, am? The guy was furious. Darksky spoke up for Huaxian. My husband said you are a hermaphrodite and that you are not capable. Very good, you said I can't do it, right? Someone, bring him out to me. The subordinates walked over, opened the iron cage, and escorted Huaxian out. Huaxian wanted to play around and didn't resist. Was brought to this guy. The guy smiled cruelly and said, You dare to say I can't do it, then I will let you feel in front of all these people whether I can do it or not. Take his pants off for me. Everyone was disgusted. But the little girl said, You deserve it, bad guy, you still want to bully me. Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, Little sister, if I hadn't stood up, you would have been taken to his room. You should know the consequences. Hearing this, the little girl's face turned pale instantly. He said stubbornly, You want to bully me even if he bullies me. I will watch you get bullied first. Huaxian was speechless and said, Little sister, why don't you think I'm saving you? TSK. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old kid? You don't look like a good person at first glance. You deserve it. Chapter 339, Boy, you know how to play. But I like it. Hey, you two, are you serious about this? Huaxian said to the two people who were pulling his pants. The two of them laughed and said, How dare you say our boss is incompetent? Let me tell you that our boss is unisex and extremely strong. Be honest, or you'll suffer physical pain. Another person chuckled. Have you all been bullied? Huaxian asked. Bullshit. How could the boss bully us? Yes, we all volunteered. Huaxian was disgusted. Then he said, I'm going to take action. Take action? Take action? For what? Someone asked stupidly. I'll beat you up, what else can I do? Hey, kid, you are awesome. You are the first one we kidnapped who dares to be so arrogant. So, the people who came to help you before didn't dare to resist? Not really it, that's just that they were killed when they resisted. So no one dares to resist anymore. Well, let me tell you a secret. What secret? How can you just tell the secret? Come here. The two of them foolishly stuck their heads over. Huaxian grabbed the two men by the neck and slammed them together. Bang! The two felt like seeing countless stars in their heads and passed out. Everyone looked at each other in bewilderment, wondering if this was acting. It was to fake. He also felt that this perverted leader would definitely not let him go. Who knows? Boy, you know how to play, but I prefer it. I have decided that you and her should stay together. Take them all to my room. Tao Ruo Ying was frightened. He shouted, Asshole, how could you lock me up in the same room with him? This guy said, No, I like both of you, so I will spoil you both later. Huaxian looked at Tao Ruo Ying with a smile. The two were soon taken to a room with strange decorations. There was a huge bed in the middle, and all around it were various torture instruments. It is not difficult to see that the kidnapper leader is a bit perverted. After the subordinates brought them there, they left. Tao Ruo Ying looked at Huaxian vigilantly, then took the opportunity to rush to the door, wanting to open it and leave. But she found that they couldn't open it. She burst out her genetic realm, but still couldn't open it because her strength was too low. Huaxian looked at her with a smile. Little sister, I saved you with good intentions. But you took advantage of my misfortune. Now it's just you and me. And there's such a big bet if I don't do something. I'll be letting myself down. He walked towards her step by step. She was so scared that she ran around everywhere, and was finally forced into a corner. With no way to retreat, she was extremely desperate and begged. "I'm sorry, I was wrong, please don't hurt me, I swear. As long as I get out, I will give you a lot of money." I squatted in the corner and cried helplessly. Huaxian burst into laughter. Seeing this, Tao Yuoying cursed in her heart, thinking that the pervert would come soon and torture her severely. Huaxian walked over and grabbed her arm, intending to help her up. "Ah, I'll fight you." Tao Yuoying yelled and bit Huaxian's arm. You are a dog, why don't you let go?" "No, if you bully me, I will bite you to death," Tao Yuoying said vaguely. "How did I bully you? Tell me about it." "You just bullied me." Huaxian had to use a lot of strength to separate her. The obvious teeth marks were almost bleeding, which showed how cruel this girl was. He looked at her speechless lie and walked over. Dung! He punched the door bolt, directly destroying the door structure, opened the door and walked out. There was no one guarding outside, so he just left. Tao Yuoying was stunned. She didn't expect this guy to be so powerful. She thought that it would be impossible for her to leave here, so she quickly chased after him. Huaxian stopped, looked back, and said coldly, "Why are you following me? Aren't you afraid that I might do something bad to you?" "TSK, I'm not following you. The road is so big, I can go wherever I want." "What's it to you?" Tao Yuoying still insisted. Huaxian stepped aside and said, "Then you go first."